Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
And we're up. Yeah, the Nexium Cult is the one that I still haven't watched that documentary. I've been watching this doc. I've got a bit about the place that I bought before I bought the mothership.
Yeah.
Because it's about a place that was owned by a cult. So I've been watching the documentary on the cult. It's called Holy Hell. It's so fucking crazy. I've been watching it. I've watched it 3 or 4 times to try to like find the angles for the bit. Yeah. Because the guy who ran it was a gay porn star who was also a hypnotist.
It's such a powerful combination.
All he wore was Speedos and eyeliner. And this dude ran this cult for 20 fucking years. And they kicked him out and sent him to Hawaii. And now he's running in Hawaii. At the end of the documentary, the guy goes to visit the guy in Hawaii. Now he's old and fucked up looking. He's had a bunch of plastic surgery, like fake cheeks, and his lips are done and everything. He looks like a monster. And he's still got these people following around and open the doors for him, and he sits down and he talks like a guru. Complete con artist.
Did they show you his porns?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How was it?
Oh yeah. They just block out where the dick is going in the ass. He's pounding this guy from behind, and then he's doing like a push-up. He's doing like a plank, and this guy is underneath him, and he's holding on to the guy's holding on to his hips, and he's just mouth fucking this guy while his legs are completely suspended in the air.
Oh, he's just doing workouts.
So, he's basically doing a workout. So he's got like in a push-up position like this, and both of his legs are up there like that, pointed, and he's going like this. Just humping this guy's mouth. I mean, the guy, and this is something that the cult members had found out while he was, in there. That's him. But when he got older, he started looking creepy. You got to realize this guy started this cult in 1981. He was an extra in Rosemary's Baby.
Really?
Yeah, that was like his claim to fame. He was just a bad actor.
He's got some young bucks with him.
Oh, he had all young bucks and young, beautiful women, too. Like, that's how he attracted the heterosexual men. He had a bunch of young, beautiful women, but he told them never to have relationships together, and then he fucked all the guys.
The move with the Nexium guy did, because you can get a really good cult going, but everyone's not going to get even Charles Manson. They always made it out to these young, pretty hippie girls. When you see the pictures, they're all pretty rough.
The Manson ones?
Yeah, and then the Nexium cult, it's the same thing. It's like they tell you all the people that were involved, and like, except for like one girl, like most of them were pretty like homely. So you're like, yeah, I guess if your cult leader status is to bang a bunch of like, they're okays.
Well, this is like headshots after they've left the cult and realized it was over.
That girl's the actress.
She's the actress, the bottom left one?
Yeah, she's the prettiest.
I recognize her. But she's like secretary.
Yes, she was like, yes, exactly. I think she got out of fucking him because she would recruit the girls and brand them and stuff.
That girl's pretty.
That's whatchamacallit's daughter.
Who?
She got involved too.
She's not bad.
Oh, she's an actress. She was an actress in like those old like Falcon Crest type shows.
Falcon Crest. Oh my God.
Yeah, like those.
Could you imagine being trapped on one of those shows where you got to get a paycheck every week, and the paycheck is wonderful?
Oh, Dynasty.
You're probably making like $100,000 a week. So it's
Oxenberg,
like
Catherine Oxenberg's daughter.
So you're not going to leave.
You're not going to leave.
But you're stuck.
And you're like, this sucks. I didn't get into acting to do this.
Yeah.
But is it a good career if you're like, take a Lorenzo Lamas. Mm-hmm. The guy is like, small parts in Grease and stuff. Then he's on Falcon Crest as a heartthrob for a while, which is, I think, network. That's like big network. Then he's Renegade for years, probably his most successful thing.
Yeah, that was like a syndicated show.
Renegade.
Yeah, that was a syndicated show. Beautiful man.
Oh, he was gorgeous in his day.
Beautiful man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what does he look like now?
That's him up there. You have the
Still
gray.
handsome.
Not bad.
Still slinging dick.
Holds it together.
63.
But major like wife
Engaged to
drama.
a younger woman who goes by Nerdy Blonde online. Okay.
Oh, that's new. He already had like a big girl, like a lady leave him that he was with for a while. He was with like a Playboy girl or something.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing that. Like she had a ton of plastic surgery and shit, right?
Yeah.
Lorenzo Lamas.
Do you think he ever, like, if he looked back at himself at 16, 17, 18, whatever, when he's looking forward, if he's like, that's my career, do you think he'd be happy with that? Or go, nah, I want something legit?
It would really depend on how smart he is. I've never heard him talk.
Or what he did with his money, I guess.
Right. But also, like, how smart is he? Like, are you stimulated there? Are you just happy to get attention?
I bet he's just happy to get attention.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was more. I think he was more
rules.
pretty than brilliant.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But saying with the Nexium guy and like the intelligence of them, it's weird. Like
coffee.
Because the different states in life, like that guy made himself like very wealthy in that cult, the Nexium guy.
Oh, he made himself wealthy by...
Sure, yeah, because it's a Ponzi
lighter?
scheme. On top of the sex thing, it was first of all, it was a money thing first and foremost. It was...
Sex was bonus.
It was one of those schemes to do like, they'd be like, get 5 more people to join. And
pyramid scheme.
Pyramid scheme for sure. And then once they were in and believed their life was getting better from that, he'd be like, hey, girls, there's a little side project I got going on called fuck me when I tell you to.
Oh, interesting.
And
but weren't they like getting branded or something?
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It gets greedy. Those things always go down because
The guy has too much power and he keeps going.
well,
Yeah, it's not enough to just be like, hey, I'm fucking 3 chicks.
dude, it's Negan.
This is great.
It's Negan in The Walking Dead.
Yep.
You can fuck 3 chicks and then still you want to bang the guy who worships you.
His wife.
You want to see if you can get his wife too, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And they always wind up doing it too.
They get it. Because the guy
Koresh.
has to comply. They don't know what to do.
Like David Koresh, like he had a deal where he could fuck everyone's wife.
And the people that get out of it, like sitting there and like just seeing a
telling
guy,
people.
I don't know how they stay together. Like a guy and his wife sitting on a couch while the guy's hysterically crying. Like, I can't believe I sat in that room and waited for him to fuck you while
I can believe it.
That they stay together.
Yeah. Yeah, I can believe
just tough.
guys like
When
there's
they were-
guys like that out there. They're like the girl can do anything. She can shit in his face.
No, but
And
they're
he's like,
all-
oh, don't do that. I don't do that to you. There's certain
And they
people.
have to complain about it the whole time.
Yeah,
That's
there's
part
always
of it.
been humans like that. There's like a spectrum of humans. There's always been humans that you could just kind of like push around,
Walk
and do
over.
anything to. Yeah.
Well, the other one I just watched, I said because this guy had no status in life. It was an older guy who moved into I think it was his daughter. His daughter would always talk about how great her dad was, and he was super involved in like SEAL team shit and with Gorbachev and all these like past political dealings. But he's in jail now because the government railroaded him. This is what she would tell all of her dorm mates, or housemates in college. But he rules. He's the best. He comes out of jail, and she's like, "Can he come live here with us for a while?" And then over the course of the next few years, like. He just turns his daughter's house of friends into a sex cult with each
Yeah.
other. It's wild.
Yeah, I heard about that one too.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of con men out there.
Oh, so
Like
once
what
you
we were
get a
talking
few
about
people-
before the podcast,
Yeah.
there's a lot of con men out there and con women. There's a lot of con artists.
Do they con themselves, or do they think some part of them is doing a good thing? Do you think the Nexium guy is like, I am teaching them like life skills
Yeah.
and building them up?
Yeah, I bet
Little
they lie
bit.
to themselves. I
There's
bet they say yeah.
There's a little bit of that in there. Like with this guy, what's fascinating about this holy hell thing, in the beginning, the cult was amazing. Like it just, as it got older, the guy started fucking everybody, or started fucking all the men. That's one of the things that he did as he got older. Like heterosexual men started fucking them and hypnotizing them. And then on top of that, he started telling people to get plastic surgery so he could see what it looked like. Like he wanted to get like his cheeks done, so he had his followers get the cheeks done. What happened with him is he was beautiful when he was young.
Yeah.
That's the guy who made the documentary. That's Will Allen. He's the guy who made it.
Also
but if
pretty.
the guy, also was a lot. All the people were good looking.
Can't really put his
the,
ass on the line.
The picture of him like up there with his arms up in the air and everyone's got their hands up. That's him older, but still like
Fucking ripped.
and jacked. But when he was young, in the beginning of the documentary, he was a beautiful man, like perfect features and this amazing body, and he was a ballet dancer. And he put on this fake accent,
What accent?
like he was a guru. Like, I am here to tell you, you are just life. Life is beautiful. You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure the guy, I mean, he's a fucking actor, right?
Do you think right away he knows I can never get you? Get out. You're not going to be part of my cult.
100%.
And he just
Yeah.
gets the weakish.
Yeah, if
weakish people.
you stumbled in there, first of all.
Yeah. Oh,
he-
they take me.
He'd be like, you're not our type. No. You got to be
I'd be
good
like,
looking.
I'll prove it.
You're not that good looking. I love you
It's
to
like
death.
Studio
That's a good point.
54.
You're not the
That's a
best
good
looking
point.
guy.
That's a good point. On Gay Island, I would have trouble there.
There would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then guys like you or I or any of us, we'd be like, what are you doing? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Come on. What's going on here? How do you guys make money? Who's making money? Where's the money
Yeah,
going?
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You
You have
would
a
start
question
asking-
early on.
Their talent is finding people who are lost and don't ask questions. at all.
Exactly.
Who are like, I'm sure it's
Just
taken
the
care
idea of like, anytime you hear those things, like, where's the point where you have to go, hey, wait,
Yeah.
wait, that doesn't make sense to
They
me.
all come from yoga classes.
Well,
I
that
mean, all
guy-
his guys, his people. He would teach yoga classes in L.A.
And that's
then
how I'd find
they'd all, if you go to yoga,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people in yoga. There's a spectrum, but there's a certain percentage of guaranteed lost people in yoga classes.
There's
I feel like
people who are
CrossFit had
looking-
that too. When I was doing CrossFit, like how much they, and another thing, that's why
Jiu-jitsu, too.
It wasn't like buying into they said before I took CrossFit, they were like, some people go, it's cultish, dude. It's weird, and I go, I don't even know what that means. I walk in and I do the thing that's on the board that says to do at the time I can do it. And then I go home. But I then did realize after being there for like a year, I'm like, these guys are having barbecues every weekend and doing the thing. And so they really do. They start hanging. And then people, the owner of the CrossFit gym, like there was 2 guys who owned it, both married guys. I think both of them started fucking like girls in the class, and like had at least one of them did for sure. And the family broke up, and he was very publicly with this like much younger girl from class. It was wild.
There's going to be a segment of the class that wants the approval of the teacher.
Oh,
like
yeah.
real bad.
This guy, they would call him the teacher. Wow. He had all these different. Well, here's the thing. His name was Jaime Gomez, so he had to change it right away. You can't fly with that. Jaime Gomez fixes Toyotas. Jaime Gomez is on the Canelo Alvarez undercard.
He doesn't bring you the answers from the universe.
That's him when he was already older and looking creepy. If you go to his name, Jaime Gomez, Rosemary's Baby. I think he called himself Michelle back then. He changed his name like 3 times, 4 times. Okay, so he changes his name one. That's him right there.
Oh, yeah.
Like which
fella.
beautiful man.
The one in the
guy with the
white.
white.
Yeah.
That's him in Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
So so hypnotic, right? Just something about people with beautiful features. They can talk more people into things, right? Perfect skin, right? So this guy's ripped. He's walking around in a Speedo, and he's saying all these things that in the beginning make everybody happy. And he does this thing where he puts them in a meditative state, and he touches their forehead, and he tells them that when he touches their forehead, they're going to experience orgasms and feel the universe. And these people they're legitimately tripping balls because it's the power of suggestion and hypnotism. So he's hypnotizing these people, and then he's putting like in the beginning of the cult, it's amazing. Like no one seems to have a problem in the beginning. That's the thing about these things. When you watch the beginning of Wild Wild Country, same shit. The beginning looks amazing.
Yeah, it did. It was like, I want to join. Yeah.
That's my friend Todd said that to me. He goes, dude, I want to shut it off after episode 1 and go
season
find
2.
them.
Yeah, it's great. Let's get out there.
He's like, I want to go find them. I want to join. It looks like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Because most people live these fucking miserable lives doing a job they don't like to do. And if someone will tell you, like, you've got a community, we eat together, we pray together, they all meditated together, they all splashing around the water. It looks like they're having a great fucking time.
Yeah.
But as the guy gets older, he gets creepier, and the Cult Awareness Network goes after him. So he has to leave L.A. in the middle of the night, and he moves to Texas. And so he sets up shop in Texas.
How are they not going to find him in Texas?
Change his name again. This is the 90s.
Pre-internet,
society.
pre-internet.
90s, bro.
Yeah.
This is the 90s, right? He starts the cult in like 81. So in the early 90s, there's these weirdos splashing around in Barton Springs holding hands with this guy who wears Speedos and an eyeliner. Like, what the fuck?
And that's where they got
so
him.
He changes his name from Michelle to Andreas. And so Andreas, now he's getting older. He starts getting weird. And one of the things he starts doing is fucking with his face. He starts like shoving cheek things in and pulling things back and lips. He looks fucking weird. And he's hanging on to like his good looks, and it throws them off because it doesn't fly with his message. Your body is a vessel. Your body is
And
just
then you're
a
getting
vessel.
cut up.
You are God. We are all God. It's like,
And then,
but now all of a sudden he's like getting facial surgery, and they're like, huh. And so then a guy leaves.
He was more gay than leader.
That one out of
Like
it
he
too.
realized he's like, well, I got to get the
more
face
gay
fixed.
than Guru. More gay than Guru.
He had to get the face done.
Yeah, it's a fascinating documentary, man. But
I love all those things.
I love when you watch one of these things. That one, the dude who fucked the whole family in Utah.
Oh yeah.
That was great. But you're watching, you're just like, how do I not know about this?
Dude, I think there's certain people that, I think this is why cults work. I think this is why some people become religious zealots and suicide bombers. There's certain people that are just fucking really gullible, man.
Yeah.
You can get them.
Well, not one of them ever. Most of them, when they're interviewed afterwards, when they're out, they always say that same line of like, I know what cults were.
Yeah.
And in fact, when they would explain to people what was going on, they'd be like, I know what you're thinking. This isn't a cult. It's just a bunch of people living together, dressing the same, doing whatever. You know, like
They talk about it in the documentary.
They explain a cult while they keep telling you, like, it's not that. We just all eat out of the same
liter.
tray.
We don't eat protein.
In the documentary, they were saying, well, they were
Bodies are
joking
temples.
around that everybody thinks it's a cult, and they're like, well, if we're in a cult, at least we're in a good one. And it was for a long time until one guy leaves the cult and sends out a mass email. It's like, hey man, this guy's been hypnotizing me and fucking me for the past 10 years.
Really?
He found out he was being hypnotized.
Oh, I mean, he's doing hypnotherapy on them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Remember
so
in
he's
Boston?
putting them in states.
Remember in Boston, that hypnotist?
Frank Santos.
Yeah, and we saw a door guy pass out.
Yeah.
He tried to do the whole room, and a door guy off to the left was just gone, and somebody pointed it out to him.
Yeah.
That guy that door guy would be like a candidate.
Yes. Yeah, well, when we used to do Stitches, when Greg Fitzsimmons and I were coming up in Boston, Frank Santos was the fucking man. And we would all go watch because it was a comedy hypnotism show.
It
and he
was
would
fun.
put people under. And some people he couldn't put under. Some people would just in front. Because you're doing it. It's not like you could get hypnotized if you wanted to in a relaxed setting. I had it done once. It's very interesting.
And
My friend Vinny Shorman, he hypnotizes fighters, and he gets to get to the root of like whatever their conflict in their mind is, and try to sort things out, make them perform better.
It's not what you're thinking. That's why I always don't believe in it, because it's not what I'm. They're not like, and your eyes are open, like walk that way.
Maybe not you. Here's
some
my
people.
concern. Maybe some people you can do that too.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is what I think. I think what I experienced was like a different state of mind. It seemed like I'm like, wow, this is like a drug. Like I'm on a drug. I mean, this is very strange. But it was very pleasant. And it was very, I was present and pleasant. It was like I was right there, and I was like looking at things from a different angle. It's almost like I had removed some layers of clothing that was like my conditioning in life. I got to look at things. I'm like, this is very much like a psychedelic drug.
Someone described to me once, or I heard, actually I think it was on Howard Stern also, a hypnotist that came on that does their thing, said this is essentially in a level hypnotizing. If they're listening to this while driving in a car,
lulls you.
and they're just like not even thinking, they're just kind of like. But he said it's still a state of hypnosis when you're just kind of driving and not thinking. You're just
Oh,
like,
yeah, when you turn up at your house
You're not
and
hitting
you're like-
cars. You're not in danger of crashing. You're just
Right,
on
you're
this
in this
complete
No memory of how you
present
got back, yeah.
autopilot. Yeah.
Doesn't that weird you out when you
Yeah.
find yourself doing that?
You're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I'm doing everything right. I'm on the right road. I'm in the right lane. I'm
You're
not
like,
speeding.
I forgot if the last 3 lights were
Yeah,
green.
how did I?
This baby dragging
How am I
behind you.
just zoning out while I'm driving?
You're like, those last lights were green, right? I'm
Dude,
not
it's
crazy.
so frustrating watching people text and drive. You watch them weave into the lane. Like, pull your fucking phone
You
down
can
when
see
you
it.
drive.
You can see it ahead. You're like, that's a texter for sure.
100%. I always want to pull up to him. Just look at him.
Too
Instead of
dangerous.
texting, you look at him texting. Look at him texting. He's fucking jackass.
You know what I do when they're texting at a red light and they're looking down? I'll just like honk next to them, and so they just start going before it's still red. And they go, what the fuck? It's like, look up.
Well, you don't have to do that now with CarPlay. CarPlay is the shit.
You just
I don't know
speak
if
your
you do
texts?
it. Yeah, man, I do it all the time. I take care of so much shit when I'm on my way to work.
Yeah.
I could say, text Big J, go fuck yourself, bam. And it says, go fuck yourself, send it. And I go, yes, send it.
Sent.
Dude, I don't know
Yeah.
what this in my car. One time, me and Dan Soder were driving somewhere, and I was like, hey Siri, or what do you got to say?
Yeah.
And it was I was like, hey Siri, and it was like, what would you like me to do? And Soder just goes, suck my dick. And then the car goes, okay. I have no idea why. I went, okay, texting, suck my dick. To Anthony Cumia. I was like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
like, I've never texted Anthony Cumia ever. And all of a sudden, hey, suck my dick, by the way.
If you have like a shitty microphone in your car, it'll fuck
Mine
up.
does that when it's like call so and so, and they're like calling this other person. You're like, no, stop.
Mine, I wear those little AirPods, and sometimes I pick up the wrong ones. I have ones that I have for the sauna, and then ones for real world.
Yeah.
And the ones for the sauna, they get cooked. They go bad.
Really?
Yeah, they go bad. So like the microphone's bad. I'm talking to people. They're like, "Where the fuck are you?" I'm like, "All right, this mic's bad. It's cooked.
It's over.
So it gets sweat in it and shit, and it gets fucked up." But they still play music. Like you can still listen to audiobooks on them. That never dies. But the
The
microphone's
microphone's gone.
Yeah.
And so if I do that, like, hey Siri, call Ari Shaffir. It's like, texting Greg
It could be
Fitzsimmons.
anybody.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't know what the fuck you're saying.
Aaron Snaffer.
It'll play a book for you.
I like it'll just keep guessing wrong, though. It
Yeah.
never goes,
Yeah.
I don't get it. You got to understand.
What are you saying? One day it's going to talk to you like, hey, Jay, is that really what you want to say to your friend? Why don't you reconsider it?
You put self-checks
Think
on.
about this.
Suck my dick, really? To Anthony Cumia?
Are you ready to burn that bridge?
Do you think perhaps that Anthony Cumia is gay, and are you gay?
Is that what you're trying to say?
Can I
with
get
this
some
text?
context?
Is this more about you than him?
What if you opt in for AI to give you advice? Like, what if you
That would
opt
be
in?
interesting.
Yeah. Like, what if you opt in for that?
Like
It's
high mathematical probability advice?
Yeah. If you opt in, so if you say, text Anthony Cumia, suck my dick, and it's like, Big J, what are we doing? I need some context here.
Why are we
first of
doing
all.
this?
Are you saying suck my dick because that's what you would like him to do? And are you gay? Or are you being insulting?
Is this known
and
as a
possibly
Raz?
homophobic?
Classic projection.
Yeah. Is this what you want? Do you really want to put that energy out there in the world?
The voice AI is going to be a problem.
Does it sound like you?
That's going to be because we made that joke
sounded
when
like me.
Soder left the bonfire. Like they gave us that program. They go, look, and you can just type whatever, and Soder's voice will say
Anything.
It's fucking
So
crazy.
he's still
you
on?
want. Anything.
It's crazy.
There's full podcasts of me having podcasts of people that I never talked to, like Steve Jobs. There's like
Really?
a whole conversation with me and Steve Jobs, apparently.
That people just did on AI.
I think they did it all on AI. They can do anything. Now, it's over. Like, it's over. Like, any idea of what is or is not the truth,
Yeah.
it's going to become a real problem.
Do we have a date
And
on it?
what is
Because
this
I feel like I heard
Yeah.
about it one day. Chat GPS, and then I
Well, it
was
just
like,
keeps going. I mean, it's 4 right now. It's going to get to 5, and it's going to...
What level?
Yeah, it's like different levels of it.
Like early VR versus now is like miles difference. Nobody's
Yeah.
getting nauseous anymore.
Fuck, I just had a question. I can't remember what
no,
it
I
was.
feel like it
What were we just talking about?
hasn't changed as much.
AI.
ChatGPT going forward.
Yeah, no.
AI making decisions for you or
I'm not
giving you
gonna remember
suggestions.
it. I'm not going to remember it. But it has something to do with it.
The voice
God
podcast that look like you.
Oh yeah, using their
Oh,
voice.
no, this is what it was. That fucking TikTok ban. Like, what is this actual law?
Oh, that bill has nothing to do with TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, it has nothing to do
What
with
is it?
TikTok. It's all about
Restrict
having
access.
power to restrict access to like.
What's the deal with
pull it
TikTok?
up.
When
Let's
did
figure out
TikTok
what it is.
become like a fucking evil?
Well, first of all, they nailed it. Adam Curry doesn't think they are. Adam Curry's perspective when I talked to him, and Adam Curry's brilliant.
Yeah.
He said he thinks that they're eating tech in America's lunch, and they're trying to block them out because it's a Chinese-owned company. And because they're saying that China's scooping up all the data, guess what? He goes, that's exactly what these other companies are doing, too.
Yeah.
They're all scooping up your data.
Yeah.
The idea that your data is going to China is a problem.
what does that
It's
mean?
just
It goes to
because-
China? Like,
it's
who-
because
like-
China represents competition, and they developed an app that's the most addictive app ever. That's
Sure.
that's
yeah.
just
But
Adam
they're also
Curry's
selling
Is
the
it Adam
information.
Curry, MTV original VJ?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy's
he's
the
like
shit.
a huge tech guy. Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
he's the fucking original podcaster? He's
Really?
the pod father. He's number 1.
It's why. Yeah, he's a couple things he was like ground level on.
Well, he's super like deep in on the internet, man. Like,
And so yeah, it seems the same. Seems it's just an app that they're making money off ads.
But I will say, what's I've never seen before, because Christine, my girlfriend, is like,
she's on it nonstop.
and I really like. No, she stops herself now, but the fact that you're in a position where you have to stop yourself and like. She can't wait for me to go to the bathroom, or whatever, so she can just start seeing more of them. And I'm genuinely afraid to
Of getting
try,
lost in
but
it,
I, but I
yeah.
almost like the same way I want to try crack once, like see what all the hubbub's about. I want to go on and be like, is it good? I'm not into watching bite-sized videos over
get
and over. It's
into
not my
it.
but
thing.
the thing
get
is,
into it. Yeah.
what it does is it finds what you're into. And
Yeah.
one of the ways I know that is my 12-year-old and my 14-year-old have fucking completely different feeds.
Whoa.
They talk about it. Like my 12-year-old is into like weird facts and strange things. All kinds of stuff that the 14-year-old's not into. The 14-year-old's into like dress-up videos. It's like they're all people are into different shit, and that's what it'll find your thing. It's like really good at that, but it's also like super invasive. But then the question is, how much do we know other than what we found out from Twitter? How much do we know about like what these other companies are doing? Like when you just sign up for someone's app, and then like how about when you're talking about something and then you see a Google ad
Yep.
for it? Like what happened there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
we all
microphone.
know by now.
What the
Well,
fuck
you know
is
what's
going
funny?
on? But
You can turn that off. You can turn that. That's actually a function. If you go into like Facebook on your phone, you can all of them. You put turn microphone off. It's an option, so it doesn't do that. If you turn the microphone off, though, the app doesn't do almost anything.
It's just
my
annoying.
Like,
It takes something
it makes you
passing.
almost keep it on. That's
Right.
the only reason I have it on. But
it
I,
hobbles it.
yeah,
It hobbles
That's
it so
too
it can
far.
listen to you constantly.
That's too far. Following shopping habits or something, it's like maybe that's way too far.
What about like an Alexa helps you solve a crime because it like was recording or something?
I hate
If
that.
we didn't know, if like this whole thing with Edward Snowden didn't come down, we would, and that was a long time ago. If you really stop and think about it, we would have no fucking idea that there was a government full-scale surveillance program that was on the American people. Like on everybody.
Yeah.
Like they could spy on anybody. They don't have to have warrants anymore. They can do whatever they want. They can get all your emails, all your voicemails. Like that is wild shit. And we found out about it because a guy told everybody and then had to hide in Russia.
Damn, it's
Clear
crazy.
AI scrapped 30 billion images from Facebook and other social media sites and gave them to cops. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Puts
the
them into a
background stuff.
perpetual police lineup.
Oh, so no more of
So
that. They're not in the
AI
system. They're not in the system.
Look at that. 30 billion images from Facebook and social media sites and
What?
gave them to police. So now they have your name and your face. So if you have a fake ID, if you get pulled over, they know exactly who you are. And they can run that through some fucking computer that has a database
Of
That's what I
everything
mean. That
ever.
was a
your
big thing
social
when-
media, everything you've ever
Wow.
done.
That's so much deeper than DNA evidence because they would say that if someone didn't have their DNA in like the
Yeah.
that you couldn't find something. If it was their first time like crime, and they weren't now.
You could be like, did you buy a shovel recently?
You're
Jamie,
in,
what is
you're in
the
the
law?
system if you have a phone.
Yeah.
What is this TikTok law? Because people are freaking out about it, and people are telling me that I have to look into it.
Confusion is calling it the TikTok law for to begin with.
the
I'd
Restrict
say.
Act
Yeah,
is what it's
TikTok is not listed in there at all.
Right, I'm
But what
sorry,
is-
but it's that's like don't say gay bill.
Sure.
Never really says don't say gay in any of it.
Yeah, that was a misleading one.
Yeah, it's very misleading.
But that's also kind of how it's being sold to people as like this is what's going to stop the bad TikTok stuff.
Right.
But it's like, hey, TikTok is not mentioned in here, so maybe
Right.
it won't do that at all.
So what does it say?
So this is what instead of like just going after TikTok, they're making this sweeping act. The Restrict Act is described as a systematic framework for addressing technology-based threats to the security and safety of Americans. That sounds ominous. It grants the Secretary of Commerce the authority to review transactions by certain foreign entities who offer information and communications technologies, products, and services in order to identify, investigate, and mitigate undue and unacceptable risks to the national security of the United States or its citizens. This includes, but not limited to, impact the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy, sabotage or subversion of ICTS in the United States. Boy, that could be interpreted a lot
Any
of
which
ways.
way.
Interference and manipulation of federal elections, which could mean you're just skeptical or you're gullible and you bought into some conspiracy theories and you're talking about them. And instead
Yeah.
of just being able to just talk like a nonsense person, you get jacked.
So it's kind of like
Undermining
it's like subverting the press.
Undermining the democratic process to steer policy and regulatory decisions in favor of the strategic objectives of a foreign adversary to the detriment of the national security of the United States. Like, man, this is all so open to interpretation. Like,
Yeah.
think of those
Held in
things.
part by-
Impact the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy. That's easy to do. You can impact it. What if you impacted it in a positive way? Like, what are you saying? Impact it. The digital economy. Like, how do they? What have you done? Do you promote a certain coin and it blows up?
Yeah, but
then
if you
you
like,
just impacted.
what if you like
the
stop
digital
using
economy.
eBay?
Yeah, I mean, if someone like think about like these Bitcoin guys, like
Yeah.
if Elon posts a Dogecoin image, immediately
It goes up.
Dogecoin goes up, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that impact the digital
Yeah.
economy?
For the
So
bet.
what does that mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I thought,
what if he says the crypto is bullshit because he believes it? Well, doesn't that impact the digital economy?
Yeah, they could arrest him.
And are they talking about the digital economy that exists now, or are they talking about a centralized digital currency, which is what China does?
is that
or
what they're
which
saying?
They
though?
want to do.
Are they saying that Elon Musk will be illegal for him to?
I don't know what
pump
they're
Dogecoin?
saying. The problem is the way that's. I mean, obviously, I'm not a lawyer, but the way that's written. Scroll back down so I could read that. The way that's written.
Yeah.
Impact
It's
to
vague.
the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy. And digital economy is included in there. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. I've never made money digitally.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
But look at this. So this thing, information, communications, technologies, products, or services, right? So this is ICTS. Sabotage or subversion of ICTS in the United States.
What's ICTS again?
So it's information, communications technologies, products, or services, all right?
Okay.
So in order to identify, investigate, and mitigate undue and unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. So if you did something so subversion.
So they're saying.
So imagine if you said, I think these people are full of shit, and I think, what they're trying to do is gain control of the United States, and I think we should resist that. That would fall into that.
And they're selling it as TikTok is doing this. TikTok is subverting our elections, or
They're not
TikTok
even
is subverting our
selling it that
economy.
way.
So
They're
we have
not
to be
even
careful of
selling
them?
it
No?
that way. They're not even selling it that way.
These countries are the foreign adversaries that may do bad stuff.
So they're like, it's a risk that they're going to do something bad with this.
Yeah, like they've listed using a VPN as a way to subvert that, which would be
What?
illegal, and you
Dude,
get a gigantic fine, and maybe 20 years in prison.
To use a VPN here? Oh, how do you steal?
Imagine.
How do you steal?
They're
parts
gonna
of Rick
criminalize
then?
that?
Imagine they're
If
going to
anybody says to get
criminalize
that.
VPNs.
I'm always told to get a
Imagine
VPN.
that.
Yeah, you should get a VPN.
Potentially criminalizing the use of a VPN service or sideloading to access services blocked from doing business in the United States under the Act, due to the text stating that no person may cause or aid, abet, counsel, command, induce, procure, permit, or approve of the doing of any act that violates the orders issued under the Act. What?
Oh, it's so confusing.
Bro, they're trying to gain more power. This is creepy. This
It's
is
also-
not good, and I just gotta hope that people wise up and don't pass this. Does it seem like this is something they're passing?
I don't know that it's gotten that far. I know it's been proposed.
You think there's an order to it where it's like, first we bill China as going after Hong Kong and Taiwan. Now we see them as the enemy. Now a business associated with them, we can get rid of that now.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But I mean, the problem is like TikTok zombifies people. So like, if you take it away, they're gonna revolt.
Yeah, they want it.
I don't think you have to take it away. But I think that act has nothing to do with TikTok. If people have like legitimate concerns that people are abusing and overusing TikTok, that's a conversation people should have.
Sure.
But if this is not that.
It's not because of that.
This
it's not
is
because
something-
everyone's using it too
This
much.
is about what they're getting
doing
when you
with
use it.
Yeah.
All that stuff seems very vague to me. Obviously, I'm an idiot, but all that stuff seems very vague when they're reading out like what they can get you for.
Yeah.
And that last thing about acts that are listed as impermissible under the act or whatever the fuck the wording was, like what the fuck is like you're covering all the bases. It seems like it's so open to interpretation. Now imagine if something like that existed during the pandemic.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the pandemic where people go, I don't know if these fucking masks work. You would immediately get.
That's against the public health.
That's against that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
You'd be in
exactly what
legal
that thing-
trouble, they're saying.
Now
Yeah.
we know they don't work. So then it was, we think that you can still get sick even if you get vaccinated. That, immediately, you would get banned from things.
I don't
so
think
if
you
this was
get-
in
yeah.
place.
Well, this guy
been gone.
a meme guy got found guilty for posting memes. I don't know the exact details of his court
He got
case.
found guilty?
Yeah, they found him guilty. Which I
And
feel
then
like
what?
is-
What does that mean?
Do you know
Who
the
found him
memes
guilty?
guy? It was a very subtle parody of Hillary Clinton. He was like
Found him
trying
guilty.
to say with this thing, like to Hillary voters, they could just stay home and text your vote into this number. Wasn't that it?
something like that. Yeah,
But
I'm
And
gonna
it's
try to find
parody.
Yeah,
but they
but-
took it seriously. Or
but-
somebody said, can you believe this is happening?
They found the dude who did it and they fucking arrested him.
that. He
What?
tweeted that out.
Avoid the line.
Avoid the line, vote from home. Text Hillary to 59925. Vote for Hillary and be a part of history. Amazing. I mean, amazing. Amazing. He was convicted today by a federal jury in Brooklyn of charge of conspiracy against the rights.
It's the context. You took away the context of the parody.
Totally.
If you
And
also,
so it's like,
if you also
that's just
believe,
subverting.
if you believe that was true, don't vote anyway, man. If you
Yeah,
believe
you
that was
shouldn't
the
get a
thing you could
vote.
do,
You
yeah.
shouldn't get a vote.
You shouldn't be able to vote if you get duped by that.
Yeah. Was there a
Oh,
line?
nice.
We're
Why,
worried
why
about
would
old
anybody
people.
wait in line?
We're worried about old people, right?
Yeah.
But at a certain point in time, should you really still be voting?
They should, if you can't drive without murdering a bunch of people at a fair, then you
There's-
cannot vote.
There's this recent conversation that Biden had with Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
There's this recent conversation where he's like, he asks him if he's been vaccinated. It's very strange.
He asked
See if
Biden
you
who was
can find it.
vaccinated?
Now, I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is real. Here's the problem. I didn't watch it when it came out. And with AI now,
You don't know if it's real anymore.
You don't know what the fuck is real.
I love it. I love the idea that we're not going to believe anything in pictures. It's only going to be real life.
But
That's
this is
we
like a
can
video
accept.
of Biden like stammering, like we can't find what he's talking about, and he's kind of drifting and talking about different things, and none of it makes any sense to anybody.
How long ago is it from?
No, it works. Or
Yeah, that's it.
you got the vaccination? Yeah. Are you okay? I mean, you seem no, it works. Or or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're. No, I really mean it. There are trusted interlocutors. Think of the people. If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something, or, whether those aliens are here or not. Who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it?
I do feel sympathy. It feels like when I smoke too much
that?
pot before a show,
And then it's that.
and I go on a tangent in the middle of a joke and don't know where I'm going.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
That's how he sounds.
Those are fun.
And I'm not
Those are
saying no. Listen, for real though. Yeah.
But
What
wait,
was that?
you were there.
What was that?
What was that?
I don't know.
Like at that point in time, should you still be voting?
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't the president. I mean, if you can show, like, should we? I don't want to restrict anybody's right to vote, right? Nobody does.
Yeah.
But if you're like some fucking crazy crackpot QAnon person and
Yeah.
you got an uncle that can't read anymore,
Yeah.
and you take him in there to vote, we're gonna fucking vote Marjorie Taylor Greene. You like start writing things in and like.
Also,
How about a voting
yeah.
exit? If you
Yeah.
can't vote till you're 18, maybe you have to stop when you're like
80.
Yeah,
80. Yeah.
Yeah, these aren't
Maybe
going to
80 is
affect.
a
These
good-
laws aren't going to affect you. They're going to affect us.
Yeah, I mean, stop being in line.
Yeah. Every day's a gift, bitch. Just
Yeah.
live it out.
Yeah.
The video was edited just a little bit, apparently.
Oh, that's
Oh,
all
for
you
sure.
need.
Oh, how much was
That's
it
all you
edited?
They're trying to find out.
That's all you need. You can't believe any of it.
Amazing though. That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
It looks so
Took out-
seamless.
Yeah, he went into a story. He was answering his question, but then he went into a story, and they took out that part, I guess. where he
Oh,
went into
what
the story.
cunts!
Yeah,
mean,
Just
he
to
fumpers-
make
every
him
bit.
look rambling.
He fumfers around plenty, though.
He pumpers around plenty.
At some point, too,
Says
let's say you
words
have
that
the
aren't
dad
real.
in a family who's leading it, then he becomes a little older and he starts going senile. At some
Yeah.
point, all the kids are like, we don't have to listen to him anymore, right?
Yeah, you got to take
We could
care
just-
of him now.
Yeah.
Now it's like we got to take care of dad, or else he, drives the lawnmower on the highway.
Yeah.
you have to take care of dad.
The
You
other
know,
chick should take
I have
over at this
friends
point.
that have dads that are compromised. It's a real problem. It's like you can't leave them alone. They don't know where they're
Damn.
going. They'll just get in the car and drive. They'll go
wild.
someplace and forget how to get home.
And they don't want to give up the keys.
Well, they don't want to stop living their life, and then sometimes you have to, put them in a place where there's going to be medical supervisors watching over them because they don't know what's going on.
How awful is it? Like
Horrible.
Bruce Willis.
Oh, my
like,
God.
Like knows it's coming.
Whoa.
Like he's not even there
What?
yet. It's like it's like
What?
It's,
Yeah,
it's incurable what he's got.
He's pretty fucked up. He's got something called aphasia, and then there's also like some other diagnosis that he got recently, like some form of dementia.
No.
Yeah, some neurodegenerative.
Bruce fucking
type
Willis?
deal.
Yeah, it won't get better, and he's aware that over the next probably year, I guess, or so, he's going to become like not aware of what's going on around
God,
him.
what causes that?
It's something with
What would you do? Would you just go into senility or would you like handle it?
I would try mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because the neurodegenerative process of like any kind of a disease like
Yeah.
that, I would imagine when you talk about there's a thing that mushrooms can do.
Change your neural pathway?
Like lion's mane and
Golden teachers.
psilocybin, they apparently can help to grow neurons, which is very, very unusual. There's something about it. Psychedelic drugs actually help neurons in the brain sprout new dendrites, which look like branches on a tree, to increase communication between cells. These drugs can increase neural outgrowth. They can increase the branching of neurons. They can increase your synapses. So I would imagine if it can do that there's probably some benefit if someone's got something wrong with their mind, and
Yeah.
it seems like it's feeding the mind.
Maybe.
try.
It's like-
Yeah, it's worth a try. May as well.
Dude, that's the greatest theory of all time is Terence McKenna's stoned ape theory.
They just evolved them.
He thinks that's how people became people, that we were primates and we stumbled upon mushrooms and we started eating them, and then we
Made
became
the
better
brains grow.
hunters. We got smarter. If it does that, doesn't that make sense? If you're a monkey and you're eating mushrooms all the time, you probably like figure out things.
I like
You'd
to
be
imagine it happen instantly, where the monkeys eat it, just like, oh, and then just suddenly like, what? Whoa!
There's
and
a
then someone's
video
like,
on
you just
that.
got back? Like, yeah, what the fuck?
There's a video.
Although
this
no one I
dude,
know who
Bob
takes
Seska, he
No-
made a video.
nobody I
of
know
that.
who takes
really?
tons and
Yeah.
tons of mushrooms though seems like they're like evolving.
Yeah, true.
I know, that's
true.
a very good point.
Their fashion stops changing.
They never seem like, no, dude,
They get
I'm
that thick
above
gray
you.
beard. Yeah.
You gotta have. You know what? You have it already? Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Some of them.
No.
That's a
not
very
it.
good
That's not
likeness
it.
of you, Joe.
That's not it. I'll find it. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'll find it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, we got Big J special coming out right
Oh
now.
shit!
Dog Belly.
Coming out right now.
How excited are you, Jay?
I'm so excited. Ari came in and showed me everything I would have never known how to do at all in special making. I thought that's the funniest one I tell people is that when Ari was like, "I'll help you," I was like, "All right." So I guess now we start the process of hiring the first of 50 people we have to hire.
You have
He's
zero
like,
clue.
So you just got to hire a producer. It'll
Yeah.
be fine.
He's like, how do you find a lighting guy? I'm like, no, we don't. Someone else.
Do I have to go to a boom microphone store?
Interview them? Yeah.
But yeah, Ari walked me through. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. This is
When was your last one? Hold on, we'll talk about
No,
it.
that's not it.
It's not it?
God damn it! This is crazy. I have so many videos on my phone. I'm such an idiot. Oh, I found it. Here it goes.
Okay.
Here it goes. Bob Seska. I actually had him make this back in I want to say the 90s. It might have been 2000 or something like that, or
And you made
2001.
a chimp instantly changing?
Did you get it? It's the stoned ape theory. Go full screen. Here it is. Oh, it is.
It's made a long time ago.
Oh shit.
My name is Steve.
How dope is that?
Damn, that's cool.
Okay, I fucked up. That's not Bob Seska. That's not the one he made for me. That's a different one. But that one's awesome. Who did that? Can you find out who made that?
It's funny, that
If
was
that's
on-
possible. It's because that was on Comedy Central.
It's funny. It's on
That's a
Comedy
different
Central,
one.
and then the video underneath of it said it goes, "Why the stoned ape theory is bad." It's such a funny. It was on Comedy Central. First of all, relax.
The Bob Seska one now I'm remembering was different. It had aliens and laser beams.
That
and
one
they
was
fucked
cool.
with people. Yeah, do you
That
remember
looked
that
like
one?
no, this one was
that,
cool.
Well, that was dope as fuck. But
Yeah.
That was not the one that I had anything to do with. But that's Terrence McKenna's theory. He thinks that they just started eating mushrooms and figuring things out.
Evolved their brains.
I like it.
It's backed by climate science, because that was at the time. There's a giant jump in human brain size over a period of 2 million years. The human brain doubles, which is bananas apparently. And so what it coincides with, trip tank, stoned ape theory.
Oh.
But is that just the website that has it hosted?
Yeah, I mean, it was a show on.
Oh, that was the show called Trip Tank? That fucking thing's awesome. But so he thinks that this period of 2 million years, it coincides with these rainforests receding into grasslands. And so the food sources change, because then there's cows shitting in the grass, and then they're looking for different things to eat, and they flip over cow patties and find bugs and shit to eat. They've always done that.
And they're just like, this is a
They
vegetable.
think they ate the mushrooms too. They tried them.
Right.
And when they ate them, they realized it makes them see better. It increases visual acuity in low doses. And it also makes you horny. It makes you it produces synesthesia, which is it helps cultivate language.
Wow.
There's Dennis McKenna has the best descriptive of it, because he's Terrence's brother, who's this legit scientist, is a genius. And the way he breaks it down, he talks about the way psilocybin interacts with the brain is really perfectly aligned with something that would make the brain grow if primates just kept eating it and evolved into what we are now. We might be a combination of animal and mushroom.
They say that from another planet. Jay, you can't eat them.
I can't. That's what I was going to say. You're saying all these beautiful things it does. It makes your brain grow.
What happens?
It's the connective tissue of language, and if I eat them, there's just grow like the texture and taste. Nothing to do with all the magic of them.
Get candies. Get some.
No, I will. That's what I'll do. Generally, but like it is funny. Like,
So
eating
like,
them actually,
no.
I'll throw them right back up on pure text. Nothing to do with the poison in them or anything.
Yeah,
It's
I get
dusty.
I'm just like,
I like them. I
They're
don't mind
good
it at
taste.
all.
They're good taste. They
if
make
I
you
get
feel like
chicken
happy.
gristle in my mouth, I go gag over a trash can for 5 minutes.
I like the just the straight mushroom because you know what you're getting too. So you're not fucking around with some ground
Dosages.
up pills that some hippie made. Get out.
That's
of
why I
here, Rich.
never understand like edibles to me.
Yeah. What was it, 0.1 or 1?
I had a bit about
When someone's
that.
made like a batch of like weed brownies or
Yeah.
something, you go, well, what if all the weeds and how do you fucking possibly know that?
Yeah, they don't.
Each one's 30 grams.
You had a bit
Ari
about
and I were on
the
the front
1X,
lines.
2X, 3X days?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I had a bit about the gummy bear when the guy told me to take just the leg. I go,
Oh, yeah.
what? I'm like, why the fuck are you selling whole bears? It was so ridiculous. They were so strong. You remember those
Los
gummies?
Gummies Hermanos.
Bro, they were
Yeah,
so
they were-
strong.
they
They were
ruled.
so strong.
But that's
Like,
what I'm saying. If you just took
nobody
it,
really,
is there possibly no weed in the
No.
arm?
No. They those guys, they had it down. Those guys just were trying to kill you.
Dude, I gave my
They were
brother.
trying to kill
I gave
you.
my brother one. He wasn't like from a legal place, and he came to meet me one day, and I gave him like he's like, get me one. I'm like, this one, dude. So the next day, the whole family's 2 different families are coming over for like Passover or something, and the next day he's like, hey, did you take that gummy back? And I'm like, no. He goes, oh shit, I can't find it. I'm like, dude, there's like 8 7-year-olds in this house. You have to find that gummy right now. It's really dangerous.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Christ.
one of the kids had it. He was hiding it.
Oh my God,
it
he
could have
had
been
it. And he
fucking
was
bad.
hiding it. Imagine if he just ate it.
Yeah, if he
Thank
didn't
God
wait
he
till
was a
later.
little hoarder.
Yeah.
It's amazing what weed.
That's a nice way of calling us Jews.
I've never gotten the kind of high from like edibles or weed though that's like
Edibles, you haven't?
hallucinogenic almost. No, I mean, do you remember when you gave Ralph Sutton, my co-host on SDR show, and he's Lewis's co-owner of Gas Digital. Ralph, he took
I gave
one
him
of
what?
those stars
Oh, yeah, Stars of Death.
that you gave him, and
Same
he went,
thing.
And he
Yeah.
went home and
Yeah.
was like, but the description of something where he was like, I felt like I was on a reality show. I thought there were cameras watching me, and I'm like, from fucking weed.
You ever
stuff?
see the video when Joey Diaz doses Owen Benjamin on the show with it?
Owen
Oh my
loses it,
God.
dude. It
Oh
was
my God.
epic.
Yeah, Joey made a video like I cracked him.
Is that what sent him into the woods?
I don't know,
Maybe,
man.
maybe. Those are
I
strong
don't know.
doses.
Joey, look, there's a real thing with that. You know, Alex Berenson wrote a book called Tell Your Children.
What?
And it's all about instances of psychotic breaks and schizophrenic breaks from people that are heavy marijuana users. There's like a something that happens to some people where maybe they have a tendency to schizophrenia or maybe a tendency.
I think it's that, yeah, genetic
and then
predisposition or
a
something.
high dose of weed just pushes them over the edge. And I've seen it happen. I know people that have lost their shit. They're not the same
And they
guy
don't come
anymore.
back?
They're
Not come
not
back?
coming back. They're not coming back. No, because most of them, they keep smoking it too. I know one guy who came back. One guy was like, hell, I'm just watching me. The FBI's on me. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking middle act. Like, what are you talking about? But he came back. He just stopped smoking weed for a long time.
And he was one day like, wow,
Yeah,
that was pretty
I can't
crazy
give
shit.
any more details.
Yeah.
But it was, he's all right. But I know another guy who came back too.
You ever talk to Shane Moss about his like?
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna. That's what I was.
I think 30
thinking of.
days. He did what every day? Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Okay. And then he like covered himself with some mud that wouldn't let the mushrooms breathe out of him, and he went to another place.
Yeah.
I saw him way later, and it was like, dude, I know this sounds crazy, but mathematicians are coming up to me telling me that I figured it out. I know, realistically know, but I'm telling you, these mathematicians are telling me I have all the answers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was wild. He's back now, but like,
Talking to somebody
Yeah.
who's disconnected is
Odd.
It's
so
also
odd.
trying. Like it's very like it's funny for a second. Not funny, but it's almost like amusing for a second how like out of it they are, and then it's terrifying that could happen to someone's brain.
Didn't Huberman just post something? Someone told me that, Tulsi Gabbard told me this. Huberman just posted something about marijuana in high doses with kids is leading to an alarming number of like mental illness problems.
really, I can see
Yeah.
that they're not done developing.
Yeah, I don't remember what he wrote. I didn't read it. I had a couple of cocktails and listening to a conversation.
Oh
so.
yeah. Did you guys smoke or do whatever when you were like still growing?
No, I didn't.
You didn't for sure,
No,
right?
no.
I did not.
I
I mean, I
not
did.
work
I
on-
had a couple of, like over from age, from teenage years to 30 years old, I probably smoked pot 5 times.
No, but I mean like 12 to 17.
Nothing.
No, I
Nothing.
didn't do anything.
Yeah, me neither.
That was the years that I was martial arts, so I very rarely did anything. I mean, if I had a beer, I felt guilty.
My dad smoked pot, and I thought that's why he didn't show up a lot. So I didn't smoke pot till I was in my 20s, and then drinking, I just I had one of those like tried a sip young, and thought it was so gross that I was like I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Like, and then also when you're young, you watch people get drunk, and it's like that rookie drunk where I'm like, I'd rather not be that guy at the party.
Right.
We got to start teaching our kids how to drink right. It's an embarrassment every time.
Well, it's a thing you do when you make things prohibitive.
Yeah.
You prohibit them. It's like Catholic schoolgirls. When we were kids, they were always the girls that like wanted to get with guys the quickest. They were just trapped in this world of all girls wearing skirts, no guys around them, and they got out of there. They're like maniacs. Yeah. Like everybody knows, like that kind of suppression doesn't work on people. People don't
They
like
are
being
the
told
biggest sluts
what to do.
that come from that core group
Ari,
of people.
I wouldn't say it like that. I would say those,
I mean, like-
those young ladies are hungry for the cock.
That there's that.
The world gold stars are from that group.
Have you ever seen the drinking that I think it's the website's called Texas Street Fights?
Oh, wow.
No.
And it's just essentially, it's always on World Star Hip Hop too. 6th Street is just chock full of gigantic women fighting until their fat
Oh my god.
guns come out. It's so,
Oh my god.
and it seems like all the cops do is go in and like from a distance like pepper spray the group. So it's just these women fighting and ass cheeks out,
Dude.
and then you see like this spray of like
Oh
piss
my
coming
God.
in.
Girl
my God.
fights. Girl fights.
Look at
get
the rest of them
so
just
ugly.
eating, just wanted to eat their. Oh, my God.
Oh my god. Oh
Whoa.
Jesus Christ. I don't want to watch this, man.
These are
doesn't-
really good
You don't-
cameras.
You should. You just have to walk outside once in a while. It's happening. Is that 6th Street gets
You gotta
wild
go out the front.
over by the
I don't like street
by the
fights.
highway.
I don't. I should like street
Your head
fights.
hits the pavement. It's not fair.
I like the
very,
idea
very
of them, and then
dangerous.
it's very quickly like a reality check where you go, someone could get fucked up.
Yeah, really fucked up, man.
Yeah.
It's super dangerous. It's so dumb. Like,
But
Street fights
entertaining.
are
it's
so
just
dumb.
booze. It's always booze.
it's definitely Coke too.
Yeah.
Coke
yeah.
starts that shit.
Let's not discount Coke.
Yeah, it's just fucking so dumb.
But people just take it. When I was here, it was for Moon Tower last time. We were at that burger plate, P. Terry's, waiting in line, and they're like, "That's particularly the outside of that place. This is like a late night spot that is just always drama going on." And there was like preppy white dudes in some kind of an argument with Latino girls. The girls' boyfriends were almost telling, like the Hispanic guys were almost like, "Stop! It's like leave it alone. Whatever the problem is."
Yeah.
The dudes were kind of just over it, like who cares? And the lady just kept cursing out this like
Oh no.
tall nerdy
boy.
kid, and
Oh,
then
no.
then she went over and he was just like, "All right, like like shut up, like enough already." And she took her phone, and I mean hit him. I've never seen something like this happen before. It was she hit him right across the forehead, and he was kind of like, it didn't seem like it hurt him that much at first. He was like, "Whoa, hey." And then you just saw the line,
The blood.
like form, yeah, start running down. You're like, "Yo, she split him
Wow.
hard," and they drag it. And then, but this is what's amazing. This is Texas, dude, which I love. While that's happening, we're like, "Oh shit!" And like number 68 with Oreo milkshake, Oreo shake.
They see it every weekend.
Dude, having a girl like that in your life can get you killed,
Dude, my ex-wife, one of our early
or get
dates.
you put in jail for killing somebody, like one of those guys.
Yeah. We went outside, me and Liz and Cantor were out there, and we saw a guy like holding a purse and a girl trying to wrestle it from him.
Oh, my
And then
God.
Cantor's like, "We gotta go out and say something." And so we went out there. We're like, "Ma'am, are you all right?" She goes, "Mind your own fucking business." And then Cantor's like, "Dude, she's gonna get you killed." And then we just
Yeah,
walked
you
back
never.
in.
Who said you should do that?
I stayed inside.
Unless it gets
Protecting the
violent.
women.
Unless it gets violent, I won't. I'm not doing shit.
Just the screaming and arguing because it's always I've
Because they'll go after you. That's what cops always
almost
say.
100%
Also,
of the
there's
time.
some
100% of the
backstory.
time. Yeah.
Almost 100%. Anytime you've To be that guy. I don't think I've done it, but I've definitely watched it like backfire quick.
It's fucking
I mean,
dangerous.
where it's like, it's like, hey, dude, I think the lady wants to be left alone, and then she's like, fuck off.
But that's what
You're
cops
like,
say.
oh.
Cops say when they show up, sometimes the women will attack them.
We're fighting. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's fucking scary.
I was just wearing them out. I was getting ready to take the late rounds.
People lose their fucking minds when they fight with each other. Like, the cops always say that the scariest thing is going to a domestic case.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure it's
who knows?
the most emotion. Yeah.
Both of them are fucking drunk. Someone's got a gun. The guy runs into the room. You don't know what the fuck to do. You're a cop. You're standing there. The guy comes out with the gun. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You shoot him? Like, what are you doing here?
See, I think the fear of that situation, though.
Because they're so enraged because of his fucking wife.
Oh, my God. And you're a cop. You got to fucking assess this, like, instantaneously. What the fuck? You get some information from the phone.
Yeah.
Right? On the way in, the office tells you.
Yeah.
But once you get there, like, fuck.
I'd lay everybody on the floor instantly every time, no matter what.
Would you?
Get on your fucking face. Get on your fucking face
Israeli
right now.
in 'em. That's the Israeli in 'em.
Clear every room and then be like, all right, now let's talk.
Navy SEAL style.
Yep, exactly. Take no chances
Well, you'd kill a lot more people that way.
by doing that.
Yeah, for sure, because people would definitely like
Fight back on
Some
that.
people
Yeah.
can calm people down. Some people can calm people down.
I'm not that guy.
But some people you can't calm down. Like, some people, like, you can get into some guys on PCP and a fucking
Oh, you're holding
full
a gun
rage,
on them. They don't give a shit.
and
Yeah, wow.
you're not going to be able
Can
to
you
calm them
imagine
down.
not, like-
Well, some people also want to die.
Oof.
There's
Yeah.
that, and like they want to die by cop. That's a real thing too.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's grand.
Yeah, they give it to him too.
Yeah. They're like,
They
okay.
give it to him. I mean, and for the cop's got to deal with that.
I know it's funny when man, I forget what it was. I was watching years ago. It was a guy that was trying to do that, suicide by cop, and they had it wasn't even anywhere like it was in America. They had a sniper guy,
Oh, Jesus Christ!
like a roof, like a rooftop away across the street or something, and he was describing like when the guy was holding the gun. And he kept he just noticed that he mimicked emotion more than once. Like kind of naturally, he kept doing the same thing with the gun. And like the fourth time he raised the gun up, he shoots the gun out of his hand.
Oh, my
and then the guy
God.
just goes and like lays down.
Oh,
with his
wow.
gun. Pretty wild.
Oh, I saw that. I
That's
remember
insane.
That now.
Damn.
Yeah, but
insane.
his face, he wanted to die, and but when that got shot out of his hands, he just realized how he's like, holy shit! Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, you don't even know what you're asking for.
That kind of a
Damn.
skill is.
What a shot.
That's crazy.
He's
It's
like, I may as well
something.
just try it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that guy's prone too. Nice. Oh, jeez, he shot it right out of his fucking.
What the?
hand.
Mikey McKiernan.
He looks like.
Shot it right out of his hand. That's,
looks like
that
Mickey
is
from
wild.
the
That
store.
guy's so lucky he has fingers. He's lucky in every way, shape, and that guy should play the lottery right after that. Right? You're a lucky bitch. Yeah. Like,
If it
you
was Dog the
should
Ba-
be dead. You
If it was-
shouldn't have any fingers.
If it was Dog the Bounty Hunter arresting him, he would have let him get some lottery tickets. On his, he just let him do everything.
Stop on the way home.
Is that what he does with people?
He would hold their cigarette for them while they smoke, like handcuffed.
Oh, would he really?
Talk to him about God. He'd let him look at his wife's
wow.
big fat titties.
Big fat ones.
Dog
Rest in
still
peace.
around?
Rest in peace, those big fat titties.
Oh,
She's
she's
gone?
dead?
Yeah, I think he's already moved on to another chick.
What do you want him to do? Wait?
No.
He's Dog the Bounty
She
Hunter.
was
Dog-
awesome, though.
First of all,
She was awesome.
How old is that guy?
How old's Dog?
Probably close to 70.
Yeah, I mean,
If I had to guess.
it's a hard life. You're fucking banging on doors,
Yeah.
getting fugitives.
Can't
Every
believe-
day is a risk.
I can't believe for the, let's say, class of people they were that there's not a loose picture of Beth Chapman's titties in the world at all. Can't
He's
believe
70.
it.
The dude's 70. Look
When's
at his
the documentary
Look at
on
him
him
with his
coming out?
hair, with the sunglasses. What an
yeah.
amazing picture.
He never
I
lost
mean,
that fucking hair.
That is such an American person.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
I mean, Dog the Bounty Hunter might be the most American guy that's ever lived. Look at the gold chain hanging from his
Oakleys?
neck. The Oakleys.
He's got Ric Flair chest.
The bleach blonde, long ass, beautiful hair for an
Beautiful
old dude.
hair.
For an old dude, I mean, he's got some
Yeah.
rocker hair from the 80s.
Red skin.
He's got some poison hair. Look at his skin.
Yep.
Leathery. Fuck your sunscreen.
Wait, what
Dog
was-
the Bounty Hunter's never
Dog
even
don't touch no sunscreen.
touch sunscreen.
It's got chemicals in it.
that
was
dude
the
is just
recent-
taking sun in the mug.
Yep.
What was the recent crime that he jumped in on, put his name out there? Was it the...
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened?
Was it the
He
Petito?
was looking for the kid who killed missing in Florida with the girlfriend.
Oh yeah, the guy, the
wound
van
up
life, the
dead,
van life couple.
Right? They want to.
Yeah,
He killed her and killed himself.
But they just show news, and it's just Dog the Bounty Hunter knocking on doors with a piece of paper. Like, have you seen it? He just went solo, boots to the ground.
I'm gonna find
in
him.
America somewhere, like
with
where
the cameras conveniently knowing where he was.
We'll find him.
What are the odds that they know where
Missouri.
he is? Just exactly in the middle of a city.
What does it say? He's just knocking on doors. He goes,
Yeah.
"Do you know this guy?" He goes, "Yeah, everyone does. He's on the news."
Yeah, that was a scary case. They
Which one was that?
They got pulled over by the cops.
Yeah.
And they had been in some sort of a domestic squabble. Again, domestic fights, right?
Squabble's a great word.
And something, I don't know what the details were of it, but the cops let them go.
Well, in the rarest of situations,
And then they did what?
I'm saying, but in the rarest
Okay.
of situations, I don't think this happens a lot, but the girl was crying and telling her story, and then the guy was telling his side of the story, like behind the cops, and the cops were definitely like more on his world of like, it's chicks, right? I mean, we're in small spaces, you know how they act, and he's like, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, they're not. I don't want to sandbag the cops and say, but it is like, for whatever's going on, she was hyper emotional and screaming and crying, and he was like, kind of like, just bickering about whatever,
Dude,
you know,
he
this, and then they let him go.
And then what they do?
Probably a sociopath, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he probably figured out how to con the cops and
to be
he
that
killed
calm.
her.
He killed her right afterwards.
Yeah, he killed her, and then
Oh, fuck.
either he killed himself. It's
In the
hard
woods.
to know because I think like the alligators got to him.
Oh shit.
I think when they found his body, he had been consumed.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah, I
pieces of him,
think some things had consumed him. It might be pigs too. There's a lot of wild pigs out there, but the pigs will eat everything.
Right.
They'll eat your bones, man. They'll eat everything. If you leave a body where
Yeah.
pigs are, that's the thing
We had a
about
forensic
Snatch. The movie
psychologist on-
Snatch.
On Kill Tony yesterday. We asked him if that was a good way to kill people, and he said,
The
"Yeah."
remains were described as skeletal. Were confirmed using dental records.
Oh,
Holy
Brian Laundrie.
shit.
That's a different one.
No, that's the guy.
No, that's the guy.
Oh,
No, that's the guy.
the Brian Laundrie.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the guy. So he was consumed. So it probably wasn't pigs. It was probably
Gators.
rats. And,
He was found-
No, gators would swallow you whole.
Yeah, good point.
He was found, dare I say, through no help of Dog the Bounty Hunter,
Yeah, remember when they couldn't find him? There was a national manhunt on for him.
Yeah.
and he was just out in the woods, or not the woods.
The
like
Everglades are so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the Everglades, 99% of all the mammals are missing?
Really?
99%. Yeah.
Dude, I went, you know how when you're driving on the highway, you'll stop, like there's a green belt or some hike or something?
Mm-hmm.
So I did that at a rest stop in Florida, though, driving across the state. And to go into the woods, you have to open up a giant gate that's like 20 feet high, then a barrier, like the Berlin Wall, then another 20-foot high fence. And then you go in, and there's like a path and a sign. And it said, like, don't do this alone. There's fucking panthers everywhere.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So you have to be with somebody. And then I just turned around and left.
So they're probably thriving, but they need stuff to eat.
Yeah.
And the problem is everything's been killed by pythons.
Python.
There's 500,000 pythons that are in the Everglades right now. And there's also people spotted Nile crocodiles. They don't think the Nile crocodiles are a breeding pair. They think somebody might have had one and let it loose. And if that's the case, and it survived, but if they have a shoot on site, like if you see if Nile crocodiles
Invasive.
they get 20 feet long and they eat fucking zebras.
Damn.
I mean, those things
Well,
are
they show
giant.
those things that are walking across golf courses and stuff.
No,
that are like-
these are way scarier because crocodiles will eat you. Alligators will leave you the fuck alone for the most part. They could eat you. They might eat you if you're swimming.
Right.
But crocodiles will go after you. Like, they eat people. Like, crocodiles in Africa, the Nile crocodiles that we're talking about, my friend Jim Shockey, he's a professional hunter. They sent him to Africa to kill these crocodiles because they were killing so many villagers.
Whoa.
Everyone in the village was like missing a hand.
Is
It
that
was
the
on
one
his
where the boat
television
turns
show.
over? Is those crocodiles in the boat and they just
Yes,
keep
they
pulling
pulled
the boat down?
guy. That was the guy in a kayak.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Yeah, that was in some magazine. That story.
45
He's
years
just
old.
going along, and then it flips it over.
Yeah, the crocodile swam up to the kayak, flipped it over, and pulled him out of the kayak and swallowed him whole.
But when his legs were still in there, he was pulling it out.
Yeah.
The kayak just keeps sinking, like as he's being chewed alive.
Bro, they
Not the
are
best way to die.
monsters. They are monsters. And here's the crazy thing: the pythons are such monsters that they're eating the alligators.
Oh.
Pythons, they found a dead python with a 12-foot alligator inside of its body.
Oh, I just saw that.
It's
yeah.
bananas.
Yeah,
thought it could. I don't know how big the alligator
need
was.
to
I might
see
have
that
exaggerated.
fight.
the
It's a
size
good
of the
place to get
alligator.
rid of a body, the Glades. That's where those.
Oh my god!
And
it's
who's
the
gonna
best
walk
place.
by it? No one's walking
no
by
one's
it
walking
anyway.
through there.
That's where those kids from that Bully movie, like the true story of that, like they dumped in the Everglades, and the only reason they got caught is because they were young, dumb teenagers who
left
just
the trail.
kept telling people. No, they just kept telling people.
They kept telling people.
Like one person would go, he goes, "All right, don't tell anybody else, but like we all killed the bully yesterday,"
of course they did.
and they couldn't stop telling. That's my favorite. That movie is made by that Larry Clark guy who makes all of the
Gummo?
yes, like Gummo, like those kind of Harmony Korine type guys. They make all those like shitty kid movies, and so the movie's made to be. It's very sexually explicit.
Yeah.
It's a very attractive cast, and then when you look into the story at all and they show it, it's like a fat Samoan guy. Everyone's like a Florida pig that they thought they were going to be. I'm like, what are all these sexy kids fucking and killing each other for? And they're just all outcast, awful looking people.
Yeah, the ones who are like, I have no other options. This is my friend group.
That's so interesting.
Michael Pitt was a character in that handsome little son of a bitch. Bijou Phillips, Rachel Miner.
That's always weird when they have a movie and you see what the real person looked like, and then you see them. Like when what's her face? Catherine Zeta-Jones played Giselda Blanco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Giselda Blanco, the
South.
cocaine queen, that crazy bitch from
The Godmother, or whatever they call it.
she was terrifying, and she was in those Cocaine Cowboys documentaries.
Yeah.
When then you see Catherine Zeta-Jones, perfect, hot as the fucking sun, playing her.
How about they do that scream where it just switches right at the end of Blow? They couldn't, with movie makeup and all the time in the world, they couldn't make Johnny Depp as ugly as George Young. They couldn't.
They just couldn't do it. He shines through everything.
He's too perfect.
Somebody saw that in the movie theaters and they went to that picture of him and somebody went, "Throw Mama from the train." And then they realized he does absolutely look like Throw Mama from the train. Mama Fratelli.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah, dude, he was really crazy. And again, he was gorgeous Johnny Depp the whole movie.
Remember when they got that hot lady to play Monster? What's her name?
Oh, yeah, Charlize Theron.
Do you think the rest of Hollywood is like, can you just hire one of the ugly ones? Why
They
do you
never
have to hire the hot
No one
one?
fights for the ugly people to get their roles. Why are you hiring pretties to play our roles?
She has to get gross to do this.
Who is it put on the movie for the Dark Knight? For not the Dark Knight, the Batman, the new Batman. Was it Colin Farrell, that handsome fella?
He is the Penguin.
Oh, the Penguin, yeah.
Yeah, did you see what they did with him?
What did he do?
He doesn't look any. Well, that's a good one. But Charlize Theron actually turned herself ugly for that movie.
Why
And
not
she's
just-
hot
wow.
as fuck.
So hot.
She's hot as fuck. I've seen her in real life. She's fucking hot. And she decided to gain like 100 pounds or whatever the fuck it is, and shave her
gross
eyebrows
face.
off and
Ugh.
make herself look like shit. What
She
did I
did
ask
it.
you to look up? Yeah, this guy. So he played the Penguin. He's a handsome fella, and they put some crazy shit on him and got rid of his hair and made his face prosthetic, give him like a fat face. Like that's him in the Penguin. I mean, he don't look anything like himself.
But that's just prosthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron just did it.
Yeah. Big difference. Big difference. Those people that do that, like for a movie,
Remember the
like,
Machinist when he became like an
I was just gonna say
anorexic?
that, yeah.
Damn.
It's killing Tom Hanks. He has like, doesn't he have like bad diabetes and shit from doing that?
From what?
I think from like jumping up and down weights for characters.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard he got AIDS from
believe so.
Philadelphia.
No, that's not true, Ari.
No, not the movie, just in the city. That place is teeming with AIDS.
Yeah, he had a bad cheesesteak.
It was influential.
What were we just Googling? Oh, whether or not Tom Hanks really has diabetes. That doesn't make sense. It would say kidney problems, maybe.
Maybe it's maybe has some, but I think it's like says
Family
health has
history
been
of
like
diabetes.
Oh, he has a family history of diabetes. So he's always had it.
Maybe.
Did he go up and down for roles a lot?
he would be thinner, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, especially in his, he was a little older when he did like Castaway and had to get like gaunt.
Well, I know
You
McConaughey.
know what I mean? And then he's been like heavy, yeah.
When McConaughey did Dallas Buyers Club, he got fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, that hurt him. Yeah, that hurt him.
Oh,
He had a hard time like recovering from that. Like, you're basically on death's door. You know, you're letting your body eat itself. That's
Yeah.
what happened. It's people don't realize how scary that is. Like, for a person to do that for a movie, like
for a movie, I know it's so inconsequential,
so
really.
crazy.
Just
like,
to entertain people for 2 hours.
like what Homeboy did with The Machinist, Christian Bale. He got to death's door, man. You ever see that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
That was a
looked
wild one.
so bad.
Yeah, it was
He looked
crazy.
even worse than McConaughey did in Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah,
But-
it seems to take his shirt off and he's all spindly like that.
Yeah. But he came and played Batman like 6 months later. He got on the sauce.
Well, I mean, it was that was after
Yeah, and Dick
American
Cheney.
Psycho, where he was like jacked.
Jacked, yeah. But it's just that image of him in The Machinist, like that like with his arms are splayed like a
He
bird.
was so
below
anorexic.
that. Yeah, that one. Like, dude, he looks like he's on death's door. Like, that looks like a person who's been starved in a concentration camp. Look at him.
He must have been so proud of himself when he was doing that suck-in thing. He was like,
It's
"This
very
is- I
crazy to
made that."
do. But he seems to be okay with it. But like I said, I know McConaughey really got hurt from Dallas Buyers Club. He had a really hard time getting back from that.
Damn.
It's not a joke, man. Your body's eating itself. Like, to do that for a movie. So it's one thing to get fat. Like Mark Wahlberg got fat for a movie recently.
Really?
Yeah, he just ate like fucking 30,000 calories a day, and he gained 30 pounds, big gut. But then he lost it again.
See that SNL sketch?
That's not good for you, but it's still probably better for you than almost dying of starvation.
Yeah, that's
Like,
not
I'd
that
rather
fat.
be that.
Yeah.
And that you could fucking with this. I mean, he's obviously a very disciplined guy. He's gonna lose the weight and get back.
Also, he's not that bad.
But it's not as dangerous.
Does he have a third
It's
nipple?
not good though.
Does he?
I think he has a third nipple.
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
No,
third
it's a
nipple.
mole, you fucking.
No, I
got
think
an
it's a third
areola.
nipple.
It's got an areola.
When it's got the little white in the middle,
Come on.
it's a third nipple.
This is a
I had a friend
conspiracy
in high
theory.
school, same thing.
This is
He's
a
got it.
conspiracy theory that is unfounded.
That's for sure.
I bet looked it up. I bet no, someone has said that before.
unfounded conspiracy theories.
We had the
Third
proof.
We cannot
nipple.
have those.
We
on
saw
this
the
show.
proof. This is what the
Now,
original.
does Donnie
thought of
have
it.
the same third nipple? Is this a thing in the family? Is that what Wahlburgers is made
Oh
of?
That's a
my
third nip for
God.
sure.
This guy's got a third
nipple. It is a third
Wow.
nipple. Did you already know
Good
this?
find.
Mark
No.
Wahlberg,
Didn't know that
third
at all.
nipple. You knew. You son
No,
of a bitch.
I saw
You
it.
just saw it.
Wow. Would you assume that a vain man would get that removed, or maybe that's the best one to suck on?
Ooh, the most sensitive.
Yeah.
The third
Maybe
nipple.
that little one is wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
The God nipple.
oh, like a clit nipple.
Yeah.
It
clit
tells the
nipple.
future.
Yeah, that one's the one. Just rub it. Oh. It's like when the teacher put his thumb on their head and made them go to ecstasy. Just tweak that one nipple. Oh,
And does it have? I wonder if a third one has nipple reaction, like the tightening of the areola and the loosening up.
Sucks
know,
together.
from weather, yeah.
Why is it
Or that
never a
pokes
full
out.
nipple? It's always just like leftover.
Right, like an extra finger is not like the biggest finger.
The Danny DeVito
If you
nipple.
have two thumbs, well, how would you know which one it is?
Yeah. Wait, yeah, maybe like, no, this is the fake nipple. This was my second.
You know, if you lose a pinky, you lose like the majority of the power in your hand.
No.
Like a large amount. I think it's something like 50% of the strength of your hand. Imagine how strong you'd be if you had all index
Pinkies.
fingers. All
Oh.
index in this finger. Like, this is a bitch-ass finger.
Yeah,
This
pinky
little
doesn't do
finger-
much.
And it takes away
This little
50% of
finger
your
works
power.
out all the fucking time. It's still weak as fuck. Look at this little bitch. Nothing.
It's
But-
only good for making you look gay
but
while
these,
you drink tea.
These fingers are strong as fuck.
Yeah.
And that's like, imagine if you had a hand of only these fingers.
Yeah.
Like, what is this pinky doing?
How close are we to that?
Like, am I using that very often? Do I need a dainty? I can do dainty shit with these. Why do I have a dainty little bitch ass finger?
It makes the base of my wiener feel thick.
Oh, okay. Use. Use.
There you go.
I try
That's
to
it.
flip a
Maybe
bracelet. I
that's
don't
it.
think
Maybe
it's
that's
For
it.
guys who
Yeah.
jerk off like this.
For propagation of the yeah.
the taper down effect.
Gentle.
Yeah.
Feel
If you're a
it.
gentleman, you jerk off like you're drinking tea with a pinky out.
Yeah. Remember when this was the worst social thing you could do by accident?
pinky
Yeah,
out?
like, oh no!
Your friends would mock you.
We saw him!
Yeah, I think that might be just us. That might be a comedian's thing. I
That's how
bet
you first
regular
get into
guys,
it?
if regular guys are drinking coffee, I bet they do this all the time. They don't even think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't think someone's going to jump all over them
Like,
and mock them.
Why would that be a problem?
The comedian Pete Dominic told me a story years ago in Vegas about I don't know if it was somebody finding out that somebody else in his school jerked off different than everybody or him.
Yeah.
But it was like, but you know, the rumor, those bullshit rumors that go around every school. Some girl had a dog eat her pussy, and
Yeah.
someone jerked off in school or something. This was the whatever got caught jerking off in school, whoever the kid was. And when everyone was making fun of him, they're like, you see, Steve was jerking off in school. And he said, one kid was like, yeah, Steve, you did it. You were jerking off. And he goes, that's when everyone just goes, he goes like, hang on, Steve.
Wait.
What?
He was doing what though?
What is this knuckles up thing you're doing, you fucking weirdo?
He goes, that's how you find out. He goes, you guys are jerking off. Nah.
What
He
are
was
you
on top
doing?
1 second, on the bottom the next second.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like,
Isn't that
fuck.
funny that we'll judge someone on the method they use to jerk off?
Yeah, like you're out of the group.
How weird is that? How weird is it that this bothers you?
Yeah, because you don't jerk off with anybody. Why should it even matter?
It seems like hyper aggressive. Like
I've seen it in pornography, and it bothers me. And it really does. And I say, he's doing it wrong, which isn't true.
But if it works, that was
Still his choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Still his choice.
To get you there, I'm like, nah, you don't even know the sweet, pure pleasure of going the other way.
It's like a guy who's got an unorthodox pitch.
Yeah. They don't know
Or
what to do
also,
with it.
though, he
Yeah,
might
but
like his
what?
pressure low. Because, again, we're talking about the pinky finger versus the ring
you would just
finger.
lay off. How low are we talking about?
I feel like if you're doing it this way, you're more fucking a hole that's empty on the other side, where you can fuck the full pussy of your fist the other direction.
You could also just be like rubbing the dick against your hand, no pressure. For
That's
slower.
crazy.
Is it crazy to
Now,
enjoy
what
what
you're
you're
saying
doing?
is crazy.
Like you're cradling it.
Yeah, you're cradling. Just that's what Rock the Cradle of Love was about.
I've heard stories of guys who's like their jerk off is to like have their
down?
fuck their own thigh in bed, basically.
No, don't do that.
That was
boys.
me when I was little. I would just rub it against my jeans.
Don't do that.
Is that under the Restrict Act? They're going to get us for splitting bad information.
That's bad
What
information.
if they take away that? Yeah.
Imagine if that fucking act passes through and they go through old podcasts. Everybody's
Oh
going
boy,
to jail.
I'm fucked.
Everyone's going to jail.
Yeah. If you said anything negative about a candidate.
Anything negative about the government.
Because like it's still up, so it's still doing the thing.
Yeah, the whole thing is spooky, man. It's spooky that they just keep wanting more and more control. It's just like we were talking about with cult leaders.
Yeah.
Like it starts off, they're kind of okay, and then after a while they go crazy, and then they push it to see how far they can do it. I think that's a pattern with human beings.
Yep.
I think that's a pattern in the government. I think that's a pattern in cults.
Comedy Central used to do that when they were like, hey, this material, we own the material forever, not just the recording. And then you'd have to go, no, and like, okay, well, we had to ask.
You got to try.
Yeah, and it's like, why even try?
Yeah. Well, the problem is
That's what
you're
everyone does.
an artist, and when you mix art with business, stuff gets very
Shaky.
slippery.
I hate it. I don't know how to do any of it. Business.
Yeah, you're pretty much useless with that.
Yeah, but it's also one of the reasons why you're so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's it all goes together, man. I don't think those people that are like really good at crunching numbers are the funniest folks.
Dude, you should have seen this. It was like, Jay, I need your notes on this this edit. And he's like, okay, well, I've got to see my daughter tomorrow. So I'm like, I was like, Jay, put it on and watch it now.
I did not want to watch it.
Oh my God. You don't have to do anything.
I did not want to watch it. Sometimes on the edits, it doesn't matter now. It's out now, and I've seen it, and I'm very happy with it. But sometimes they go, we need your notes on the edits. And I'd go, and then I'd go to click the email to watch it again, and I would see Ari's copious notes, his wonderful notes, and I would go, and I'm almost one at random. I go, I don't know how I feel about his third note, but I pretty much agree with all. I was going to call you
Let him
guys,
edit
but
it.
it's all pretty much that.
Yeah, let a friend edit it. That's a good move.
He
Actually.
did eventually. I was
Someone
like,
who's a good editor, let a friend edit it.
yeah, we got Cotter to edit it.
Not a bad idea.
He was
like, you know
right
what I
on
need.
everything you say when he'd go, I don't know about this, and I go, sure, you know better than I do. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, we set the club up so that you could film there all the time. We set
is
the club
great.
up so there's 3 angles in every room.
There's going to be a lot of specials.
Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is
Yeah.
like to let people look. Everybody knows now, and Ari, you're a great testament to that. You need one fucking banging special on YouTube, and then you're off to the races.
People can see it. It's legit.
Yeah.
Everyone hears everybody on podcasts. Matt Egger says this. You introduce a friend on a podcast. Hey, he's a really funny guy. And then you're at home going, can you prove that?
Right.
Is there any proof of that out there?
Well, at a certain point, they trust you. Like I've never
Yeah.
lied once. Like I've had a lot of people that I like them, but they're just not that funny.
Right.
I just can't. I can't help you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like whatever it is. It's
But when you
That's a
put
tough
out
thing
yeah.
in doing
not
comedy
fun.
as long as I have
Yeah,
is seeing
it's annoying.
somebody
it's not fun.
who's seeing somebody, especially when you like them and like a
Yeah.
friend, you're like, oh, I don't know if you have like the basic,
No.
like, because even people,
Basic what? Like habit?
well, a good example, I've been doing comedy longer than Lewis and Dave
Yeah.
from Skanks. And like, but when I was, whatever, 8 years in and they were just starting,
Yeah.
Someone's going hard.
I'd watch them when it was 8 years. I'd watch them, and they were funny on stage, but it wasn't like I saw what like their lack of experience was in it, but I could see right away. I'm like, nah, but you guys have like,
You know what you're
I
doing.
wasn't worried about them. I was
Right,
like,
right.
you guys are going to be fine.
Yeah,
Like you're a
yeah.
very funny guy. I don't know what level they go
Yeah.
to necessarily, but I was like, you'll be around comedy.
You're not a
There's no-
lunatic.
Right.
Yeah, and then there's some people where you're like, damn, I love this guy. Then you watch them and you go, oh,
Zero chance.
He's such a nice person.
There's a bunch of
Oh,
those.
this hurts.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate,
Yeah.
because sometimes you become friends with them before you see their set.
Yeah.
And then you see them, and they want
I
to
know
come
what
on
to
your
do.
podcast, or they want to, hey, I know you're doing a show in Minneapolis. I'm actually from there. I'd love to open for you. Like,
Yeah.
we got a problem.
And then you
they're-
got to go. I just booked somebody.
I'm
And you
already
got to
there.
scramble to get somebody right
you
then.
kind of have to have a real conversation with them. Otherwise, it's going to keep coming up. But you got to kind of figure out a way to say it in a way that's. Yeah, fortunately, I haven't had to do that to too many people.
Yeah, I'm not that person.
It's not
at all.
even. It's
You'll
just
just take it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll absolutely take it.
I never asked someone if I could go with them on the road. I never did. And
Yeah.
all the guys that I took on the road with me, I asked.
Thank you.
Like, and I asked
Still
Ari.
appreciate it.
Ari was like a doorman. Like he was a dude that I knew at the club that was just starting out, and I knew he had potential. Like I would see his late night sets, and every now and then he'd hit a spark, and I'd be like, ah! It was just like you were figuring it out. And
Yeah.
then I took you to Denver one time, and you
Denver.
fucking murdered.
That was my first road thing.
Murdered.
The
It was
Denver
the
Comedy
first
Works.
time
Wow.
Ari was ever in
Yeah.
front of 350 people who were so happy to see a show.
It was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is comedy?
And he
Oh.
murdered. He murdered.
That's a high bar set.
It was
Yeah,
so
it's like
fun.
it's not gonna. Yeah,
You
everybody
were the-
that shows up at Comedy Works is like, "This is my first show." I'm like, "Oh, they won't be as good as this."
Well, you had been running with weights on, right? Because
The
you'd
store.
been doing those late night spots
Yeah.
where if you're a beginner and you're going on after like 5 killers in a row, like
Buried
that,
by Freddy.
the audience just leaves. Like big chunks of them leave, and you get this like dead sort of.
Oh, all of my
Crap. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
my New York chops are.
Yeah.
I followed Dave Attell. I followed Dave Attell at the Comedy Cellar for 10 years straight, 12 years straight, every night.
Look
pretty
what
much.
it did. That's the only way.
But it's funny. You almost say the same thing. It was like Attell asked me if I wanted to go on the road with him and start doing stuff, and then he would call me to.
Wow.
I would,
Yeah.
'cause I would feel weird to go.
Right.
Hey, can I do whatever
I would
with?
That's
never
a
ask
problem.
anybody. No fucking way.
You can't ask. Someone will ask you.
It's like-
if you ask,
yeah.
it becomes a thing. And now someone's not hiring you because they want to. They're hiring you because you asked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we don't know you're a professional comedian. And you don't.
If you ever need anybody, is a
Right.
funny one.
I
But
mean,
I mean,
how
like,
many
Yeah.
people can you
I
take
can't
on the
find
road?
a comic. What do you mean if I ever need?
also worked. John Carden's a comic from here in Austin who he was in Phoenix before this, and he just opened for me one time there. We've never lived in the same state or anything, but he's on the road with me a ton. And we just connect like that weekend.
Yeah.
Like hit it
Go
off.
on
But
the road
he
with
does a
someone.
killer job. I'm happy to promote him. So like,
It's like going on vacation with someone. You don't want to. You want. I want to go on vacation with you.
Yeah.
We go on vacation. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
If you and I just went to Maui and just fucking drank pina coladas and fucked around the ocean, we'd have a great time.
Yeah.
We'd have laughs all day
Sure.
long. But not all comics. Like some comics, if you went to Maui with, you're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go to the gym. And you'd be in your room watching fucking Netflix, going,
Just
"What?"
waiting.
in paradise, going, ugh. Like some people you don't want to talk to.
We went to Anchorage for 4 days and we did a show.
Yeah, we had
It
a
was
great
like-
fucking time.
yeah.
We went fishing.
Oh,
we
it's
hung
good.
around. We did a fun show though.
It was a
I
fun
think
show.
we had 2 shows. Did we have 2
Maybe
shows?
2 in one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we
Chilcoots?
waited in a. No, it was another place. We waited in a turned out bus in between
Yeah.
shows.
It was dope. They were like robust people. Like I was impressed with them. Like everyone had character. It was very interesting. Like it
Anchorage
was
is wild.
Like the level of
Anchorage
character
is
that
wild.
the average guy has in Anchorage is above normal because they're around fucking moose and bears and it's frozen half the year.
They all carry candles in their car because
Yeah.
if it goes off, they gotta light
blankets
that and
and
keep alive.
candles. You keep blankets and candles in your car.
those I used to go out there. That was
Fuck.
one of the
No,
first
no way.
places.
Fuck, dude.
That was one of the first places that Chilcoo Charlie's out there that would headline me every year. So before I was almost going anywhere in like the lower 48, I was like a regular there. Like every year I would go, they would have me. I loved that place.
I
It was-
love
the
Alaska.
chaos of that particular place, Chilcoo Charlie's, was insane. It was like a powder keg that never went off. It was a hip hop room, an electronic dance club upstairs. Downstairs, like a honky tonk band, and then they have another room that might have like a pretty big, actual like metal band. I think like Godsmack had played there at one point to like a couple hundred people, and it was looked like a log cabin from outside, like very unassuming.
One of my
Chilcoo-
favorite guys I ever
Amazing.
interviewed on the show is this guy, John Reeves, who owns a place called the Boneyard in Alaska. And this place in Alaska is this one spot that, for whatever reason, has tons and tons of bones. Giant woolly mammoth tusks.
What?
They've found animals from that area that weren't even supposed to be living there. These different fucking lions and cats and bears and all these, I mean, insane amounts. And it's a small area. It's just a few acres. And he's got other areas on he has an enormous property. He's like a mining guy. And he's very wealthy, but like down to earth, like a regular dude. Smokes cigarettes on the podcast. He's fun fucking dude. So he tells a story about how they dumped a bunch of fossils in the East River because they didn't have any storage from them. Fossils that came from his land. And so he was trying to get it back, and he got all this paperwork that shows where it was dumped. So then he gives it out to the internet on the podcast. So then these guys start swimming around in the fucking river, in the East River, and one of them finds a steppe bison jawbone. So it's proof that some of that stuff did get into the East River. At least that piece did. So this guy finds it diving, looking around the bottom of the East River in that fucking toxic river.
It's his.
And they pull out this thing. So he pulls out this thing.
His lips are exposed in that shit.
Yeah, man. Oh. His lips. Well, he had the scuba thing on before. So he's got the thing that goes on his mouth. He took it off when he got out of the water. But that's a steppe bison jawbone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
how
that
unassuming,
means-
by the way. I would be like,
Well, that's a piece of it.
this
Ew,
isn't
gross.
money.
Yeah.
Right. But it looks like when you see the full version, that lady has it in her hand.
So what does that mean that
Go
that's
back.
there?
See the full version. That lady has it in her hand. That's what it looks like when it's fully
Oh, wow.
connected. So that was a deceased bison's jawbone. So they have a shit ton of those out in this boneyard, and this is something that they found in the East River. So what his story, it seems at least to be proved correct, that someone at one point in time dumped a bunch of these like priceless fossils
into the East River.
in the East River because they just didn't have any storage in like the 1930s. Was it? Was it something like that? It was like the 1930s.
Wow.
Or
Everyone
something.
thought it was much later. For some reason, because U-Haul bill was up.
Nah.
Marshall's
I think back
here.
then they didn't even understand. Like we got a bunch of these. Fucking dump them.
Dump 'em.
They
We don't
didn't
want 'em.
understand
But
how
I-
crazy it was what they had.
One of the times I was in Alaska, they took me and Dave Smith actually to the like animal preserve area out there by the glacier and stuff. And I'll tell you what, being a person who really mostly saw like wild animals only in a zoo before, the animals there, while majestic, are pretty worse for the wear. Like when you see a moose, it's not like a beautiful like. It is, the horns. But when you get up to them, there's like scabs, like real like they've been in a fight or something.
Yeah,
They
get
were nursing an
clawed up.
eagle back to health. Yeah, like real wilderness animals are like fucking. They're living a life.
They don't live long either, man. They don't
Yeah,
live
this shit's
long.
around all the time.
Did you see that video of these two dirt bike riders? And one of them fucks up and rides his dirt bike past a bear's den.
No.
And doesn't realize it until the bear comes charging out of the den at him.
No.
Oh my God. Let me find it, Jamie. You got it? He got it. Look at that.
What?
Jamie's
Jamie.
a goddamn
Fuck it.
wizard.
$10 an hour.
Jeez, watch
raise.
this. Look at this. Bro. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh, he crashed it right there.
Yeah. Look at this.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dude. That guy revved his engine, and that's probably what scared it off.
The buddy's video tape.
Dude, that is death. That is
Wow.
death. Oh, you know how fucking
I was
terrifying
like,
that would
when
be?
they show that like people that have been hit by like tiger claw. I saw a video the other day. It was like family was attacked by maybe it was a panther or something, or a puma or something like that. But like, it looks like especially when you see the hits, they're always it almost looks like they're playful playing with you. But like this from like
so powerful.
this from a tiger would just rip your face entirely
Clean
off. Yeah.
Clean off.
It's like Tyson trying to pity Patty.
You don't understand. You literally don't have any weapons. They have weapons on every hand, and their face is a weapon, and their bite strength is so superior to yours. You couldn't even imagine it. And they're so much stronger pound for pound than we are.
And you're just playing defense. You're not trying to win. You're trying to survive.
Did you
They're
ever
never
have
any
a
danger.
regular house cat that like you have a situation with?
And it starts like swinging at you.
I had
with the-
I had a house cat that was feral,
Yeah.
and I had to get him fixed because he was pissing in my house. It was
Story
one of those
tricks.
things. He was
Yeah.
just spraying all over my house. Like he was feral. I got him when he was a kitten. So like a friend, she found a bunch of them underneath the apartment building, and her and her boyfriend gave them out to people, and I took one of them. So I had this kitten, and I had to literally I had to stay with it for several days. alone in one of the bedrooms in my house
Yeah.
to get it to be comfortable enough with me that it let me touch it. I would go near it, it would hiss at me, climb the fucking drapes. It was wild. I was
Why
like,
did
what
you
am
take
I
it
doing?
home?
Because I was committed to this. I was
You
like, I'm
wanna
going to make
be
this
home.
work out. I'm going to make this work
Yeah.
out. And so these cats, like when they start pissing in the house, you have to get them fixed because now they're going to do that all the time. And I had to get him right when he first started doing it. I saw him do it. He lifted up his ass and he sprayed all over my bathroom like, you little motherfucker. I'm
On
like,
purpose.
Okay. So I call my veterinarian and he says, how feral? I go, he's fucking crazy feral. I go, I'm the only one who can pet him. And he's like, oh my God. But the guy, he was my friend. He was
Yeah.
Dr. Craig. He was the shit. And so he goes, you're going to have to capture it. So I got it in the bathroom, and it's hissing at me and jumping on the counters like it knows I'm doing something. And so I throw a blanket over this fucking thing, and I wrap him up in a blanket, and I put him in a hamper, and I take him to the doctor. And I'm like, good luck. And so
You could have the hamper in the bed.
and
Yeah.
he,
Good luck. Yeah.
he calls me when the operation's over because it was right down the street from my house.
How did
And
he do it
I
even?
go there.
Yeah.
I go, how did you do it? He's like, we managed. It was not easy. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I go, I know. He was a fun guy. He was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I go, yeah, he's feral. But I could pick him up. And he would purr.
It'll be okay.
Like purr louder than any cat ever purred. Like so happy that he was okay. He was safe. Like programmed in his mind when he was a bitty tiny baby was like the world is a scary place for a feral cat. The world is a scary place for them.
You still have the cat?
No, he's dead now.
But became completely domesticated and
Not really.
Still does his own shit.
It was only me. That was
Really?
yeah, it was it.
Everybody else, like, get the fuck away?
No one else could touch him.
Wow.
I could go up to him. I go, come on, man. And I pick him up, and he'd be all right. Like he would even look at me like tense up when I would come near him, but he knew. I'm like, come on, man. I pick him up. I'd be like the purring was so loud. It was like so appreciative. Like it was like sobbing love. You know.
I'm a new pet person. I never
You just got the first dog.
gave a shit ever. And I never, it wasn't that I didn't understand, but I definitely didn't have a full grip on when people were like,
What?
even when Ari got a dog, I remember when Ari first got his dog.
You didn't
it
give
was
a shit about my dog.
No,
You always
no,
said
no.
don't bring him, don't put him in the back seat. It was the hair. You care more about the hair than the
a
dog.
lot of hair. I still care about the hair with my own dog. It's a thing.
Well, my dog's a golden retriever. It's fucking crazy hair. It's everywhere.
Yeah. It's always
Especially in
everywhere.
the summer.
I'm changing on that and getting much less
Caring.
like wigged out
Can't
about
fight
that.
it.
or
You just gotta
caring about
brush
that.
him.
Can't fight
Yeah.
it. It's
You gotta
happened.
brush him. It's so worth it.
It just, I say is, it's so worth it is what the
Yeah.
thing is. But it took us a couple months, me and the dog, to get like, it was never that I thought the dog was off. It's the cutest dog I loved, but for the first couple months, I was like, I think we made a mistake in getting a dog.
He's shitting everywhere.
You
I was
shit on
like,
the
yeah, I was
carpet?
like, yo, I don't think I was prepared for what this was going to be.
You had
Well,
a
they're
bad
like-
dog too. He'd have come to barbecues and he'd always be up there with a hot dog in his mouth, like get the
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
look, go down. And then you tie him up and
How
you find
old
a
was
way
he?
around, and he like get a paw
She's,
just to get some fucking nuts.
How old was she when that was happening?
6 months.
Months.
Oh yeah, you can't
4
do
months.
that. But that's just
she's a
they
little.
don't-
like,
they're like
Dad,
little
no.
kids.
And
She's
she's
a
like,
little
"Fuck
over
off, I'm
one
doing
now,
it."
but like even now she's like calming down. She's great. Yeah, but it's fun.
Imagine-
But I never had that kind of like feeling with the animal before.
Yeah, it's totally different. But imagine asking a 6-month-old child to figure that out.
Oh my god!
You
but
wouldn't.
they can't get
You can't.
onto the table.
That's the thing, is that the dogs
They're
can move.
incredibly agile
Yeah, the
for a
dogs can
6-month-old.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking awesome, man.
Oh, I'm
I
trying to
love 'em.
fucking cook. I'm at the grill, literally on the grill, and he's jumping up trying to get it.
But wouldn't you? Like,
Yeah.
Everybody loves you. You're a puppy. Wouldn't you think that that's yours? I'm
And
gonna get
she
that
loves-
food.
yeah.
That fucking
Yeah.
hot dog
Smells like something I
delicious.
like.
Imagine what a hot dog smells like to a dog.
Yeah.
You know, a hot dog smells good to you. Imagine what it smells like to a dog. It must be unstoppable. Because dog food doesn't smell good.
Does not, and they get one
Does
of
not
those. You're like,
It's
smell
what?
grotesque. But I'll tell you what I bought. So they started opening dispensaries now in New York.
Yeah.
And then when I was in line, they got me CBD dog treats.
You getting your dog high?
And I mean, it's so. Taking them away now a little bit more because it's addictive to me how fun it is. Because you
Having
can
her
give
out
her
of
this
it.
thing. If you give her a whole biscuit, which is by the way the servings, you give them just like a dog treat, looks like a little bone or whatever. She eats. She takes it like a ritual. She takes it over to a certain spot and like chomps on it, drops some of it, picks it up, goes, and then you're almost like she doesn't seem like anything. And then 15 minutes later, she starts aimlessly walking around the living room, and then it's just a dropout into sleep wherever she's at, and just like down.
Damn.
And like if you try to wake, you're like, "Hey, Dawkins," and she's like, she really does like the one eye, like the bloodshot eye open,
not
like,
gonna happen.
what? And I'm like, man, that shit. I've never seen something work so much.
That's amazing. I wonder if it's how it affects them.
They're just
Because
chill.
I know.
And if she stayed, and by the way, she stopped falling asleep so fast. That's why I said I was pulling them away, because
She's getting used
started
to
not
it.
falling asleep. She's getting used to. She's staying awake, but she's being loopy. Do you know what I mean? She's like just looking at you weird. Like it's hilarious.
I
But
think
like
dogs can definitely get high.
Yeah, for sure.
You know how I know? Because do you remember my dog Lucy?
Yeah, I think
she
so.
was the dog that I had. There was a rescue dog. For some friends of mine, they found this dog that was eating out of garbage cans, and they said she's so sweet, but she's covered in mange. So I said, "Oh, okay."
You even go hunting for your
And
dogs.
I just went. No, it was like somebody called me up with a terrible sob story. They know I'm a pussy, and so I had to. I see this dog, and she's so sweet, and she has mange all over her body, and so I took her in. And just feeding her, like within a short amount of time, the mange like
away.
completely went
Got her
away.
ears up.
But and she was a great dog. But one day, Joey Diaz and I were doing bong hits in my office, and the dog was under the desk, and I didn't think about it. We were just
Breathing the air.
there's actually a photo on the internet of Joey with a sleeveless shirt on, holding a big handful of weed. It's from that day. See if you can find that picture, because it's a famous picture. That's the picture. So, so that's me and Joey. That's me and Joey in my office doing bong hits. You know, I bought like an ounce of weed. So look at that. That was back when I was buying weed from the dispensary in Irvine or in
when there's like two of them.
what was it was a bad neighborhood. I'm trying to remember the neighborhood. God damn it. I forgot. I'll remember. But so that was the day. So we'd got there and gotten just fucking barbecued. And the dog was underneath the desk. And then she was so sketched out afterwards. I was like, you okay? But she had all this trauma for when she was young and she was, homeless and eating out of garbage cans and shit.
She's on
with
drugs
mange.
again.
But she was like, I
back
guess
on the
like,
shit.
It all came back.
but I guess dogs like that are probably terrified they're going to go back to that life.
Right. You start getting paranoid.
Right. You're terrified you're going to be on the streets again.
Why do you bring the friend over?
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be to take me away.
But imagine a dog not having any idea why all of a sudden it's like hyper freaked out about everything.
Yeah, well, the senses in general I've never witnessed before. I'm blown away by like friends of ours who have dogs that she like is with a lot. If we're like Justin's house, he's got a dog they play all the time. If we're blocks away but in the area of town,
Justin,
she perks up. That's like the dog. I don't know what it is. Like, it seems like an impossibility, but she tends to seem to like recognize.
The
from
neighborhood.
a car, just like being down in a car.
Yeah, they know it.
Not seeing like from smell or something. She just like pops up like we're near that dog. That's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else she could possibly. You know what I mean? She's like down.
They
It'd be
have
a
a
pretty
weird-
crazy coincidence.
Weird connection with people.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Bandit led us to Sal's front door from the elevator
Really?
after 6 months gone, when she was 6 months old to a year old, and then remember
Some
where
smell
Sal
in
lived.
there, yeah.
Dude, my dog cuddles with me when I watch TV sometimes. Like he
the
lies
best.
next to me and he puts his head on my chest.
Yeah.
And I just sit there and petting him. And it's like you're watching like a nice show and you have this beautiful love moment with this animal.
That's the greatest shit in the world.
That's just so sweet and all they want is just to be loved and to love you.
Yeah.
He just lean up and gives me kisses sometimes. Michael loves you too.
I feel like always in those moments.
It's the best. It's nothing's
the
better in the
best.
world.
I feel like
Sometimes you gotta pee. You're like, no, I gotta stay here. She's right on me.
I find always in those moments while I'm petting, and I go, "You are the best decision we ever made. You are the best." Oh fuck! She bit through that leather chair over there for sure.
When
And
they're
you're almost like,
puppies,
why would you bite through that leather chair?
when they're puppies, the scary thing is like extension cords. That's
get
the
into
scary
those?
thing.
Oh, yeah,
If
when they go
they
for
bite an electrical
wires.
cord and get electrocuted.
Whoa,
Yeah, that's fucking scary. That happens to dogs sometimes.
we never had that.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those little fuckers. They don't know what to chew and what not to chew, and you got to give them things to chew. That's very important. You got to give them chew toys, toys to bite on.
Yeah, they have to be animals still.
Because my dog's a retriever. He brings over a toy when he comes to say hi. Like if someone comes over the house, he runs and gets his toy. I got to get a toy.
Presents it.
Like he always has to have a toy. Like he brings a toy
Yeah.
to say hi to everybody. It's hilarious.
I thought the way dogs
Yeah.
play with each other. Also, I thought I was going to have like enemy after enemy on the street, but like two people barely giving a shit, like me smoking a cigarette and some guy on the phone, while we just look away, let our dogs like what only looks
wrestle
like
for a
fight to
while.
the death.
Yeah.
They're just
But
like,
that's they're playing. Like I'm like,
With
is everyone
some
okay with
dogs.
this?
and you don't have to talk to the other person. You're just like,
It's crazy. You just go. It's like, oh hey, our dog's gonna smell
Do
each
this
other's
now.
pussies and whatever, and just let it happen for a minute.
Some dogs you got to be careful though.
yeah.
There's a lot of people with pit bulls they'll fight dogs.
Oh,
They'll fight dogs when they get close to them. They don't even know why. Just out of instinct. Even if you train them,
There was-
you have to have like a really good trainer to curb that. In
Do you
some
rem-
dogs.
do you remember were you there when the girl from so there was a waitress at a comedy club who got a rescue dog, like a pit bull, and then one of the other waitresses went over there, like her friend went over there to like meet the new dog and everything, and like she said the dog was the sweetest dog, she had her for whatever, a couple days, and like disfigured her for life.
No.
Oh Jesus
yeah. I mean,
Christ.
she's a gorgeous girl,
Oh,
and she
my
got handled.
God.
It was handled pretty well. She's still a gorgeous chick, but I mean, like it's definitely.
Oh my God. Dude.
But I mean, it affected her forever. It was like
Yeah.
wild, like emergency plastic surgery type.
Well,
shit.
Whitney's always adopting wild
Those dogs are
pit bulls.
humongous. She's like, meet my dogs. I'm like, put them
Yeah.
away.
Like, Whitney got like half her ear bitten off once.
What?
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, the dog didn't even mean to do it. It's like they don't even know what they're doing. They don't know their strength." I'm like, "The
Yeah, well,
dog
that's a
bit
problem.
your ear off."
That's an issue.
But she kept the dog.
Now she's into horses.
She got it stitched up. Oh, she's always been into horses.
Is any cock big
That lady,
enough?
that lady loves dogs. She loves dogs. She's always got a bunch of rescue dogs she's taking care of. She like fosters dogs and then finds them homes and shit.
Can I just say, speaking of rabid
Yeah,
dogs?
that's her after she got her ear bit off.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Yeah.
But they
But
put
they
it back
sewed
on.
it back on and I'm fine. She's so crazy.
a
Jesus.
lunatic. She's a full lunatic.
She's a full lunatic. Isn't she? She's at the mothership this weekend, isn't she? I think she is.
Oh yeah. I just saw was the
Yeah.
premiere for the. She produced the
Burt
Burt
roast.
Kreischer roast. I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a wild lady.
She's all fucking. I was saying this yesterday too. She's getting to know her more lately in the last few years. Like she's a boss chick.
She runs shit.
She really runs, shit. It's
Yeah.
She's an
very
impressive person. Yeah.
Very impressive. Yeah, she's smart as fuck, man. Maybe too smart. Like one time I was I was having a conversation with her like out of nowhere. She calls me up. She goes, "I'm producing a documentary on violence." I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? How do you have
So vague,
How do you
also.
have time for this?" She
Yeah.
told me about that wild Italian thing that they do like once a year, where it's like MMA mixed with like rugby.
What?
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
That weird, what is it called? Cherico or something? I forget the name of it. It's some weird.
It's a big gang fight.
It's a
Oh,
big
so she's
gang
going
fight.
to see it?
And she told me about this. She's like, "Have you heard of this?" I go, "No. What is this?" And so like, she was doing a documentary on violence, and this was one of the subjects. It was MMA fights and this stuff. So it's basically, it's like some kind of a ball game, but
nice.
they beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, Calcio.
Yeah, that's what it
Calcio?
is. Calcio storico. That's it. I don't know if I'm saying that right, even though I'm Italian. But these guys just beat the fuck out of each other, man. They throw down bare knuckle. They throw leg kicks and shit. I mean,
It's their Ellis Mania.
and I don't think there's anybody that stops the fights either.
They
I
just
think
let
it's-
it go till they're knocked
I
out?
think they just, decide not to kill each other. Look at this.
But there's something they said. There's a game to it, and then the game stops and a fight starts.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is wild, man.
Look at those guys. Everybody's holding somebody down.
Yeah, they hold them down. They're beating people up from the mount, and there's so many of them. Look how many guys are on the field. And look, that guy's in full guard down there, and there's another guy who's got a guy in side control.
Wow.
This is crazy. So I found out about this from Whitney.
This was called.
You would think that I would know about that.
That was called.
Yeah, exactly.
You would think. I mean, that's like essentially.
That was called Smear the Queer in Philadelphia.
Smear the Queer was a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Kill the
Right,
guy.
okay, kill the cow.
Kill the guy. You ever do hug the
Smear the
pole?
Queer. I'll be honest with you. Kill the cow hurt more if I was like holding the ball.
Kill that cow. You're like, shut up, guys.
Yeah.
No, I'm sensitive.
Smear the Queer goes. I'll be the queer.
Do you ever do hug the pole in like 21 or something? Where if you lose, you have to hug the basketball pole, and somebody whoever won gets to whip the basketball at your ass.
No, we had a game called Suicide that was like a wall ball based game, but it was like something if the ball touched you and you didn't catch it,
Yeah.
tennis ball always, you had to run to the wall and like touch it and say suicide. But while you were until that happened, everybody else could pick up the ball and
People could just
try
hurt
to
you.
zing it at you as hard as they could.
Just
And
take
then
abuse.
if you pussed out and said, if someone called you out for like saying suicide before you touched the wall,
Yeah.
then they got a free peg, which means you had to stand there like a firing line. And I'll tell you, the fear is like, there was some Randy Johnson like sidearm guys, and it was almost worse when it would miss, because the fear, when you'd hear like the air being split as it like zips by your head and just misses you, is nuts.
Jesus Christ.
Philly, there was no internet yet.
Crazy fucking people.
Our porn was all analog back then, so we
If
had
you
to do
could
this.
go back and get those guys that were on the skyscrapers, building those skyscrapers, eating
Yeah.
lunch. Remember those
With their
guys?
legs dangling? Yeah.
If you could get those guys and drop them off in a tech conference in 2023, they would probably like, what the fuck happened to men?
Oh.
What is this?
You don't even carry a lunch pail.
Imagine if you just like transported those guys to the future. Like essentially 100 years.
The concept that someone wears a suit every day and stuff like
Just
like, what is
just
wrong with you?
looking at these guys with their pronouns on their badges. Going, what the fuck happened?
Oh yeah,
He, him?
no, that's gone
They'd be
for
like,
sure.
what are you talking about? Work.
Roger with the man face and the man body has he, him in his badge?
Yeah, because I believe it.
Everybody's doing this now?
They'd be like, what is...
Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck happened?
Also electricity.
Also, like, how come you guys have so much food? Everybody-
Yeah. Guys seem like
Bidets
you have
also.
a lot of food.
But
Food's
days will
everywhere.
blow their mind.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. You've seen this guy? The 1980s?
What?
Yeah.
Albert Stock.
Look at this motherfucker.
Wow.
Wow.
Bro. And
When
wait
I
till
watched-
watch when he calms down. That's what's even crazier. Watch
What's he
this.
doing?
He
Don't see that.
shimmies down, bro.
No.
Yeah. Watch this. This is in the 1980s.
What?
Look at this.
I'm having it happen
This
right
guy's
now.
an athlete.
I have a physical reaction
Gotta
to
be
this.
Cambodian.
You should have
Jesus.
a fucking physical
Like I'm saying,
reaction
my
to
legs
this.
feel like gummy when I watch
He didn't even
this.
slow down.
Bro, this guy's an animal. He's a fucking animal. Look at him. The
Wow.
strength and the skill, along with the courage to be up there where look at him climb,
There's not
dude.
even-
Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Jesus Christ, this guy's a construction worker and
lived?
he's like an athlete. Look at him.
Wow.
Here's the thing, I don't know if you
He's a
should.
climbing athlete. He's got a fucking tool bag on, dude. He's doing this while he's got a tool bag on. This is insanity. How does this guy practice? Here's my question. Because you can't just
How does he
get
practice?
good at this on the job.
You ever see it go bad?
How many guys would die?
They do.
They have to.
You never seen it go? You never
but-
seen it go
but-
bad?
but-
Show him
this-
like on the ground
Why they
floor.
get
But
paid
to
well.
do this, come on, man. Who the fuck is doing this?
Why they have
That's
those
a different
unions to
state of mind.
protect these
Bro, are
He's
you
not even
out of your
thinking about it.
fucking mind? That guy could take over the world. That guy could take
What are you
over the
even
world.
doing up there? There's nothing going on up
Yeah,
there.
what's the point?
Yeah.
But the guy who's
Stop.
got
Nothing there for you.
the guy who's
hands
got
are
the
sweating.
ability.
This is where the
Mine
Starbucks
are
is.
too. Mine are too.
Yeah, me too.
Have you seen the
guy's got-
picture of the guy that took the photo of those guys sitting on that?
What's
thing
he
from, like,
doing?
the 30s.
No.
It's to take the camera.
He's
up
got his
there,
head
he's
under a-
hanging,
under a
He's a big
carpet.
tech guy.
Too, real quick.
Bro, this guy's an animal. Look at him out there.
But have you ever seen this kind of stuff go bad? There's a video like
The pull-ups? The pull-ups?
the one on the
I
side of
just
the
see
building
one
is
of
nuts.
those. Oh, it's
and
so
you see him,
crazy.
and you see him when he can't do
When he
pull-ups
starts to
anymore.
struggle.
He starts to struggle, and he's trying to get his leg up.
Yeah.
And at some point, you just have to accept like.
Shit, it's
That's
not
it.
happening. He doesn't do that last pull-up,
It's
and he's
over.
like, oh, you don't get up after that. And it's like, and he
Well,
goes,
you know,
nope.
doing that, like hanging on a ledge and getting all the way up to the top is not easy. Even if you can do a pull-up.
To get up to the top where you can
Here's
get
the
your
photographer.
body weight over the side.
To
is-
get your
yeah.
arm above it and pull yourself up and to have that kind of
Whole
weird
different.
muscle up strength. Oh my
Yeah.
God, look at that guy. He's just standing there.
He brought his camera up there. Look at
Oh
him.
my God, he brought a camera up there. He brought a fucking camera
Well, someone
up
had to
there.
take these pictures.
Jesus Christ, these guys are animals. They're napping. They're fucking napping.
Wow.
They're napping on a beam.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's so insane. My feet are twitching. My feet are twitching. My fucking
radio
feet are
up.
sweaty right
That's what I
now.
said. He's brought a radio up.
The guy brought a radio. He's smoking a cigarette. But back then, so many people were dead by the time they were 15.
Yeah, they're like, I got 6 months left anyway.
Their wives only had missionary sex for procreation. There was nothing they were going home to. Because you know what? I'm just going to live.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle
Take
of
a
this
chance.
book.
I'm going to stare death in the eye every day. So when I go home, I'm happy to be bored.
In the middle of this book about the early days of cities and how fucking filthy the streets were and how many diseases there
Oh,
were.
yeah.
People stacked on top of each other. It's horrific, man. You think about what life was like back then. I mean, those fucking people did not live long.
No,
That
dirt
was
roads
a
and stuff.
hard life, man. Living in an urban
Disease
environment.
everywhere.
In the,
Black plague any
19
day.
and 10. How fucking horrible that would be. Ugh.
No AC, no concept of an AC.
Steam cars going down the
Row
road.
or a bucket out your window to get supplies, bring
Shit
it back up.
everywhere.
Oh,
Probably
shit.
shanty towns everywhere. Like during the Great Depression, they had shanty towns everywhere. Like we think that this is an unusual thing
Oh,
to have
right.
people camping in the streets. You ever go back and watch those images of the Depression? Fucking shanty towns all outside of cities. No fucking running water, raw sewage.
Ugh.
People stacked in apartment tenements on top of each other with no ventilation. It smells like shit when you walk in there. Bad plumbing, no plumbing, outdoor porta potties for fucking everybody in the neighborhood.
It's just disease.
They had outhouses.
They said the plague was
Outhouses.
coming back in L.A. in the homeless community.
Oh yeah, they said.
Yeah.
What was it? Which disease was it?
I don't know.
They always say the plague.
The plague.
Tuberculosis.
No, it was something wild.
It was something like that's still.
Yeah.
I barely even remember hearing about that.
Yeah, what was it, Jamie?
It wasn't like rickets.
It was like a medieval disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them weird
Scurvy.
bubonic plague.
bubonic
Bubonic
plague.
plague.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, you just got hands off.
Well, you know, these people are unhoused.
Yeah. I like to say
this-
I'm unhoused because I live in an apartment. People don't like that. They're
That
like,
was the
doesn't
fun.
count.
Remember that
doesn't count.
conspiracy from the documentary about that hotel in L.A. that like all the homeless outside were getting tuberculosis, and they thought it was because the girl who like died in the tank. Do you remember this at all?
Oh,
This
yeah.
hotel?
She went missing.
That's
And they were like,
right.
she was studying tuberculosis in college. Maybe she was like a biological weapon to get to the homeless outside of that hotel.
That's deep.
Yeah, what a conspiracy. No, she was off her meds.
Yeah, she just went
And this is
swimming.
that crazy. I hate that
They tricked you with
when
that
they stretch
documentary.
out 4 episodes of something where each one was like, well, was it a ghost? And they go, no, it wasn't a ghost. It was a real person. He goes,
Yeah.
but what is she looking at? And it's like, there was clearly another person. And then the explanation of watch all the, like the lights or it stops on all these floors or something. And it was like, yeah, she came in and like just whacked. So it's not crazy.
Yeah.
The wait time for the doors to close, like, everything just added up, and the whole documentary came around to like, she was just a whack job, jumped in a.
Well, she
Yeah,
got off
exactly.
her
So you
meds.
knew that.
Like her family knew that she was medicated. She decided to go to downtown L.A. and stay in this wacky hotel.
I
And
think
she
that's the
got
hotel
off
I
her
dropped off
meds.
Aberville.
But saying while they're doing
That's where
all
he
of that like research they've been trying to figure out in the investigation, when they came with that answer, her family was like, "Yeah, that adds up. That sounds like she'd probably get naked and jump into a.
She's done that kind of stuff before. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep. They weren't even like suspicious. They were like,
oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
that does.
Yeah, some people are out there. They're
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, we gotta
crazy
push
people
Jay's,
are out there.
We got to push Jay's special.
Yeah, people are pushing it.
Yeah.
pushing it hard.
How excited are you now? It's the first one in 7 years,
What are
buddy.
you directing the conversation?
I don't know,
to
we
push
gotta
Jay
push it a little
special?
bit.
We're gonna talk about it.
That's his dog belly.
Dog Belly, Big J Oakerson, available right now on YouTube.
That's
Where'd you
both our
film it?
dogs' bellies.
Where'd you film that?
We did it at Skankfest, Vegas,
I like the fucking set.
last year. Yeah, they did an amazing
Yeah.
job.
You look like you're ready to alhamdulillah and blow up a building. Look at that.
Leading the charge. Yeah, no, it was all. We did it at Skankfest.
Yeah,
2
it's cool.
shows. It was awesome.
Look at your
yeah.
hair, you sexy bitch.
I know. It's poor Ari. Ari thought it just grew out, and I've been on the road so much I haven't been able to get it done again, red. And Ari didn't know that. And when he showed up in the town today, he red
I
streaked
did
the
this
side of his
the
hair
morning of the flight. to,
as like a solidarity
blend in with
funny
him.
sign.
Beautiful.
And I don't have it.
Oh, well, I like it, Ari.
I'm not such a fan.
No? How
Not
come?
me, though.
A
I don't know, it
black
wasn't
guy
my
made fun of him
intention.
last night.
Yeah.
I think you start shaving your whole head, bro.
Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Shave that nonsense on the side anyway.
I get a bad toupee.
It doesn't look that bad.
You got to let it go.
But yeah, when David
It's
Lucas
freeing.
made fun of you, and you hated it. So
I didn't. It's not how I normally wear this hair.
David Lucas is so funny roasting. When
Oh,
him
yeah.
and Tony go
He's
after
mean.
each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they go after each other. It's as hard as I ever laugh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like someone has to be like really killing, but they'll do it for like 5 minutes. Where you like for 5 minutes you're just holding your side where they go back and forth at each other off the cuff.
Yeah, great.
They must be sitting around all. I know Tony does. I bet all day Monday he's sitting around smoking pot, trying to think
Thinking
of
of
things
jokes
that he
about
could say
David. Yeah.
with David Lucas,
yeah.
and then
Have him in the pocket.
also come up with some. Yeah, for sure. I guarantee he's doing that little psycho. I guarantee you. Every week they probably both do it. They probably
What?
sit around and think of what
Yeah.
kind of mean shit they're going to say to each other.
Yeah.
But it is funny. I will say,
On
instinctually
the
now,
seat on a
though,
bike. You loved it.
instinctually when I see David now, like if I'm doing Kill Tony and I see these he's going to go on, I start right away just like looking at everything on him just to be like, all right, what can I have something? Look, he's going to say something about my hair or my wallet chain or something.
He's the best at that.
Yeah.
Him and Tony are the fucking perfect combination.
He smokes a vape the way Mooney used to drink like champagnes. He's just like he's almost too good to like talk about you for. Yeah.
Like he's casual.
Yeah.
He's Mooney was the king of casual with that little tiny bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, bitch, please. And he would take a sip of the champagne. Like he would hit punchlines and take a sip of the champagne.
Yeah.
Paul
that was
Mooney?
hilarious.
Yeah.
Paul Mooney, man.
That was the funniest realization I've ever had of like I should have known all along on Paul Mooney being gay was that standing outside of Caroline's and I'm just like facing away from the building and someone said, they were like, oh, this time there's a story, something that happened with him. His boyfriend or something was mad at him. Paul Mooney's one. I go, boyfriend? And they go, yeah. I went, Paul Mooney's gay? and then they turned me around and it's his headshot. He's got little circle glasses, a hat that has fringes on it, and it's tied around his chin. And I was like, oh, yep, there it is. He's gay the whole time.
It was wild seeing him on stage before you like look at him. My brother was like, how come he only talks about the one thing and not at all about the other thing? It was nuts.
Yeah, he never really did.
Just like
about being gay?
Yeah.
Well, in the era that he came up, you got to remember, like, he was one of Pryor's guys. He was one of Pryor's writers. And, like...
R-I-D-E-R.
He was a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great comic.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was. But I don't think he ever got his due.
No, white people didn't know him. I didn't know who he was till comedy.
We always, he was the guy at the Comedy Store that, when he would go on stage, especially after something happened, he always had material on it. Really good material. He always was anytime some shit went down,
something.
Paul Mooney wrote something. And he would go, he had a bit about the Spirit Airlines crash. No, it wasn't Spirit Airlines. It was some janky airlines that crashed into the swamp. Yeah. And he was talking about this woman clutching her purse while alligators eating her. And it was such a funny bit, man. It was right after it happened. And he set it up. It was masterful, the way he set it up.
So everyone's just laughing at these victims.
It was so good, but it was so good. It was right after the tragedy. So whatever you feel about tasteless jokes after tragedies, the fact that this guy went up and did that a day later, and it was funny as fuck. It was really funny.
Do you think he didn't get his due ultimately because of his personality, or do you think his personality developed because of not getting his due? Because he was pretty bit. I've met him several times and even done shows with him at Caroline's years ago, and he was never very nice at all, in almost
Mooney
anywhere.
He has a crust that you have to get through to get his trust, and once you get his trust, he is very kind.
You had to compliment him.
Yeah.
I saw him talk to an HBO guy in the back.
It wasn't just that, man. It wasn't just that. He had to respect you. It was Mooney was he'd been around a long time. He'd seen a lot of shit. He was a part of Richard Pryor's golden age, and now here he is in the year 2005, hanging out with me and Ari.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
He saw some guy from HBO, and he's like, "Paul, how you been?" Just a fucking, fake, all of them. He goes, "How you been?" I was like, "I've been good. How about you?" Wasn't even playing pretend, and he was just he just kept going "Yeah, we got to do something soon." He goes, "Oh, do we?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I gotta get your number. I don't have a pen. Do you?" He goes, "No, motherfucker, I don't. Do you?" Because it's just
that sounds like Paul Mooney. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck, dude.
No, motherfucker, I don't.
When that guy liked you, it was a badge of honor.
Yeah.
He was laughing in the back of the room one time when I was on stage.
That's pretty nice.
And it was the nicest thing ever. And then he told me I was funny. I was like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, it was Patrice.
He
Patrice said that in New York.
He was going to hate you. Everybody's worried that Paul Mooney was going to hate him. But can you imagine this guy was around in the 70s, and here he is 35 years later watching us young fucking snot-nosed idiots.
The 15th.
Did he have his money though? Was he wealthy, or was he
I don't know.
He used to do well in D.C.
Sold
Sold out the Improv all the time back then.
He was still a great comic.
Yeah.
I mean, when he would go up, we would all watch him. We would all
3
watch
hours too. He would go on forever.
He would
sometimes.
go on for long sets if he wanted to.
But he always go on late. It was nice.
Yeah. No, he was a great comic. I mean, I wonder what the writing process was with him and Pryor. I wonder what that was like. I wonder how they did it back then.
I bet, yeah.
I
bet they just sat there and wrote.
Maybe they did a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Did you have to let your ears breathe to think?
I gotta go to the
about that
bathroom
one?
again.
Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
That's my goes.
Man, it's been me a lot lately. Yesterday, I totally overmodulated. I overhydrated.
Oh yeah, they gave us when we were leaving the club yesterday. They gave us liquid IV.
Yeah.
Like it's like 8 bottles of water in 1 bottle of water.
I think it's like 2.
Sure.
It's like 2. It's like it hydrates you. Peter Attia was explaining it to me. There's an actual formula that it works with like 16 ounces of water. Like it doubles the hydration. I don't understand it.
Sure. I just drank it.
I'm too fucking stupid.
Yeah, I just drank it.
It's filled with electrolytes and it tastes good. It's good for you. It's really good after workouts.
Yeah, I don't know
After
how.
sauna.
I got that Mike Tyson brand, well, the Student Glass brand, but the Mike Tyson version of the gravity bong thing.
Oh,
have you seen that?
Christ. No, but Jamie had one in here. We were all terrified of it.
Really?
Yeah, like, get the
it's
fucking thing away.
awesome.
I'm sure it is.
It's
if you
pretty
would just
awesome.
get obliterated, melt into the
Yeah,
couch.
I guess it does.
Do you dab?
I stopped. Well, more than anything else, like the process is so like. I never got into the ritual of it. I feel like it's a lot to go through
It's a
to
lot.
have coughing that's violent. Oh, and then there was, did you see? I went down. I almost passed out on Legion of Skanks doing dabs.
No, I didn't see.
That's on YouTube.
Oh,
you
my
can see me
goodness.
going down. It's like what's
How
happening.
many did you do?
Well, here's what it was. I did almost every time I would do the dab. Part of like, wait, pause it for a second. Anytime I've done a dab, if it's a good dab, I would see it as like I'd get that feeling where I'd cough and I'd almost be like the room's got to kind of like come together for a second. You know what I mean? I get almost dizzy.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of like the fun of the high of it. And on this one, I do that. That's happening. I'm on a podcast, so I'm trying not to cough violently. I'm keeping my coughs in. And while I'm doing that, my next inhale is Lewis just turns and hands me another dab. So I just do it all over again. I didn't breathe. And you see my head start going, and my hand starts like shit. So it looks scary.
My God.
A lot of people that were going... everyone diagnoses you after this happens, of course, but I just almost passed out.
No.
Fuck the
You don't remember this, Ari?
No. Look at Mullen. Mullen can already
look
tell
at you.
something's up.
What was it like? Like, what were you experiencing right here?
Lewis
I was
winning.
aware still. Weirdly.
But what was it like? Like, what were you experiencing?
What? Look at Dave realize, and he's like, no, wait, no, he's joking.
And I'm
Lewis
fine
gets it.
immediately again.
That's what happened.
Oh my God! I thought you were acting. I really thought you were doing a bit. I'm back. I just realized.
It was, I mean,
Resilience.
and what I was experiencing, I knew my head was going down, but I just thought I was kind of like going down and coughing, and then my and I heard Lewis go, Jay, and I was like, yes.
Why is the crowd behind you guys?
So you're gonna be on camera.
What?
Instead of us facing them. Well,
Yes.
because they project the show and all the stuff to the audience.
Oh.
So like in front of us, they're seeing a screen of us and then all of like the stuff we do.
But meanwhile, you're right in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems ridiculous.
It's like watching a Twitch stream.
yeah, don't do that.
I never really thought of it that way.
sucks for the people that are there.
Didn't we
You
used
should-
to face the audience, or do they sit all around us?
Bro, you
At
can
the
figure
creek?
that out. You guys can figure that out. Put cameras in a better spot.
Oh, Harrington.
Facing the
yeah,
audience.
you can have cameras facing the audience if you want to.
Well,
but
Lewis, you've heard it
should,
here.
You should have
Rogan
the,
says you're
the
failing.
Bobby's
audi-
cursing the sky
the
right
people
now.
talking should be facing the audience.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's done
that's
badly right now.
That's ridiculous. Your
I'm fine.
back is that they're
Oh,
behind you. That
can I
doesn't
give-
Like you're
why
better
are
than
they
them?
there?
What are you, a priest?
Why are they there?
let me give
They're
you- let me give you-
behind
These
you.
people?
Let me give you
your
Lewis's
colleagues.
theory on that. I know there actually is one, and I don't heavily disagree with it. The show is also for the
People at home.
majority of people taking it in are watching from home.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is saying to play to like each other more than play. And when you're staring at the crowd, you tend to go. And we did
Play
do that.
at
So
them.
when we did
Oh,
face the
yeah.
audience, we would do a lot more like trying the hand and not paying attention to each other in a conversation.
On one hand, do you know what kind of courage it takes to turn your back to your fucking crowd?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Hundreds of people, and you're talking mad shit,
thanks.
and there's people behind you. It is an added element of danger.
Well, it's also in a club where sometimes, like through the cracks, comes somebody who just came to the club,
Yeah.
Right.
and was like, there happens to be because we're sold out pretty much
they
for like
must
weeks
be
in
pretty
advance, but
upset.
there'll be And we've had like 2 weeks ago. Thank God they tend to be pretty cool usually, or they quietly leave, but we'll end up calling it out anyway.
They'll be like, this is not for me.
Yeah, but like there was like a lady from Canada and her like 17-year-old son was with her.
We tried to get him high.
Yeah. You were on that episode, but like she ended up being super cool. But they had no idea what they were walking into. We lucked out that she was like a cool mom.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Oh,
that's
that kid
hilarious.
rules. We were like, says hi. We've decided that you go smoke weed, and he's like, can I?
And the mom was like,
Imagine not knowing what you're doing. You walk into a Legion of Skanks
It's
show.
crazy. It's actually, we've yelled at the club for that before. Like, hey, don't do that to people. Because then when they're upset with us, I still kind of feel for them. I'm like, well, if you didn't want
know
to
what you
see
were coming
something
for.
like this,
It's
you should
not
have to
their
watch this.
fault.
You should have
Yeah.
to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. They should have been warned going in there.
They should have been warned. They should have been
How
like, this is
can you
not
just
for
sell
It's
them
not
anybody.
that when it
ticket.
happens, like they went over and it's ended up being a good thing. But
It is cool when they catch up, though. And they're like, okay, I'll go with this.
But there is times when people leave and you're like, you can see their faces. You're like, why would you have put them like? It's
not even a stand-up show.
It's not their thing. Yeah, it's not a stand-up show. They came to watch a stand-up show, and you go, well, there's this other thing, and without giving them enough, like, it could go pretty haywire in there. You're gonna hear nutty shit.
In one episode, he had to lube up a gun, and Lewis had to shove it up Jay's ass.
Yeah.
right
I
there
heard
in front of
about that.
everybody. Imagine just a random coming in for a comedy show, and then you're like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Dude, my daughter, when she was turned 19, she was almost like, "Can I come?" Like Legion of Skanks. And here's the
Oh my God.
well, she's my daughter, and so like for the most part, I'm like, she gets what this comedy. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, it's not so much the material that we're talking about that's going to get me. Now, what happened with Lewis and Dave, which I fully understand too, they were coming to me a couple times and they were like, hey, like, you got to stop letting her come to the show. I'm like, well, she's an adult, dude. She wants to come. Like, I'm almost like, you guys kind of have to like get used to the idea that she's an adult. And then what they said made me, they were like, yeah, but dude, we're seeing like that 4-year-old little girl over there that we've been known since she was a kid, you know, and like,
Right.
And he's and it's like it's gonna make me not tell a story that I want to tell because
sure.
she's there. And I go, fair enough. And then as a little, do you remember this? As a little, yeah, she wishes she can come, but as a little cherry on top that made it easier to explain to her that we're gonna take a break from her coming for a while. Was that like out of nowhere? Byron, who ended up becoming the intern from the intern contest, sucked his own dick on stage, and looking over my 19-year-old daughter like this, like I was like, "Oh, all right, point taking, guys. I'll keep her out of here."
Jesus Christ. On stage?
On stage.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, he sucked.
Is
this
that
is gonna
legal?
impress you more?
That might get you in trouble.
Now they put a curtain up eventually.
Like legitimately.
Well,
on stage, anything goes.
I don't think so.
Performance art.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
It
I'll allow
depends
it.
on where this is.
Yeah.
Like, you might have just admitted to
It was in his
crime.
mouth.
I understand that. Like legitimately, this might be a crime. Are you allowed to blow yourself in front of people? Let's find out.
I feel like it's the same as masturbation. Do you think it'd be worse than that, crime-wise,
I don't
punishment-wise?
know because it's so weird.
Well, here's the crazy thing.
very
He
weird.
sucked his own dick
Yeah.
while it was soft.
Oh my God.
That's impressive.
That's insane.
But it was
Do you
funny.
dangle it into his
How
head, or do you come
flexible
down
is he?
on it?
It's funny. I said to Lewis, I wonder if you had any opinions or thoughts on Gigi Allen, which was a very similar like stage show of just insanity.
Yeah, shitting on
And
people
so-
and stuff, right?
He's such a. I've been watching like these documentaries on him lately, or these little like short films people have made. It's funny what I thought was cool when I was younger. As an older performer, I am like you have the picture out there of Jim Morrison, like his mugshot and stuff. When I watched The Doors when I was younger, I thought it was the coolest thing because, like his defiance and like his like he might not even show up, and the piano player's got to sing all the songs because he's drunk with Jefferson Airplane somewhere. And as an adult performer, you're like, hey, jerk off, show up and do your show. You know what I mean? Like there's an audience waiting.
Yeah.
Like there's a coolness to it, but like same thing, Gigi Allen, like I get you want to put on a big show, but I don't know if chucking shit at the people in the audience is like the way to handle it.
But meanwhile, some people are like, bro, I got pelted with Gigi shit. Fuck yes. They probably smeared it on their friend. Fuck yeah.
You did it!
Pink eye forever.
Well, they always tell you, all the documentaries go, well, there was Kevin, and Kevin was a sweetheart. You're like, that was like a character because he's lost in it. He was.
That was a character?
Just a piece of shit was his character.
Jesus
I mean, a
Christ.
deplorable piece of shit. That's the thing. Always he would always be like,
did he have any hits?
My mother didn't give a shit about
The
me.
man
and blah,
shat
blah, blah.
himself on stage and smeared it on his face in the name of punk.
How do you even shit yourself on set standing?
No, buddy. There's videos of this. He just goes. He goes into the audience.
Yeah.
And it's all. What's funny is
Go back to that picture.
they love him.
Look at that picture. Look at his tattoo. What does it say?
Life sucks, scum fuck.
Life sucks, scum, fuck. Smearing shit on your face. And then the other side says fuck something.
Fuck something.
Bro, I don't.
It says fuck.
That
you.
is not totally a character.
No, that's what
You
I'm saying.
can't get to there.
But what's funny is they talk to his mom and stuff because his story's always like, my my parents didn't give a shit about me, and my dad was this, and fuck you. That's why I'm angry. And his mom's like,
No.
just shows pictures of him and his brother. They were both in the band as like kids, just like on like horses. It's like they were like fine, like a bunch of like Massachusetts kids.
And what happened?
He started getting attention to drugs. Probably is the ultimate answer. He probably got into drugs and was just like started getting. But I mean, like
You
Believing
peeing
it.
again?
No, I'm gonna get coffee.
unfixable or like unrelenting, like terrible shit. Like all the stuff he's in trouble for, like beating up a woman publicly. Like at NYU, he does that. There's video of that, of him just like taking a chick and like throwing her around the room and like
Just
and he
some
goes,
random
whatever.
girl in the audience?
No, I think a girl was like, challenging his, because I guess he kept saying he was going to kill himself on stage.
Oh God.
But he moved the date a lot. Like, like he'd kick the can down the road. Like that year would go by because he'd be like, Halloween and next year, I'm gonna blow myself. I'm gonna commit suicide and take as many as I can with me.
Young Shepard Smith covering it live.
Look
when it
at
happened on the
Shepard
news.
Smith. Look how cute he was.
Happened at the Club Spacefish behind me last night. A band called G.G. Allen and the Murder Junkies performing at a club that prides itself, in its words, on having shows on the cutting edge. People paid $7 to watch a man defecate into his own hand while he was nude. And that is just the beginning.
He also
That guy looks down like that was good.
I'll also give you. I'll also give G.G. Allen. I'll give him credit, G.G. Allen too, because he has a tiny, tiny pecker, and he walks around with it. I mean, real
He never
small.
presented it well.
He
Damn.
was actually off the stage. He was right down here off the stage.
Isn't it amazing that would be the number one concern, the size of his dick? This guy's shitting in his hand and smearing it in his face on
Right.
stage. And we're like, yeah,
Well,
but look
small
at his
dick,
little
though.
That's
dick.
what I'm saying.
Boy, the
I could-
courage to stand in front of
Can you
people with
imagine
that
being
dick.
the smell in that place?
Oh, God.
You know, a lot of people say speaking publicly is people's biggest fear. I'd say shitting
I say
publicly.
shit. Yeah, I say
And then
standing shitting.
smearing it on your face.
God.
Oh,
damn.
my
Oh yeah, it's
God.
his drummer always played naked too, and he was
Shepard Smith.
he was a space case.
Orlando. He's live from Orlando.
He's got to love this story.
God damn.
But
That's
Ari,
funny.
you look the one that I saw. He goes into the audience, and I said it's funny when they all are there for him, but they don't want to get the gross shit on him. So as soon as he like approaches, jumps down the audience, they see like they make like these circles around him to give him space, and then he shits. He turns around, bends over, and just rips a couple logs. Bends down, starts
Christ,
picking,
dude.
starts picking it up in his mouth.
Oh my
No.
God, this is insane.
Covers himself.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Wild.
He shit in his hand and threw it into the
Oh,
audience.
he rubs it all over his chest.
That's not the word, dude. His face.
Bro, this is so bad.
And then he runs into the audience. And you see the audience like they're like, but they're still trying to watch, but they're like in the hallways and stuff.
Is there? Wow.
Oh my God! Just stop!
There's no
stop.
music
I'm gonna
going.
throw up.
Run it back, Jamie. Boomerang that.
I'm gonna throw up.
Oh my God.
Imagine
Only
being
the
The
Pharaoh.
smell in pictures is bad. The smell be around you. It should be.
Imagine getting hit in the face with Gigi's shit.
And you're already sweating.
And you didn't know. You thought
No.
maybe he might shit himself. He's definitely not gonna throw it at me.
Only the Farrah Abraham shit video is the more impressive
What's that?
shit video. The teen mom lady who just is so like wrapped in the point. You know who she is, right? Farrah Abraham. She was like an MTV's teen mom girl. She was like the first one that was like famous from that.
Yeah.
And just turned into, she did some porn scenes. She has like OnlyFans now, but she's known for being a mother. She put a video out, I guess like someone just like leaked it, but it was her doing an OnlyFans thing or something. And it's her just turning around with her completely plastic body and ripping off 2 foot of uncut shit straight to. It's not pornographic. It's like an oddly satisfying video. You ever see those where it's like when they cut the perfect like things off and shit? It's when you're like, when it's done, you go, Oh, you feel like, where was that in you?
Isn't it funny? There's all these oddly
one.
satisfying videos
You
of
just
people
feel
like making
emptied out.
soap.
Yeah. This is a girl. I mean, it's
This is a normal
everything
part of
she
everyone's
ate.
day.
Everything she ate came out for sure.
Christ. Do you
It's
think
impressive.
if someone knows they're going to do that, they hold it in as long as they can?
To get it longer and longer.
To just really make sure you're getting the full package out in one shipment?
I don't know if you could plan for an unbroken 2 foot of shit. That's
Some
the
people
biggest
do it
thing.
regularly.
I don't think you can plan for it, but you probably increase your odds.
Sure.
If you can just
hold it in, tighten it, make it more like a sausage.
They say if you drink celery juice, your jizz will be thick and shoot far, but maybe it won't.
Right. How would you know?
I think I found it.
What?
Jamie found what? Jizz? Celery juice?
Oh, the video of her shitting? For sure you found
Oh
it.
my God. Oh.
Don't show me. Okay, show me.
All right.
Okay, show me.
I can walk you through this. It's pretty good. Start
she's pretty.
Wait a
Start from the
minute.
beginning.
She's so hot.
So, well, not, yeah, you play from there. Now, what you're going to see first, Joe, is when she turns around, there's a cork of shit that was probably blocking the path. That comes out first. That just fires
Jesus
right out.
Christ, dude.
Oh, no.
How much do you think you have to pay to get someone to poop in front of the camera?
Not
This is
enough.
TikTok?
This is not TikTok now.
Oh!
So there's the
So here's
there's
the
the,
first
cork,
line. Cork.
and here easily 12 inches.
What?
2 full feet.
Oh my God, it's more than 2 feet, bro. Oh, keeps coming. Stop. That's enough.
That was all
That's
of it.
enough. Imagine wanting someone to do that. I want you to shit for me.
I don't know how I found
I'd
it.
have to
naughty.
assume it's control
Naughty
more than
girl.
sexual.
You naughty girl, shit for me.
It's got to be control over sexual.
Yeah, but I think maybe it's a naughty thing.
It's
I
so
think
naughty.
Some boys are like
Shit is so wrong.
naughty.
Well, I don't know. It's funny. I can watch that and laugh at it, and I don't get that like disturbed by it. No chance would I watch that in person. I'd be like, no, no,
person
no,
be
no,
bad.
no. It's
I'm
too
outta
much, too
here.
many senses involved. Yeah.
It's a thing that's like built into us to avoid like plagues and disease. Like
Shit,
human
you're supposed to
shit
get away
smells
from it.
stink.
Yeah,
clear
you
of
shouldn't
shit.
Get
touch it.
away from that. That's
you have to
diseases.
wipe your hands.
Isn't that crazy? Like
Yeah.
the stuff that comes out of your body will kill people.
That's
like
how
if the
toxic
stuff
it
that
is.
comes out of your body gets in water and then someone drinks that water, people are dead.
She was selling for 5,000. It's not enough.
$5,000 for stinky poop that comes out of me. Oh, wow! People are offering her $5,000 for poop.
And she's going to keep doing
She
it.
said that
every
I
Larry
day.
was-
Mandel does stuff.
I was
podcast.
just like, I don't even think that could go in the mail. I would then question whether or not it was really a joke, reminding her that she went to sell her poop slime on her Sophia's website. What is that?
On her and Sophia's
There,
website.
there is
Her
other.
and Sophia's website.
Looks like she was selling it.
She was selling her poop.
What a great,
Okay.
I mean, recycling situation.
I think that's really
But I
dangerous.
don't know if that's. This seems like it's almost a joke.
Oh,
That's fake.
yeah, that's fake.
Who
That's
was
not-
Farrah Abraham? Where do I know her name from?
She was team. She was
That's
at
it, that's
Dave
it.
Attell's Underground. She was one of the audience like celebrities.
Oh, really? I remember the Underground.
I think she tried to do comedy for a second, as often will happen.
Didn't Stormy Daniels try to do comedy?
Absolutely,
I think so.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
everyone's fallback plan. It's the lowest level of anything else.
Isn't that nice?
Well, of respect. It's,
Isn't
it's
it
the
nice?
lowest level of respect. They're like, I can
the
fall
lowest.
back.
Isn't that better for us though?
Yeah. A porn star can just do it.
Yeah.
Tom Brady
Comedy
can just
tour
do it.
soon. Farrah Abraham.
Please tell me there's a video of her doing comedy.
Please.
Don't show it.
No plastic surgery.
Just, we will have to be honest. So don't show it. Don't show it, Jamie.
Because I can save for myself, though.
Well, I mean, if you had a video of you pooping, you would imagine like, man, this got to be worth a lot of money. I can't just poop for $5,000.
I'll tell you what. There was a there's
what a
a
moneymaker.
a high
We're going into
level,
recession.
a high level like well-known porn star
Poop merchants?
who I know. No, when we were interviewing her during maybe these were quarantine numbers, but during the quarantine we interviewed her over Zoom, and she was saying that she's doing like a lot of like OnlyFans, like private one-on-one stuff now because they're not like filming movies or anything right now. And I was like, really? I go, has anyone asked you to shit on camera? She goes, no, not really. She goes, but I mean that would be like, she's like that would be a lot. Wow. And I was like, really? I go, how much? She goes, I mean. To like shit, like that'd be like $500 at least. And I was like, yo.
Whoa.
I'm like, yeah. I was almost like,
my
go ahead, do it.
God.
I'll Venmo you right now.
Jesus.
Oh my
no
God.
way that's possible. $500.
Oh,
You
my
got to do
God.
it anyway. It's just where
It's a
you're
buyer's
doing
market. It's a buyer's market.
it. Yeah.
I like your scene. You're gonna shit.
You got to shit.
You're gonna flush it for $0.
Yeah, I have a question. if you went onto OnlyFans,
Yeah.
can you just find people to follow, or do you just do people find people from
do they
their
suggest
Instagram?
people to you? You mean?
So how does someone, because you can't search people, right?
I think you can.
You can search
You
people.
can, but I think finding people on OnlyFans would not be the allure. Like to me, the allure would be to find them in the wild.
And then
and then you find out like, oh, you can see this person naked.
For sure, but you got to think like a lot of these like fitness girls that have like huge OnlyFans followings, right? Like most of those guys, like they find out about them somehow.
Is there a message board out there to tell each other?
Are they finding out about them on Instagram? Like, is it a Facebook thing?
It's got to be
Instagram.
It's social media. It's all social media, I think.
Join my Instagram.
Isn't that crazy? Like, if a girl's got a great body, all she has to do is like work out. Just work out on camera and do different stuff every day, and you'll get millions of followers.
Yeah. Oh, put on makeup.
Millions and millions of followers.
The funniest thing.
Look hot, do squats.
Yeah.
A very fun thing we do is to look at like hot girl Instagrams.
It's such
and
a
just
fucking
look at the comments under any like picture. It's like the guys who just
you're awesome,
but not just you're awesome. It's like they call her baby and stuff because like
sad.
Baby, back to baby, glad to see you wearing that red bathing suit again. No idea that's creepy.
So sad.
Those girls live in a life of like having to watch over their shoulder for like
the amount of stalkers there must be after them.
You're constantly photographing where you're at,
and they all think they're in with you. They think they kind of know you.
I think this is the pipeline that started up.
Yeah, because they call them that. They're like, "Hey, babies," like
pools, hot
tubs. You go on Twitch. Yeah, it's not OnlyFans and it's not what cam girls do, but they hang out in pools and hot tubs and talk to this.
Oh yeah, we talked about this before.
And then that gets them onto their OnlyFans or whatever else.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. That's
do you know the podcast porn thing on OnlyFans? They do a podcast. A couple does a podcast with another girl. And then they fuck on OnlyFans right afterwards.
Yeah. we lost podcast of the year at the AVNs to that guy.
Oh, really?
It's the Adam 22.
That's a hilarious idea.
Yeah.
Adam
you're going to make porn. That's a good idea.
That's the Adam 22 guy.
It's the whole fucking thing is so interesting.
People are very against it, but they can't say why. They just feel like this is bad for society or something.
I'm thoroughly hypocritical on it. I have the SDR show that I do interviews them a lot, porn stars, and they come on to do like, like that old, like shock jock, it's like squirting contest kind of thing.
Right.
And then especially if I become like friendly with them at all in any kind of way, right away you're like, damn, man, this is like it's a fucking dark world. It's just, it is.
Yeah.
I don't see where it's not like dark in some way. And like everyone who's out of it at some point has some like, I guess any job, but it's like this guy is a monster of a person, so I'll never be in a room with them. That kind of shit. And you're like, damn, man. It never seems to end.
Yeah, but like in a regular job, a bad boss just like yells at you in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I hate that guy. This one's like fucking you. While they're,
but the whole world's like he's fucking you. A bunch of the girls are probably showing up on drugs. I'm sure there's so many things happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like probably, and like the higher level of professionalism probably from the girl, like the more like the less kind of sexy. You know what I mean? Like when this person comes in and goes, okay, where do I sign? This guy's fucking me? Okay, let's go. Be hard, please.
Do you think they do it? They can't be like that.
Absolutely.
Show some professionalism.
Really? Sure, yeah. Wow. I think girls instinctually, this is from hearing stories and everything, don't fully understand, like, sometimes how a guy's, like, how a boner works. Because a girl getting upset that you're not getting hard fast enough, or you weren't somehow hard the second they, like, pulled a titty out or something. And when it's like, what's wrong? As soon as you do that, like, it's never happening. All I'm doing is staring at it going, like, she's so let down. She wants,
Nothing's more counterproductive to what they're trying to get done. It's like
no attempt at doing it, like, especially when it comes out of, like, the last sexy try.
Yeah.
Like, do you like this? Do you want me to do this? And you go, that's good. And then they go, you like that? He goes, well, then what's happening? Why is it not getting? And you're like,
oh my god, oh my god!
Don't say that.
Oh my god!
You don't like this? What's going on? Damn it.
You might as well everyone just put your socks back on. We're going home. It's over.
Wow, so aggressive.
Find yourself a cab. I live here.
Show yourself out, please.
Imagine wanting like a very specific reaction from a girl like that. Like imagine if a girl's attracted to her, her tits poke out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Boom, boom. You're like,
it's kind of a crazy thing with men. It's kind of crazy.
We grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you could see. Well, they have a reaction too, but you can't just go like, "Hey, miss, I'm just checking to see if you like me." Just go to the front of her pants and be like, "Dry as a biscuit." Sorry,
but it's just
misread that.
It's wild that needs to happen in order to have sex and make babies. It's wild that thing needs to change, because like some animals have like a bone there.
You can just
have
go
like a penis.
anytime.
Like deers have a penis bone. Like a lot of animals have bones.
Yeah, is there ever in the wild fucking where they can't get it up?
I don't think so. I don't think they can survive
Every
that way.
time.
So I think they're hard all the time.
Yeah.
They just poke it out.
Or when it's necessary, when it's needed. I don't think it's like, I don't think a horse looks at like a mare and is like,
Well, they definitely get horny when the other ones are in heat, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that they can hit it so quick because they have a bone.
Yeah. They just pound in there and go.
Yeah, you ever seen like Steve Ranella gave me one to stir coffee with? It's like a little
Dick bone?
Dick bone. Yeah.
You have fun friends.
Different animals. How many different animals have dick bones?
Ari got me a record player once.
We had that walrus one for a while.
Yeah, we had a walrus one. We still have that. We have a
dick?
giant walrus dick bone.
Oh, it's curved too. It couldn't even go in straight. Swims in you.
That's a hard ass thing too, man.
Oof.
That's a heavy thing. That's how walruses
Look how
fuck.
happy that chick is holding it.
Look at that. She's super excited. But imagine that. They have a giant bone.
Yeah, it really does look like a double-sided dildo.
Yeah.
You ever seen a whale's dick?
Oh, it's carved.
Whale's
No.
dicks are preposterous. Doug, as big as this room.
Really?
Oh my God.
I've never
You ever
seen
seen a
one.
whale's dick?
I didn't realize that's like, wait, the walrus bone is used for doing what? It's like clubbing something?
No, getting that dick in there, son.
This one is like shaped.
Oh,
Why did
what
they carve it?
They use it as a club? Is that what it says?
Baculum.
Yeah. Baculum is what the penis bone
Yeah.
is. That's the technical name.
That's got to be weird when you're in your second coat of shellac on your walrus dick.
30 inches.
Walrus dick club.
How nuts is that? They have a bone in their body. But if you think about it, like if you got to mate quick, if predators are after you, you can't just, if you're a walrus, like your odds of escaping sharks suck already.
Yeah.
That's a whale's dick?
Blue whale penis.
What? It's so
Why
long.
does it have hair on it?
It's so hairy.
Because it's hairy. Deal with it.
It's got a violin end. Oh, it's gone.
I would imagine that.
Where is it at on their body where they
Yeah.
can mount
That's a
somebody?
good question. I think they probably have to go under and like bang it from underneath.
It's got to be from behind.
Yeah, they have to go
gotta
like
be from
underneath.
behind.
They have to go like, I would imagine they'd have to go like this. Like here's the girl
Mm-hmm.
and the male and gets
Upside down or
under
something?
there and goes like that.
Got to be some video of whales fucking.
Gets under her and like they
And,
match
like,
it.
just, like, smash
and
it
like
up?
slides in there for a little bit.
Is it one of
I
those?
feel like we all would have seen a picture of an upside down whale.
Yeah,
fucking.
fucking.
I
I've never
think
seen
so.
that.
I've seen whales. They can go in the water and do all kinds of crazy shit.
Is it coming in
makes
from
sense
behind
that-
like a refueling a jet?
Yeah. I would say underneath and upside down.
Underneath.
Do you? Yeah, there must be video.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
they know to both go down in the water and they
Is
do
it
it
spraying
together.
semen in the water and they let swims through it?
No. That's how fish do it. These are mammals. So mammals have to breed, and they give birth to their young, whereas fish just jizz eggs.
He goes, don't
They
worry,
just
Ari.
squirt
These whales
eggs.
are all about the cream pie.
They're all about.
They're
yeah,
naturally cream pie animals.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they do.
Upside down, you're right.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Look at that. That's it.
Whoa.
And she flips over, and he's got to keep her in spot. Oh, it's a scramble because they're both real horny and they can't stay in position because they don't have
Because they
arms.
don't have arms. Yeah.
Wow. There he goes.
Oh, it's in.
Bam!
It's in.
Chapow.
Oh,
There
he
you
hit
go.
it from the side. I pictured
Look at his
missionary.
giant whale dick.
Oh, no, they're married.
There you go. Now they have babies.
Yeah. Now they're the fucking happy couple.
It's wild how smart those fucking things are. Those things are smart as shit.
You ever see them like save a walrus they were fucking with when they train their kids?
Yeah, they'll save it if they
If
don't really
one's
want
not
to
fully
eat
dead,
it.
like put it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, if they don't want to eat it. They also like they know how to use ice shelves. So like one of them will get up to an ice shelf and they'll tip it
Yeah.
so that the thing slides to them. So they get their massive body and then they're just sliding towards
Sliding
death.
this-
They're super intelligent.
I went whale watching once in South Africa, and then you pay all this money and no whales, and they don't give you your money back. they don't
They don't
give
get
the
the
money
back
back. Hey,
of
sorry, man, no whale.
If you want to see whales, Hawaii is a great place to see them. You always see them there. whenever the
Alaska.
time is that they're there for breeding or whatever it is, why
just
they're
see 'em.
there. There's parts of the year. I think it's around November, if I remember correct, but I'm not sure if I do. There's I've been there a few times where I've seen them. It's amazing. You see them like in the water splash, and you could like take a boat towards them.
When I was in South Africa, we went to Seal Island, which is like that only place where the sharks breach to like jump and grab the seals. That was pretty
Really?
wild. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
It's pretty wild.
Jimmy?
It's the only place where they, because the seals are all up on like this kind of like barge almost, and they just jump out and grab them.
Oh,
In
I love when they
Alaska?
slide
Only
right
place
at
in the
them.
world where they breach the.
I didn't even know sharks go to Alaska.
Not Alaska. That was South Africa.
Oh, South Africa. I thought you
Damn.
said Alaska. That's how good this weed is. That
How
makes
close
more
to it
sense.
legalizing here?
I don't know.
Someone told me yesterday that under something like
Look at these fucking monsters. They're so scary.
Just beating it around.
I mean, what is scarier than sharks? Just smashing things with their teeth.
Those guys fishing recently,
cute,
and
yeah.
they had their fish right at the, I think it was a giant tuna, right at the edge of the boat.
Yeah.
The great white just comes and steals it right at the last second.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't
they
seen
did jump
that.
off.
Next, please.
They had to go just jump backwards. Like, what the fuck?
Motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Those things are so goddamn terrifying. What a perfect eating machine. Rows of teeth. If one falls out, they get another one. Look at this. Holy
Gotta not fall
fuck,
over.
dude. Right there.
my mother.
Holy fuck. Right there.
Wow.
Look, this is amazing.
He could have fallen over. He could have
This
gotten
is-
dragged in.
Yeah, right here they had no idea.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Now they know.
And he's like,
Jesus Christ. That's a big one, too, man.
Yeah, my mom when I was younger went on like her and one of her friends, like girlfriends, went
Damn.
to the Bahamas to go be young girls, I guess, and I went to go stay with family in Florida. And that night we went to go see in the theater Jaws 4. And my mom told me that day, she was like, you know, this is like no cell phones or anything. It's like house phone. You call once a day. And my mom was like, oh, we're getting ready to go on a banana boat today and do whatever, and it's going to be fun. And then that night I went to go see Jaws 4 with my uncle, and Jaws particularly. I didn't know what a banana boat was when she said it. But in that movie, there's a scene with a banana boat, and that's when he shows up to the Bahamas Jaws and eats everybody off of a banana boat. And I just cried the rest of the night. I was like 9.
Oh, my God. That's awful.
You couldn't get a hold. It was like there's
Look
nowhere
how
to call.
bad it looks. Oh, my God. Those movies were so bad. Like, once it
scream like
got to
crazy.
Jaws 4, like, how nutty did it get? You
remember the
go
storyline?
from you go from one of the greatest horror movies of all time, Jaws 1, and by the time you get to Jaws 3D,
Yeah.
it's a disaster.
Jaws 2 was a stretch.
Jaws 2 was wacky.
he's just standing in place, the shark.
How many
Jaws 3,
people were
Dennis
in Jaws
Quaid.
2? How many of the original people? You lost the captain because he died.
Captain died. Yeah,
That
so
guy was the
Roy
shit.
Schreider, the wife.
So Roy and the wife are back for 2.
It's like one of the younger guys because he was like, something happened to me last year.
It's so crazy how a good movie like Roy Schreider in the first Jaws is amazing because it's a great movie.
That old man was the best.
But then by the time you get to the other Jaws, is he still amazing?
Well, I also
he's phoned it in.
I think I might be wrong with this, but I think Jaws. The idea is he took everything from this family because I think in part does Roy Schreider die in part 2?
Does he?
I don't know if he did. Was somebody? I think they have 2 kids. I think one dies in part 2 in the beginning in an attack, and then the beginning of the Revenge, the Bahamas one. I think it kills like his other kid or bites his arm off or something.
Imagine if sharks were like crows, where they recognize people that suck and they
Get rid of
target
that
them.
one.
They
Just
target
tell
them.
you.
Wow.
That's what crows do.
They see like you suck in
Like,
general.
if you do something to crows, they'll fucking squawk when you come around. Like if someone like shot like a crow with a BB gun or something like that, the crow saw it happen, and the person like was there with the crow. That person will get like
Like, they're marked
swooped
for
on by
death.
other crows. Like when they go out, the crows will like swoop on them and get in their face.
Like vengeance.
Yeah, like trying to fuck with them.
You ever see the magpies swoop in
Is this 2?
This is the end of 2 where they kill it with the power cable or some shit like that.
yeah, get out of the water.
Your power. You
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Come on,
Come
you
on.
son of
Oh,
a
I thought
bitch.
this was the end of 1.
Oh, that's right. And it bites it, and he throws the cable in its mouth. Come on. Come on.
That
Your
kid.
dad's crazy. Here it is. Oh, my God. Da-da. Dad. He has to look over.
Come on. You can hear that far.
I remember the way they show it.
Oh my god, that's the worst special effects of all time. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. And what a dumb strategy. What if the shark dives under that rope? What if it's not stupid?
Yeah, when he comes up, his nose just knocks the thing out of your hands and bites
Did you ever see
in
the
half?
ones where the guys are in the shark cage and the shark goes through the bottom of the shark cage?
It just destroys it.
It was real recent
Yeah.
and almost got this guy's leg. It's like literally goes through the bottom, snashing its teeth like inches from this guy's leg.
Yeah, you're fucking with dinosaurs at that
What
point.
are you doing? Those things have been around for 100 million years plus. Those fucking things have been around forever. They survived the dinosaurs.
They throw chum in the water to get them to swim around.
Bro.
And then your legs could stick out of the bottom.
Bro, those things are crazy. They're just feeding machines. Swimmer. They can't even stop. They stop, they die.
Like guys like Steve-O and them put like steak in their pants and then jump in.
Hook themselves by the chin.
Hook themselves by the chin, jump in, and then accidentally remember that one?
Look at this.
He kicked him in the fucking face.
Look at this. Look at this thing goes through the cage.
It's destroyed. He's got to get the fuck out now.
Watch this again.
Because they put him in a plexiglass glass cage for some reason.
This is so insane that they did this. So insane. And look at that thing. So watch how it comes through the bottom. Watch this.
He thinks he's got something.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
It was going for him, man.
Yeah.
It was going for him.
It shattered it.
It was going for him and missed. That's all that was.
Jesus.
Look at its mouth open.
Just
It
smashes right
thinks-
through the glass.
It sees all that fish and it thinks this is a big piece of fish that's just sitting there and no one's eating it.
Wow.
So I'll just go eat that, and he gets out of the way just in time, dude. Look at that. Just in time.
Almost the force pushed him up.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even scurrying out of the way.
Right, it was the box breaking and
Into
kind
him.
of led him slightly to the side, and he missed it. Like,
God damn.
how did that guy survive?
And then he's gotta
that?
get out
How
of
did
the
he get
water.
out of there? That is fucking insane.
Luck, yeah.
Yeah, pull him out immediately. Like,
That's
just-
all those things do. Just swim and eat, swim and eat. Probably just a blank crunching noise in their brain. Probably no instincts at all. Just
Don't care. No, like, oh, this is good.
Is there any evidence of fish being emotional in any way at all?
no.
Or is it pure just
So squids.
Just
This
they
lady
just
said
live
this
their
once.
lives?
This lady said this once. She goes, I eat fish because they don't take care of their kids. I was like, it's true. She's like, yeah, if I need protein, I'll eat fish. I'm not connected to them. I'm like, that's true. I get it. Like if you see like a mama deer taking care of her baby deers, you're like, I get it.
Kosher, you can eat anything. You have to kill everything a certain way except fish. You can eat alive if you want. You can just take a bite out of one. They don't
So
care.
would you do kosher would mean you would have to eat agriculture animals, right? Because you couldn't hunt.
Right.
Yeah.
For animals, except fish.
But what would you do in a case
you'd
of
have
like
to-
an apocalypse? Would you stick with that?
No.
I mean,
Danger.
what
Can't
would
starve
people
to
do?
death.
Do you have like rules where you're allowed to get out of stuff?
Yeah,
like,
if you're going to die, you can do a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Can
can't
you
rape.
Can you eat a
can't.
person with cheese?
That's hilarious.
People eating cheese doesn't go together.
It's like, ooh, that's the line.
That's our number one, right? Like eating people. When people eat people.
Would we
what
eat
the
people?
fuck?
People.
Well, that's like the Donner Party type shit.
Yeah.
They eat each other to stay alive, and then they made it. So you're on the other side. You live, but you live because you ate your friend.
Yeah.
It was like, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them were waiting for people to die and then eating them, and I think some people probably just sacrificed themselves.
I think some of those people were like, let's have a rule where nobody eats their own family.
Oh,
we pass it around, but definitely eat me if I die.
Could you imagine?
Is there a circumstance that's not like a dire situation where you would try cooked human flesh in any way?
I'm not real interested in that.
Yeah.
No.
That doesn't-
It just doesn't seem like a road you want to go down. What if it's your favorite food?
You find out.
What if you eat it and you're like, holy shit.
The
Is this
perfect
really
combo.
people? This is
Yeah.
fucking
If
amazing.
it's delicious.
The
What if
perfect combo of salty and sweet.
Did you see The Menu?
Slow roasted.
The movie The Menu?
Yeah, that was great.
Great movie,
Great
right?
movie.
Yeah.
That was a wild ass movie.
Yeah.
But like that's the kind of movie where they would serve you human flesh.
Oh yeah. Well,
know?
Ari said that
And you
we
would
brought
eat
it
it.
up today on the way here because he was saying him and Bobby Kelly went to the Copenhagen.
Noma.
Yeah.
like, it's like kind of based on that.
yeah. It's
And
like
it
a-
is.
Oh,
It's
really?
so up its own ass. It's hilarious.
Where were
but they
you
do
guys?
everything great.
Is it-
Denmark.
it's in Denmark?
Copenhagen.
Oh,
yeah.
Copenhagen?
He just closed.
Oh, well, what's it called?
Noma.
Oh, that's the guy that just decided out of the blue to stop
Second
He's like
time.
the greatest chef in the world. He's the second time.
First time he stopped, he won like the best restaurant in the world like 3 out of 4 years, and then he was like, I'm out. And then like a couple years later, he came back, and then he said like, there's no way to do this like by paying everybody enough. So he's like, you can't make profits that way. And he goes, you're right. Actually, we'll just shut down.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, I thought about it. This is weird to take advantage of people financially, and then you can't operate otherwise.
What made it the best place? Like things you would never
I
combine
told you they used
ever?
to peel walnuts.
Yeah, but I mean,
It was a 26-course meal.
experience things for sure. But I'm saying,
Experience.
like, is it like a mixture of like?
They spared no expense. They didn't overload it with tables. They like moved it out, so you had a great experience. 26 courses. They were like, we have a wine pairing menu, and I was like, okay. And Bobby's like, I'm alcoholic, and they go, we got a juice pairing menu for you then. And then just like everything was taken care of.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours.
How much is it per person?
$500.
That's actually not as
Plus
bad as I
tip.
thought, though. Really.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
They have professional chefs peeling walnuts so you don't get the little shells thing stuck in your teeth.
Did you enjoy it as much as you enjoyed another really good restaurant? Like, was it an added part of the experience to have all those courses and?
Yeah. It was an adventure. Fried moss, ants to mimic
moss.
citrus.
How are the fries? Skin on?
Oh, and you leave hungry. That's what everybody says, and it's true.
What makes the best restaurant in the world? Oh, is that caviar and a
Reindeer
whale stick?
brain jelly.
Wow.
What?
Oh, everything's local. He started the
Reindeer brain
No.
locally sourced
jelly.
stuff.
Nope.
It's all good,
No, it ain't.
Interesting.
but it's not very filling.
Wait, what are they saying? Hang on there.
Beetle made from berry hides and black garlic.
Wow, I didn't have that
Oh,
one.
wow. Interesting. Flower pot. Rose scented cake in the shape of a flower pot.
Wow. Wow. Come on.
That's
Come
insane.
on. Come on. You're
Oh my
showing
God,
off.
that's insane.
You're just showing off.
Okay, duck brain.
Oh.
Duck feet candies.
Nope.
Oh my God.
No.
What is that
Chicken
one?
feet.
Nope.
Is that chicken feet?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, duck feet.
Duck
I can't
Feet
get.
fudge.
Fudge made from smoked duck fat.
Wait, is it just shaped like duck feet?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's just shaped like duck feet. But I
It
mean,
looks
that's,
real.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Duck
So
feet
that's
candy.
just a different kind of experience.
It's all experiential. It's also not bad. It's good. But like,
I'm like
it's for the adventure.
halfway into those, I'm like, I just want a steak.
Yeah.
Can I get a fucking
Yeah.
ribeye, medium
Just make a
rare,
big
give me a glass of
slab of it.
wine. I'm fucking simple.
Yeah.
Right?
Me and Ari went to the blind
Yep.
place in Toronto once.
What's that?
Complete in the darkness. Like you eat in
What?
complete darkness.
Blind
Yeah, it's a
waiters and
restaurant.
waitresses.
What?
They lead you to behind a curtain, then another curtain, then another pitch black. They seat you down. They feel your way down.
Absolute black. Is that what we ever do? Au noir?
Maybe. I did one in Vietnam once, and then we
So
did this
how
together.
do you see where you're going?
They lead you.
They lead you.
What if you have to pee?
You tell them and they'll lead you.
They
They
come
lead
back.
you to the bathroom. How do
Yeah.
you know where you're pissing? How do you know when you're done
think
wiping
maybe-
your ass?
I think they
well,
take
you
you
can't
out to
take
the.
a dump there.
They
dude.
take you
It's
out
a
to the
nice
lobby.
restaurant.
What?
Don't take a dump in
What
a
if you
nice
have to take a
restaurant.
dump? You gonna hold it in to get a shit like that lady on OnlyFans?
Because what if
What are you gonna do?
You're gonna
Sometimes
have to take
you have to
dump.
take a shit.
Yeah, true.
Ari, you've shit in restaurants that are really
Yes.
nice before.
Yeah, you're right. I take
What
it
are you
back.
gonna do?
I take it back. You'll have to shit in the dark.
See, you'd only not do it because it's a blind restaurant.
Right.
That's the only thing. And at a regular restaurant, of course you take a shit, right? If you went to Noma,
And I was like, I have to use the restroom.
have to take a shit.
I'm not going to not enjoy this.
yeah.
I'll be back in.
Yeah, otherwise I'm going to be holding my shit.
18
while-
minutes.
Isn't that why you have a toilet? So I can take a shit?
Yeah.
But not at that blind place. You'd be like, how do I know when I'm done wiping my ass?
You have no
And
idea.
what if
Have
I
no idea.
accidentally
By
shit
feel?
in my pants? What if a little pinch of a log?
Maybe they give you light in the bathroom. Maybe they'll lead you to a
Maybe
place
you
where the
have
light
to
can
be.
go
Maybe
back
your
on.
underwear are destroyed and you have to take them off and smell them. You know? Maybe
Every
you
time-
ruined your... and
every
you don't
time
even
you
know how
wipe-
to...
Everybody be like, oh, somebody
Every
was
time you
the
wipe, you
bathroom.
gotta clap your cheeks and see if it makes a mucky noise.
And then maybe you find out where the sink is to wash your fucking hands.
They
in
gotta
the
have a bidet.
dark. They have to have a sink there too.
Yeah, they gotta
you
have a sink.
to wash your hands. So then you have to take your underwear and put
Maybe
them
they
in the
go
sink.
in there with you.
You smell your underwear. And you don't like what you're smelling. You're
Yeah.
pitch black. Like, God damn it! Is this
Still
shit?
there.
Did I shit my pants? then you can wash your underwear. Your wet underwear in that sink and hope you got it good. And then
You're like,
dry
abandon
it
them.
off with paper towels. Put it
Why
back
are you trying
on.
to save the underwear?
You don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about aesthetics. You got to worry
Yeah.
about smell.
Just
Smell
smell.
should
Yeah.
be problem number one. You're
You're
trying
gonna
to
need
solve.
some soap on your underwear.
Covered up with some dirt.
And then as you're leaving, the blind people are going, what the fuck were you doing in there,
Yeah.
man?
And they can smell better than regular people, so they know.
Oh, they know. They
Yeah,
smell
you thought
shit.
you got it off, but you didn't.
I thought it was weird is when we were eating, if me and Ari like would stop talking for a minute, like how zone, like you can almost like robotically like zone in on conversations coming from different like you know what I mean? Like listening to other people and you can really hear it like clearly. Mm-hmm. Like, but if you could choose, then you can almost go. There's also someone behind talking. You can like almost focus in. It's very weird.
So are you eating with your hands? Or are you using forks?
You get a fork and knife. Maybe
knife?
just spoons.
No knife.
Gives you a knife.
Forks and spoons. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There was once we were going to try each other's like drink. So we're like, let's try this, let's pass it. But it's like you have no idea. So you're just like passing, I'm sliding mine over, I'm sliding, and then you're like going back and forth, like waiting slowly to touch his hand. And I'm like, how am I not getting it?
It's that dark.
How am I not getting it?
Pitch
and then,
black.
And then he goes, how far up are you? I'm like, up? Why are you including up?
First of all, it wasn't drinks. It was something on our forks. And I wasn't even thinking of that I was doing that because Ari's definitely down here trying to like, feel our hands touch. And I'm apparently just like, I don't know, where's your face?
Poking at the air.
I don't know,
Oh my
hold
God,
on a
you could have
dimension.
stabbed his eyes
But Ari
out.
goes, up? Don't go up at all.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It was cool.
What
'cause
a novel concept.
Yeah, you couldn't tell what you were eating. You was just like guessing based on smell and.
But that's what I thought was
And
interesting.
taste, and you
I
were
was wrong on almost everything. What they do is they ask you if you want to know or if you want to be surprised. So I was like, we were both just like, surprised. And they ask you afterwards, what do you think that was? And I mean, like, it was like pork, and they're like chicken.
Damn.
We're like, was that turkey? That was sausage. It was
Yeah,
everything
you're
was
just
like
like-
nothing was right. And you're like, well, if you can't see, it's amazing how much it like affected that.
One that affects people that eat like fake meat.
What they think they're eating meat.
Yeah.
It makes it taste
Like
better.
if you gave someone one of them fake meat burgers and didn't tell them, how much would they be able to tell? Because most of the time when people are eating a Beyond Meat burger, they know, right?
Right.
You do it on purpose.
But if you lie to them.
Yeah, if you just gave it to them, how much would they know? Especially, they might just think it's a bland burger.
Yeah.
Especially if it's got like, you put fucking all kinds of sauce and pickles and shit
Yeah,
on
burger.
it.
I had the one from Burger King once, the Impossible Whopper.
How was it?
It tastes identical because you realize it's nothing to do with the meat anyway. It's the way they stack that, the
interesting.
mayo and whatever shit on
Yeah,
it. The
all the
pickles.
sugars.
Yeah.
and- I had a quarter pounder like about a year ago. Like I've never eaten one of those, and I pulled into. I was fucking starving. I'm like, let's go. Come on, you never eat this stuff.
Yeah.
I ordered a quarter pounder
shit
and
it out.
fries, and I was amazed at how sweet it tasted. I'm like, it feels like there's sugar in this. Like, do they put sugar in quarter pounders?
Oh, gotta be. Gotta be.
But I was like, eating it. I was like, this is kind of like, it was delicious. First of all,
Yeah.
But it was like, this is kind of like a pastry and a burger at the same time.
The bread is
Oh, yeah.
sweet.
It was so sweet. It was good though. I mean, I get
obviously,
it.
yeah.
I get it. Like, it seems like
It's no one's going like, I learned to like it. 9 grams of sugar.
9 grams of sugar. That's
How much is that next to
seems
a, how much is that next to a
I don't know
Rolo?
what it's in. It could be in the bread.
That's nothing
Bread.
compared to like a can of Coke, but it's sweet enough that I was noticing it because most of the time, like I'm like an In-N-Out guy. I like In-N-Out with like lettuce wraps. That's the best. It's just meat,
Oh, yeah.
and cheese, and
Yeah, with Five Guys makes a mean lettuce wrap too.
Five Guys has the best though.
They're all coming around.
But
Did
Five
Wendy's
Guys
is
has
lettuce wraps now?
jalapenos.
Yeah.
They have better fries. Five Guys has those Cajun fries.
Five Guys does? Mm-hmm. Skin on, though. Not my jam.
I'll take it.
Man,
I
Ari's
like
got an old
skins.
Jewish bladder.
Well, it was me yesterday. Sometimes you just fuck up and you overhydrate. Yesterday I had to pee 3 fucking times in the first 3 hours. I just drank too much water.
My age is hitting me that I don't have to pee a lot, but when I have to pee, we got to get there now.
Yeah, as long as it's just pee.
When I have to pee,
Unless
I
it's
have to
becoming
go.
shit.
Dude, congratulations again while waiting for Ari. That club is
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thanks. It's fun.
Everything everybody said it was too, which is yeah, the energy down here is good right now for comedy. Austin's
Well,
fucking.
there's a lot of good people here and a lot of funny people that are actually working there, which is fun too.
Well, you guys walked in the. You guys, again, 'cause Rebecca's down here with the creek and everything, and like it was weird. Like I'd come down here and do gigs before, like you came down here, and with the scene changing, there was a little bit of like pushback.
What pushback?
In the beginning? I don't know if it was like if you got it on your plate at all, but like it was funny. Like some of the comics in Austin, you'd be like, "Hey, it's like it's becoming a real scene down there," and it's like, "Yeah, for like this batch of people. It's like it seemed like that caused a divide that I didn't know was not even like there was already that thing in New York. I felt like
you're always going to have people when there's a lot of shows that only have like 4 or 5 people, like the Joe Rogan and Friends shows that I was doing at the Vulcan. The people that are just left out.
There's not
enough spots.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why we decided to do 2 open mic nights.
Love it.
So we have open mic night on Sunday and Monday. And then obviously there's Kill Tony, which is the cornerstone of like the comedy scene, because that's the new people. A lot of times that's where they get their first set, and they're doing it live and on fucking YouTube. It's amazing. It's a great fucking fun show, and it was awesome watching you guys on.
Smart to have
it's killer.
a open mic right there. They're there for it anyway. Why make them waste their night if they don't get drawn?
Exactly. This way, you got a chance to do the open mic. You got a chance to do Kill Tony. There's another open mic on Sunday. It's like the way it's set up. It's set up to foster new talent too. It's not just set up to take care of existing talent. It's set up so that you create a nice comedy environment where people can go and see guys like Shane Gillis, see guys like you guys go up, see guys like Greg Fitzsimmons, or Schultz was here last week. It was fucking amazing. Like they get to see these people coming to town. They got to see Dave Chappelle show up.
Yeah.
They're getting to see like the cream of the crop come in.
That's why she used to put us in the door for that reason, to see better comics.
Exactly, because it's a massive part of the education.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that was like a big part of what we were doing.
Dude, there's a
Make sure it's
swarm of employees, just like all comics, I assume, or some level of it.
Yeah, a lot of
just taking care of everything.
Yeah, and they get to punch out. Like if they have a set, they can go punch out.
Love that.
And come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you have a set across town, just punch out, come back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, don't waste the night. Do a set.
Yeah, the whole idea is that it's an environment for growing new people and for like spreading comedy. Like a lot of comics, particularly in the beginning, they need like something that they can believe in and count on. And you don't necessarily get that if someone's doing these pop-up shows here or there. You're like, how am I included in this? How can I get included in this? Yeah. And the only way is you have to have open mics. You have to have open mics. It's the only way. And then on top of open mics, you have to have like little satellite rooms. There's got to be a way you can kind of branch out. This guy's got a room here. He's got a room there. And you make you network with the other comics that are doing that, and you put together a fucking act. But you want to know that there's like, what's the scene? Like what's the community? Like how many good comics are around here? How can I learn from these people? Because if you're stuck in a place where you're the funniest guy in town, you're in some weird spot in the middle of nowhere, you got to get out of there, right? Like if you want to grow as a comic, you're not going to grow in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow in a vacuum.
But do you think, that's what I mean, because it used to be obviously always they'd push you to the coast, New York or L.A. That's kind of like over now. Do you think it's as like here in Nashville is the same difference at this point as far as like what you're trying to
I don't know what's going on
in
in Nashville. I mean, Nashville's Zanies, which is a great club. It's been around forever. It's one of the best in the country. But I don't know what the scene is other than Zanies.
I don't know much either.
There's a lot of clubs here now.
It's bigger here. It's a lot bigger here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of clubs here now. It's different. There's a lot of like world-class comedians that moved here. It's kind of different. And it's just I just want to make it a great place for everybody. I want fun for what we love to do. That's what we loved the most about the store was the hang, the camaraderie. We were just always fucking around, always laughing, always having fun.
It was already a fun hang.
Yeah, and we also watch each other's sets. I like that new thing. We talk about a new bit. It's fun.
But I was at the best, like New York was the best gym, is the way I would put it for comedy because of the availability of stage time, and you just kind of keep going up from like 3 p.m. if you wanted to, until 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't think that's even true at all anymore. That you need to be in that scene now at all. And that's what I mean. Like you could really get full on successful and never leave your
hometown.
Well, the hometown's the wrong thing, but I said there's just more avenues. I think now.
Yeah, there's like
but you can get up 3 times, 4 times a night here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you can get the spots now.
You definitely can here. I mean, especially in that one area. You got the creek in the Cave, which is right there, right next to us. Then you got Vulcan, which is also like half a block away from us. And then you have Red Band's room, the Sunset. What is it?
Sunset ATX
Room.
Sunset
Room.
Sunset Strip ATX.
Sunset Strip Room, and that's right next to us, and
Yeah.
that's 500 seats.
Plus bar shows.
Yeah, and then there's plenty of there's also the Velveeta Room.
Velveeta.
I haven't been to that. Ron
fun.
White said
It's a
there's a
bar.
place called the Green Room that's a small spot that's right over there. So there's
That's
a
awesome.
lot of spots, and then you're always going to have the out of town stuff. You're always going to
Yeah.
have someone's doing a comedy show in Dripping Springs. Someone's doing a
Right.
comedy show here. There's a bar. They're hiring comedians.
But the industry is not leaving LA. That's what I wonder if it's going
I
to go
think
like
it will.
that ever.
Because
You
look,
think
I mean,
so?
yeah, sure.
But
If
it's
there's
the
people
industry,
here,
man. The industry
agree
is
with you.
kind of podcasts.
Yeah.
For us, the industry is podcasts. The industry is podcasts and stand-up. That's
Yeah.
the industry for us. Like, we think of the industry as like someone's going to hire us to do something outside of doing stand-up.
yeah, right. It's like
Which is like, is that really what you
Kinda
want?
over.
Like,
Well,
it
it's,
used-
like so it's down to like if which I don't now care about, like auditioning for movies or TV stuff. It's never been my deal anyway.
if it is your deal, that's the place to be. Like,
yeah.
If that's
but at
what
this
you're
point
really
too,
interested
it's all
in.
Zoom on that shit. You just have to fly in for the final meeting.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but you got to network.
Yeah.
If you want to make it as an
Yeah.
actor,
God, those sickening fucking networking parties of LA.
you have to go to
They're
those.
Still
things.
going on.
Those things. If you're someone in the beginning,
Ugh.
you want the casting people to like you. You want the executives to like you. You're like, oh, that Jay's a charming guy.
Yeah.
He's really fun.
Yeah.
You know, you'd go to these things and they'd like you because you'd hang out with them and talk shit.
Ugh.
Oh, the industry laughter is the worst feeling in the world.
I was trying to have a good time.
It's wild.
Literal vampires.
Ugh. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Literal vampires.
Sucking the
just
youth out of like
Watching-
new talent.
But that's the nature of the gig. The nature of
Yeah.
the gig is you got to depend on other people to come up with stuff that you can get credit for.
That is their. That's the way
nature
that
of the
animal
gig.
feeds.
100%,
Yeah.
dude. It's the nature of the gig. And, you know, you have enormous power when you're at a network, like deciding what does and doesn't get on the
Everyone's
air.
gonna like you.
And it's all so weird. Like, you know, they have these weird sweetheart deals with production companies. At least they did in the sitcom days. And so, like, a crappy show would be on right after Friends, and it would be, like, #2 in the ratings. And everybody
Because
would
the
like,
lead-in.
what the
Because the
fuck?
lead-in mattered
Because of the
then,
lead-in.
yeah, yeah.
These are garbage shows. Shows that were just
Single
like,
Guy.
oh, Jesus Christ, there was a few of them.
They also ran shows. It was like in
Yeah.
between Seinfeld and Friends, and
Yeah.
in between Seinfeld and ER.
Paul Sims from News Radio famously called it a shit sandwich. He's like, it's what it is. It's like they're sandwiching two good shows, Seinfeld and Friends.
Sell more
the,
ads.
the idea now of anything like that Abbott Elementary, I've never seen it, but I've heard good things about it, and it's staying around. It's popular. It's like huge. But where does that happen anymore? Like, where a sitcom is like should be anyone's like end game anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was really good, people always love them. If someone can
Yeah.
come up with a really good Curb Your Enthusiasm, people always love them.
Sure, Always
They
Sunny
love
was
them.
great and
They
stuff.
always love them.
They're just generally so fucking lame.
But they're few and far between, and a lot of times it's just like it seems like I feel like, like there's no learning from like the mistakes, and I don't know if always sometimes just throwing in like
Let's make you best friends with the ex.
retro, like, but I mean even that just like. You know what? This guy was popular at this one point. Throw him in another show.
John Cryer.
Again.
John Cryer. It's always in something. Yeah.
2.5 Men.
Till it's
Yeah,
stuck.
it's just a weird life, man. It's a weird life.
George Lopez is back. I don't know, it's like the George Lopez show. Then the other one's called Lopez versus Lopez. It's like a lot of the same.
You see a commercial
I don't
for it
know
at a
if they're
bar
the same show.
sometimes, and it'll come on but on mute, and you're just like, this looks like a sketch. Looks like they're playing a sketch of what a sitcom was.
It used to be the thing you wanted.
Yeah.
In the 90s when I came here, it was like, holy shit, you're on a sitcom? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
but
on
the
one.
real
You're on a
thing,
good one.
the
I'm
real
getting
thing
the
was
development
though,
deal
the
or
real
the-
thing was having your own sitcom. Like everybody wanted their own sitcom, and you meet these other people that had their own sitcom. You're like, whoa, you know,
They're Uber.
You got your own.
That's when you almost the sign for failure though is when the name everyone the Seinfeld model people tried to use it. Remember it was like Cleghorn,
Yeah.
Yep.
Costello, Sue Costello had her own thing once.
I remember when I was
Built
on,
around your act.
when I was on News Radio, Tom Rhodes had the Tom
Tom
Rhodes
Rhodes
show.
Yeah.
He was a teacher.
On
teacher.
NBC. I was like, dude, you got your own show. This is crazy. Like I'd known Tom from the clubs, and to see him like have
Gonna
his
be
own-
internationally
you have the
famous.
Tom Rhodes show. That's nuts. That was before. Was that before or after he did that talk show overseas?
Before, well
then,
before.
Then that ended, and he got a job offer there, and he just loved Amsterdam, I think.
Yeah.
Stayed.
he still had like the long hair when he was on the
he had
sitcom.
beautiful hair.
Tom Rhodes is in the running for coolest guy in comedy.
Oh yeah,
You'd have to at least nominate him.
what a life.
He's
What
an
a life.
interesting guy too. You follow him on Instagram. He's always like going to these interesting places. He does a lot of traveling, and takes photos of it.
I
You tell
never
he's
think
really
it's for comedy, but it always
enjoying
is.
himself.
Yeah, it's always for comedy.
That's wild.
I'm
Well,
going
it's
to
smart.
Pyongyang. It's like, for what? You want to see some famous thing? Like,
That's smart,
doing
though.
shows.
See things, book a gig.
He had an album that was just bits about local places, like a Shanghai bit and then a fucking Mongolia bit for in that town or in that place, and it was like 135 minutes.
Can you
It was
imagine
just
doing
so long.
comedy for Mongolians and they get mad at you?
You cross the line, like what?
Oh no!
They jump on archers on horseback coming at you.
Bro, you're so fucked. You know how
Yeah.
scary that would be? You piss off a dude with a fur hat.
Don't piss off Mongols.
Hunting you with the fucking eagle.
You get the Fu Manchus. And
He's got a falcon on his wrist.
Get him.
Takes the mask off that fucking monster.
Oh, you're
shoulder
fucked.
pads of skulls.
Imagine they turn the lights on that blind menu place, and that's what you get.
No!
It's all Mongol.
It's a horror.
They've been slicing human beings like a fucking ham, slicing pieces and serving it to you. Jesus.
The club is great though, dude.
Thank
I'm
you.
really excited. I did a
pretty
set
cool.
in the other room too. That was
pretty
fun.
cool.
Got a good late night OR vibe.
It's got a good late night OR vibe in the little room. The big room is like it's not like the main room, but it's not like the
right.
OR.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the OR on steroids. It's just a larger OR, but it's
Yeah.
the sound. It's like it's a real honest room. It's really good. Set up great.
Feels like a balcony from on stage, but it's not.
Shout out to Louis C.K. because he gave me some really good advice about like the setup. He came while we're in the middle of construction. We changed a couple of things because of his advice.
I love that.
Yeah, we lowered the ceiling in the little room. We made the stage smaller. The stage was like 4 feet larger on each side. He's like, why is it so big? I'm like, yeah, why is it so big? Let's go chop it up.
In the little room.
Yeah, I just said, just tell me what you think, and I'll do that. And so
Wow.
he's like, lower the ceiling to like here, lower the ceiling to there, and then the other room, like lower it even further in the other room. I'm like, okay, lower it.
That's funny when someone gives you
Yeah.
really expensive advice. He
Yeah.
goes, say it and I'll do it. He goes, fuck, I'd get rid of this wall. I'm like,
Damn
yeah,
it.
shit.
Move it 2 inches.
Yeah. No, he just told me what he thought. It was right. He was
Yeah.
right. Like he was thinking about. I was like, yeah, do it. He's like, do it right the first time. I'm like, yep.
Yeah,
you're right.
Fix
You're
it
right.
before it opens. instead
Because
of
I thought
regret
it would be okay the way it was, but it wouldn't be optimal. That's
Right.
the point. Like you're doing all this construction. Why not make it optimal? You know, it just required a lot more shit. A lot more stuff have to be in place. But
But I mean, man, it's just run so right.
yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
It looks like like it feels like a club, you know, like a real old like this
Yeah.
one works club.
Have you farmed out like the boss jobs enough that you don't feel like you have to have weird things with people ever?
Well, there's weird things. You're always going to have weird things. One of the great things about that building is the building itself. There's something about that building, man. There's something about these old
Yeah.
buildings. I feel like there's some memory in that building.
Some abortions late night.
Like when we start, that's the store. When we started, like right away, it was like, Jesus Christ, it feels like we've been here for like 10 years. Like everybody was kind of weirded out on their first set because it was just kind of crazy. Like, oh my God, we're doing it. Because we talked about doing it for 2 years.
So many years, it was around the corner.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened. Now you know, the cult.
The cult.
So
this gay hypnotist got in the way.
Slithered out of that fucking deal. And I had to get a new
The
place.
building sank under a mound of cum.
And that was after I'd already hired everybody. So,
yeah.
so I had to find another spot.
Oh, so you changed places. Oh, yeah, it was going to be out of
the cult
town.
place. The
Oh,
cult place
yeah.
that we talked about earlier, that Holy Hell. That was the original place.
That's so funny. It's haunted by the ghosts of cheek implants.
Bro, haunted by all the sorrow of people who wasted 20 years doing that.
Following a dude.
It was so sad at the end of the documentary when you see these people now regretting deeply their time in the cult.
years.
I gave my life to this man, and all I got was butt fucked.
They
That's
all-
too much for a T-shirt.
They all
Too
seem
much for a
to
T-shirt.
agree that in the beginning it was awesome.
There were nice
But
moments
that's
to it.
always is the thing.
Just
In the
like the
beginning, it's going to
government,
be fucking.
1776 in the beginning, it was awesome.
It
You
was
had your
awesome.
Second Amendment,
Cool,
you had your
yeah.
First Amendment.
Tea's pretty
But even
cheap.
like the Charles Mansons, like it started. It was as his mind went, since he was the leader. They would have went every direction he wanted to go. If he goes every day, we're going to go out and give flowers to people and tell them like, put a smile on your face. It'll make things. But he just started going like, nah,
Well,
race
do you
war.
know about that? Do you know the whole story
do a
of the
race
Manson
war.
story? You should read this book called Chaos from Tom O'Neill. It's Greg Fitzsimmons' neighbor. You
Yeah.
know that story? He wrote a book about Manson and the CIA. Like Manson was literally trained in LSD They visited him, this guy, Jolly West, visited him in jail. He was a part of a program they were doing. They dosed him up with acid and then gave him acid to seduce these hippies and taught him strategies for, like, don't do acid, but tell them you did, and then they do it, and this is how you control them. Like he had, like, guided help throughout his time because they were trying to discredit the hippie movement and the anti-war movement, and they were trying to see if they could get a guy to convince hippies to be murderers.
Oh, to make them like fear.
He got
afraid
arrested.
hippies?
He was on parole. He got arrested multiple times. And when he got arrested, they would always let him go. And they would always say, we found out it was above our pay grade. So they were making, this is documented in this book called Chaos. You got to read this book. Because this is not like wild assertions. This is a guy who went on this like rabbit hole for 20 years. And he uncovered all the evidence about the case. And he's like, there's real evidence that this MK Ultra, Operation MK Ultra mind control shit, that Manson was a part of that. And that
Really?
they were helping him. Where does he get all this acid? That he was getting this acid, giving it to these kids. How does he know how to like control these people and get them to do things? Like they taught him how to do it in prison.
Yeah, they were also they were never in their right mind. That's true. There was never like a clear mind in the place. Everyone was burnt out.
He programmed these people while they were high on acid and got them to kill people.
Wow, worked.
You got really vulnerable, very gullible people. You dose them up with acid. I hate your garbage, man. And then the next thing you know, you're fucking stabbing people because you feel like they're pigs.
Yeah. The guy, when he did, I don't know if it was a Diane story, whatever the ones he did in jail.
Yeah.
And then when it cuts to at one point, they go, I went on to ask a few more questions that he just did, whatever, and it's kind of like montages him like pointing crazy and then doing like karate, like Elvis karate at one point.
He must have been on such a fun level.
Well, didn't he? There was a thing in the book where he threatened one of the Beach Boys because he wanted to be a musician.
Of course, yeah.
Yep.
Right? You remember that?
The whole
wanted,
thing.
Yeah, he wanted to be a musician. It didn't work out for him, so he was like trying to kill one of the fucking Beach Boys. I think it was Brian Wilson.
To replace him, or he was
So
just
now-
talking to him?
to punish him.
No, so it was the Beach Boys. It was Brian Wilson's brother. What the other Wilson, whatever
okay.
the Wilson it was, I believe.
What did he accuse him of?
So I think he just like loved getting his drugs and pussy that he would bring around.
Who would bring around?
Charles
Manson
Manson.
would. Okay.
Manson would bring around these chicks and whatever, and they'd party with the guys, and then I think he gave him like I think he brought one of his songs to the Beach Boys and they recorded it. I think the Beach Boys recorded a song co-written at least. Yeah.
Never
Learn Never to Love was written by Charles Manson.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard this fact before without any details, you might think that Manson had some kind of career in the music industry before he went weird. Those murders meant he was connected with a bunch of stars in Los Angeles, right? But this connection was more than professional. For a while, Beach Boy Dennis Wilson was actually sharing a house with the Manson family once Manson had already become a cult leader. By a house, we mean Wilson's own house. The family moved in, took over, and Wilson had to flee and abandon all his belongings to escape the family's clutches. Holy shit.
Wow.
It all started in April 1968 when Wilson picked up a couple of hitchhiking women. If you ever seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, picture that scene where Brad Pitt's character picks up a Manson follower played by Margaret Qualley. The women of the family used this tactic repeatedly to lure in new followers. The two hitchhikers offered to come to Wilson's place. Wilson didn't realize they'd take up residence following the one-night stand, or that their guru, Charles, and his other followers would move in as well. Holy shit.
Read the next paragraph.
Margaret Qualley, also Pete Davidson's notch list. God bless him, dude.
Fellow Beach Boy Brian Wilson would later describe coming to dinner at Dennis's place and seeing him with Manson and a bunch of Manson girls all naked. An LSD orgy followed dinner, and when he declined to take part and just went for a shower, a naked Charles tried to join him there and warned him that leaving the group was not an option.
Wow. You're fucking us.
Oh my God. Leaving the group was not an option.
Yeah. No showers. You're fucking us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then the first thing,
imagine Charles Manson in your house with a boner telling you it's time to fuck. Get down here. This is not an option.
You're come on.
It's not
You're
an
going.
option.
yeah, but
Oh
he,
my
and then
God.
what it was, I think like
Well, hold
I
on,
think-
hold
go.
on. Well, look at this. Brian got the hell out of the house that night, but Dennis stayed behind, of course, and for a while he seemed trapped. The family occupied his home for months,
What?
racking up close to $1 million in expenses in today's money, including a large amount just on STD treatments. Dennis publicly spoke highly of Manson and said he was happy that the family were relieving him of the burden of wealth, which sounds truly like something only a
Wow.
cult member would say.
They're relieving him of the burden. You could just give it away.
Wow.
And then the guy was the reason they ended up at Sharon Tate's was, I guess it was the producer that, 'cause I think that Dennis guy was eventually like, okay, man, I'll try to get you like a record deal, and took it to whoever this producer was, and the producer was like, I think he was like not interested, and then moved the next day.
Oh my God.
And then so they went to the wrong guy. Yeah, he wasn't there to kill like Sharon Tate, and then they
Jesus
just killed everybody in
Christ.
the house.
That's so spooky.
He thought he was like kill whoever's. Oh no, was that the? Yeah, that was them. That was the
Kill
Sharon
everybody
Tate
in the
one.
house.
The Sharon Tate one.
That
killed.
was
It
Tex
a new
Watson.
house. Yeah.
Tex Watson was the guy who killed most of the people, right? And then there was Squeaky Fromm who tried to kill Nixon.
Yeah, I
no,
think.
no, Ford. She tried to kill Ford, right?
Those were
Isn't she
LSDs
one?
also?
Is she one of the ones you can like see her talk now, and she's like, yeah. That was a weird decade, huh? Like some of them are so like
Really?
Yeah, I think some of them are so.
She's
like,
got it back now.
Well, I know
So-
she kept going up for parole, and then were like, nah, player. You're a little too wild. Stay the
There's
fuck
old
in
ladies now. It's so funny. Like, yeah, you know,
Yeah,
the
Gerald
60s,
Ford.
man.
She tried to kill Gerald
know how we
Ford
were?
in 75. See if
We
you can
didn't
find
have
a
bras
video
back
of her
then.
talking.
Oh wow! Look, wow, not bad. Squeaky front. Oh, she's young.
Oh man. But that's the thing, man, with these LSD cults. Like what they were doing was orchestrated. Like they were trying to figure out what was possible with
think they
LSD,
tried to make
and
a-
the best way to figure that out was to get someone to do it on a bunch of hippies, and that way you could discredit the movement. At the same time, you could also find out what strategies you can employ to get people to follow you, and can you get people to murder people?
Right.
If you do this correctly.
Be a nice tactic.
You
in
could
another
also get
country.
it up to fuck those dumpy broads you hung
Yeah,
around.
yeah, that could help
More
too.
like Squeaky Frump.
The CIA, there's real evidence in this book that they ran a clinic in Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco.
Dosing people.
We know they were dosing people at brothels.
Yeah, right.
They did it at brothels. They did this Operation Midnight Climax. So these guys would go into these whorehouses, try to have sex with the lady. The lady would give them a drink, and the drink would have acid in it. And they'd be tripping balls through a two-way mirror.
Wow.
And they would study these guys.
That's what. This is Squeaky Frump.
Is this her talking? That's not her, is it?
No, the first
Two
one I
different
think was
women
her.
in here. That might be her.
I think that's
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to talk to you. I thought, well, maybe I'll bring a gun. And then I said to myself, are you going to shoot him? And I said, I'm gonna go see what's necessary. So I had all these thoughts about what I wanted to accomplish, and I just put the gun out and stuck it in there, and there was no bullet in the chamber. Boondorf, a Secret Service agent, grabbed it, and an interesting thing happened. A guy who I think
You
was
see what I mean, though?
high on marijuana. He was wearing a yellow suit, and when they had me on the ground, and I was telling him it's okay, it didn't go up, it's okay. The guy walked over and he picked up my hand, and I was so relaxed. Then he was talking to me, and the Secret Service agent said, "Who are you?" He was the guy with the beard. I always wanted to talk to him afterward.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're saying they're so like they're like yeah. Well, what has
Well, hold
everyone
on.
They got
saying?
their brains
Is that
scrambled.
lady out of jail, or did they film this in jail like that? Which is really creepy if
I
they
think
did.
she's
out
out.
of jail?
She must be out
I'm
of
saying
jail.
out of jail.
She must be out of jail. There's no way if they wanted to do it in jail, they would make it look like you're in jail.
Yeah. Why
That's
would you make
part
it
of
look
the fun.
not in jail?
Jailhouse interview.
They really did go against the, like
100%.
Right,
all-
jail
Yeah,
clothes.
so much more fun.
Yeah, you want jail clothes.
They were against like all of the ideas of hippies, though. But wasn't that also sort of the thing? Was they were supposed to be setting people up, right? Like they were going to go do violent crimes to blame.
There's a lot
Black
they
people
did.
to
yeah, there's a lot
start
they
the
did.
war.
Yeah, Charles thought he was going to start a race war. But
Wow.
there's a lot of what they were doing was orchestrated by him giving these people acid and telling them what to do, and then him not doing acid, and he was like guiding them. It's really creepy. It's almost wish that before he died, he would have told the story of like how all that happened.
So he was like, "You're not going to make me make them do this thing. I'll just not take the acid, then I'll make them do whatever I want."
Yeah, he would. Look, first of all, like those killings, like he wasn't involved in those, but he might have killed some people. There's some evidence that he probably killed someone somewhere along the line. And then there was, these people that were just lost kids and getting dosed up with acid by like a lifetime criminal. A guy who was a con man his whole life, working in conjunction with the CIA, if that's true. That is a fucking wild thing that happened.
Yeah.
And that they did it to try to stop the anti-war movement and stop the hippie movement. But we know they did certain things like that. Like I had Rick Doblin from MAPS on the other day, and he was explaining how the sweeping Schedule I Act of 1970, a lot of it was designed to stop protests and to stop the Black Panthers and to stop all these other people that were doing all these different things, like the anti-war people, because then they could arrest them. They could arrest them for pot. They could arrest them for mushrooms. They could arrest them, and this is Schedule I shit now. You're all
away, yeah.
All the people that thought it was okay to take acid, nope. Now you're going to jail, and they could just round up everybody with these new tactics.
And say, hey, they were on acid, and people are like, oh, okay, we got to get rid of them.
Also, people scatter too. Like, how committed are you to the cause? If everybody's getting locked up by the government, you get the fuck out of town. You abandon ship and start a real job. A lot of people probably bailed on it.
Oh, there's
that's
probably
what they wanted to do.
Many uncredited Manson family members. And they do. They pop up in like documentaries. They go, yeah, I was there. You can see me in the back of one picture. My name's Cliff. There's just some guy.
We had a lot of family members, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, there's just some other guy who wasn't there that night. He goes, no, I was back at the place getting some pussy from this new girl. I heard they went out and killed somebody. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, right.
But you got
what a crazy time, too, right? Because you're relying on newspapers. Right, that's where you're getting your information from. And, there's a little briefing on the 5 o'clock news. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. You're hearing word of mouth, right? And you find out that these people are getting murdered in the Hollywood Hills by hippies. You're like, what?
We got to get rid of these hippies.
What? Exactly.
It's so scary.
Oh, my God, they're doing acid and they murder people. It's a perfect plan. If you really can get a guy like Manson and convince him that he's got to do this for you, and that's why he's free. Like, we have you. You're free. Like, he gets arrested, they get him out. Look, you owe me, you piece of shit. You understand me? Like, and then get him to do these things. Get him to commit crimes. Get him to murder people. Get him to... What wasn't there? They were after that Polish artist, right? Wojciech Wajkowski.
Yeah, for what?
Weren't they trying to kill him?
The Mansons?
Or was he like accidentally at the house? Whoa. But he got murdered too.
In the Sharon Tate house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone in there was just like a kill whoever was there. I think Manson found out when they went home that it was like, hey, that producer guy you're pissed off wasn't there. And then turned out he just moved.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So was he trying
that
to
murder
get
was
one of the
that murder was
Wilsons?
pissing off about saying the guy who was like, I'm not interested in your music and I don't care.
And then he wasn't even there.
It would seem like it was Dennis Wilson brought him to like, okay, fine, like,
that's right.
You're hooking me up so much, like, here's a producer. And when the producer was like, not interested, I think he got mad at Dennis Wilson. And Dennis Wilson was like, well, I can only like bring you to the guy.
Yeah.
And like, and then so his thing was to have them go kill him that night and his family.
Dennis Wilson.
No, this producer. And
he was just in an
producer
Airbnb.
just happened to move.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Like they caught him on a day that he was moving, or his address was listed wrong or something. It was just like.
Right. I think he rented the house out, right, or something like that.
Yeah, because he said that Sharon Tate had just moved in, and he was like Roman Polanski was off doing whatever.
Fuck.
Doing whatever.
They said that's what killed the '60s, the spirit of the '60s. That was the day.
There was a lot of those things that happened, but it was very orchestrated. Like the fact that they were able to make everything Schedule I. We still have those things Schedule I.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's so long later. It's 50 years later. And those things are still Schedule I. It doesn't make any sense.
Do some acid
Also,
on a
60s,
Tuesday.
so much young death in like or important to people like in society at the time. So like the 27 Club and all those people kind of going down like. That killed the spirit of the 60s too. You know what I mean? Like everyone was just gone. Like, oh, I guess this lifestyle's not good. Yeah, you're like this is a fun life of taking drugs and getting, acid, and it's like, oh, everyone's fucking dying.
They're fucking killing beetles.
Yeah.
They're killing the Beatles.
Yeah.
Then when did they kill John?
That was
Lennon?
80 though. I think.
That was in the 80s. Yeah,
Lennon?
that was
I
later.
think it was 1980.
Right outside his apartment building.
Right outside.
Jesus Christ.
She still lives there.
Jesus Christ.
They wiped off
How
the
about
stoop.
Move?
Yeah, how about Move? There's other.
She still
places.
lives there?
I think so.
How
Or maybe
about
just sold it.
Wild.
Maybe that was like a clever real estate ploy. You know,
Yeah,
like,
it's worth more now.
You know, like American Psycho style. Remember when American Psycho? He goes back to
Movie.
that. It was in the book too. It's even more graphic. But he goes back to one of his apartments where he left a body and it's missing.
It's all cleaned up.
And it's all cleaned up, and the real estate agent's looking at him very funny.
Huh? So what are you doing here?
What does it say? She still lives in the apartment building along with her
Oh.
son, Sean. Wow.
That's
Well,
weird.
It's probably a
Sean
dope.
Lennon's like 45 years old now.
Yeah.
Probably a dope apartment. So he lives with his mom. Maybe they
Yeah.
enjoy it. Is that okay, Ari?
It's not, is what I'm saying.
No.
No?
He needs to
Maybe he
change.
doesn't like it. Doesn't
I
like
don't
bringing
think
girls
it's a-
I
home.
have to imagine he breastfeeds still.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He's like the chubby DJ
Imagine.
one,
He's
right?
got the world record. We didn't know it.
Of
All this time,
I
that's
love
what's been
those
going
ones.
on.
I love those.
He's
Got to
been
make a
going for the
comeback
Guinness Book.
of longest breastfeedings. Yoko Ono
What is the
screaming out
Guinness
lyrics.
Book of longest time breastfeeding?
Someone's
not
got to
an
be 18.
individual session, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, when did you stop?
Keep it going.
Stop lactating.
Because it's weird when you hear about kids that are 5, and you're like, what?
Mommy, boob.
What happened?
Mommy, give
He's
me.
how old?
If they
He's
keep
5?
sucking, it will eventually. It
It
won't
won't
just
run
stop on its own. It'll keep going.
I think it'll keep going.
We're so dumb.
I don't know.
We're so
I
dumb. We
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would probably help keep it going,
think-
but eventually your body would be like, bitch, you had a baby 5 years ago. Like, what are we doing?
It doesn't, though.
Is
Those
there
videos-
anything legal that can get involved if your mother, when you were 17, was like, he still drinks from the till? You
Yeah.
get arrested? Is that
At a
sexual at that
certain
point?
point
Can you say
time,
this is
right?
just this is not sexual at all?
They broke breastfeeding records. Breastfeed their children
Shut
and are 13.
Until their children
Shut
are 13.
the fuck up.
What?
What a terrible mitzvah.
Until their children are 13.
Get the fuck
Until
out
their
of
children are teenagers.
They can do
That's-
crossovers. and
That
they can't.
seems a little insane. 12-year-olds are pretty fucking smart. They know that's weird.
Hey, Mom, I'm getting ready to learn my bar mitzvah haftorah. Give me a little
the
stuff
kid's
off this.
going
Give me a little
through
stuff off that.
puberty.
Wow.
Look at this. Her son, Mason, is already going through puberty, but for this duo, there's no reason to end their breastfeeding relationship. They have had many occasions where people have said things to them or gave them dirty looks. Was he sucking on her tit at the airport?
It's gonna be odd. It's gonna be odd for people.
Mo and her son were in line at a movie theater waiting to purchase their tickets and decided it was time for a breastfeeding session.
That's just showing off.
Holy shit.
That's showing
That's
off.
big dickin'. That's
Come
big
on, go to
dickin'.
the bathroom.
It
with
is
your
not
son.
surprising that people found it to be a little awkward. The ticket clerk shouted at her from behind the desk to oh my God. To them, her no. Oh, to them, her no. No, I don't know what it's spelled wrong. That she needed to stop doing that. Mullen became angry because of his comment and told him, "I am a mother and I have every right to feed my child in public."
Love it.
Furthermore, lots of women are afraid to breastfeed in public now.
Because
That's
of this
not
guy
the
at the
same
movie theater?
thing.
Oh my God.
I love it. What a stand by
13-year-old
your
kid.
Oh my
tell you,
God,
if I
that's
walk-
so weird.
Wait in line for Star Wars.
If I saw a lady, if I saw a lady and a 13-year-old boy going into one of those pods at the airport to breastfeed, I'd rather find out he's fucking her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would be less disturbed than if
Yeah.
it was his mom and he's sucking on his mom's tit. Right?
Yeah.
That's the Oedipus thing.
Yeah, how do you go to school? That's homeschooling for sure. You can't go to school and
You're gonna get a boner at that age.
That's one of the weirdest things that a mother's son. You know, in bonobos fuck everybody. Everybody fucks everybody, but the mothers won't fuck their sons.
Interesting.
yeah, everyone's got a line.
Everybody fucks everybody. Dads
Everyone's
fuck
got
all
a
their
line.
kids. They fuck their brother. They fuck their sister. They fuck everybody. But the mother's like, get the fuck away from me.
The aristocrats.
Shall we? Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Jay, congratulations on your special. You're fucking hilarious. I'm very
Thank you
excited
so much, man.
to work with you tonight. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ari, we're gonna have a good fucking time.
Doing my storytelling show tonight.
Yes, sir.
That's
Fuck
gonna be
yeah.
great.
All right.
Yeah. I'm excited. I
Anything
still-
else to plug other than the specials on YouTube? It's available right now.
Available right now.
YouTube.com/Big J Oakerson is my first production credit for
What the fuck did
stand-up.
you just say? What those words they flew together?
I don't even remember. YouTube.com/Big J Oakerson. That's
There
what it
you
is.
go. There we go. Slow down. Look at that. You look beautiful up there.
Yeah, Ari jumped in, man. It was pretty amazing. He helped so much, so I hope he's proud of it. That
I
was
am
my
very
biggest
proud
thing.
of it, dude. You killed. It was great.
And
Original shit.
yeah, I'm excited for y'all to see it, man. Please tell friends, share it.
Beautiful.
Comment.
All right,
Say
you guys are
nice
gonna
things.
love it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, brother. Bye. Bye, everybody.